All right. Welcome to the stream. My name is Blue, and I'm joined here with.
I'm Kieran. Welcome to the stream. As Blue just said, hopefully we got two best of twos for you tonight. SC Solar and then Departure Esports T1 coming up first, followed by Arcane Academy Flash and Paper Squad, which is our VOD cast that's coming on at 8 p.m.
Yeah, so today's first game is Solar versus Departure Esports, right? I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I am an admin of the SC org, so I got some inside information. Solar underwent some changes, so I'm excited to see how this team performs. They are the second best team in the SC org, behind my team, Prisma.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to see how the Departure Esports fares against the second place.
You know, it's looking to be some actually really good quality matches actually tonight, because we got both teams full on the diamond players. SC Solar has 4 diamonds and a master, while DET1 has 3 diamonds and 2 platinum players. So, you know, quite good quality gameplay I think we should be expecting tonight.
Yeah, from the side of Solar, their jungler, of course, the Mr. Master player, Sniffle Monster, is considered a beast in our org, not gonna lie. He can 1v9 games if given the chance. I would not like to give him some kills early because I've been on the back end of that, and it's not very pleasant.
Yeah, and it's just looking at op.gg as well. He's been playing a lot of the Xin Zhao jungle, obviously recently buffed. Changed to be a bit more meta as well. And Xin Zhao is one of those junglers that, you know, when he gets ahead, he gets really strong early. He wants to duel you, he wants to fight you, and he wants to, you know, snowball a lead on you.
Yeah, right now he's playing Xin Zhao. And before that, he was also playing Skarner a lot, you know, because it's an enjoyable champion to play, and definitely not because it's a little bit strong.
Do you think you might see those picks coming out by him tonight, or do you think he might sort of lapse onto some of the more meta junglers, you know, the Udyr, Volibear, Hecarim picks?
Well, from him, I have seen pretty much every jungler. He plays, of course, all the meta junglers. But in the SC tournament, for example, he pulled out a Kayn. Didn't work too well, but he does play it. We can
Was
see
that blue Kayn or red?
Blue Kayn.
Oh, that's a bit into, isn't it?
Yeah, but our team was pretty squishy, so it makes sense. Just the Serac AD carry, he wasn't expecting that. His Inzao seems pretty good. His Karner is really, really nice. And personally, his Volibear is the one that scares me the most, just because
he's quite a scary champion, isn't he?
Yeah, I play mid lane, and I hate playing against Volibear, especially against Sniffle Monster with Volibear, because you'll dive mid as soon as he gets level 6, and it is not very fun.
Yeah, that's especially with his auto disabling towers. You know, your only sort of safe refuge in the mid lane, you know, it gets disabled. Where are you going to go? You're going to go back to the base because you're dead. That's how Volibear janks. That's how he rolls, isn't it? So hopefully we'll be able to see that sort of lane dominant, lane pressure, like given to these sort of dominant junglers from Sniffle Monster tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to see how this goes, because if our second place gets absolutely demolished, the rest of the org is looking kind of bad. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, well, SC's quite a big org in this season. Several teams you've got, so.
Yeah, right now we have 4 teams, maybe looking for a 5th one. We're currently in the talks and seeing if we can make it work.
Definitely. So just looking at the other players tonight on Solar, we have Golf Mormo, Takodo. If I pronounce these wrong, I'm sorry. We've got AJ Solo and Chocolada as well. Looks like some interesting picks on that side as well. A lot of Caitlyn coming from Solar's AD carry. And on Departure, we are seeing Bedtime at 9, Glacius, I Am Sad All Time, Resurrection, and Turbo Bro Toothsay. Don't know if say that's how that is, or I'm just going to say Turbo Bro because I don't want to pronounce that last word again. Seemed like some pretty standard picks across the board, actually. Got a bit of Seraphine coming from the support on DET1 actually tonight, so that might be contested a bit.
To give some more insight into the Solar team, of course, as I said, Sniffle is their star jungler, but in the top lane they have Chocolat, which is their new top lane. They've just replaced. Now the synergy, I'm not sure how it is. I haven't seen them play either, so I'm excited to see that. In the mid lane we have Mr. AJ. He is on Karma and Oriana Dewey 90% of the games, so I'm expecting to see either or from him.
Hmm.
Then they have Mr. Taco and Mr. Reformed. They've been in the team before. They have pretty good synergy, and the Taco one ahead is pretty scary. And also, I'll give honorable mentions to who seems to be their coach, Mr. Nice Draft. Um, let's see, he's a bit of a coin flip when it comes to drafting. Sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's pretty bad. He picked Lucian Bot in one of our games, and it did not go well for his team. But I hope this time it goes better.
I think that's sort of the risk when you have someone who's just dedicated to drafting in the game and they're not playing the game themselves. You think these drafts are going to be good, but it's up to the players to perform on these champions. I mean, we talk about Fnatic in the Pro League. I mean, they had some pretty abysmal drafts the last split, which didn't seem to work out at all. So hopefully we don't see sort of drafts like that, and we see champions that the players can actually play.
Yeah, I mean, from the SC tournament, we had some pretty interesting drafts. For example, for my team, we had the Dudu and the Soraka AD carry. Believe it or not, the Soraka AD carry actually won that game. The Dudu didn't go so well. Then we had the Lucian bot lane and the Sejuani top lane. So we got some pretty spicy picks on the org.
Sounds it at least. No Yumi AD carry though.
No Yumi AD carry. I couldn't convince my AD carry to play Yumi.
Well, you're not convincing him hard enough, I'm afraid. I think we need to see more of that in this league, definitely.
Yumi AD carry with the Garen. Bring back the old Fnatic strategy.
Not more Yumi ADK. Just to update people on what's happening, we are still waiting for the teams to get into the lobby. When they get into the lobby, we'll go straight into draft and continue on. There is currently a poll for who will win this series. Throw your votes in. Or if it's going to be a spicy draw, everyone loves a bit of a 1-1, shows teams are very close. We have actually had quite a few draws so far.
This is the first game of the Ocean League, right?
Yes, it is.
All right. I just want to say it seems a little bit rigged. You know how when Fun Plus Phoenix won Worlds, the theme song was called like Phoenix Rise or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, there's a team called SC Ocean, and the league is called Ocean, so it seems like there's a little bit of a rigged thing going on here.
Are you proposing a conspiracy? Is that what it is?
I mean, I'm not saying anything. I'm just putting some facts out there.
There we go. Now we know it's rigged if Ocean win.
I'm calling it now. If Ocean wins and I don't, it's rigged.
Absolutely rigged. I think we're still waiting on one person to join. I don't know whether I got the wrong name.
They look
I don't know what in-game name he's
right.
using. Let me make sure I got the right name.
Twitch chat pointing it out. It's no longer the Ocean League, but the SC Scrim League. Well, currently we have half of the roster of the league is a SC, and they're looking to add one more team from the tournament to
Yep,
our
I heard
org.
that.
So it might actually just become the SC Scrim League, but that is not our goal. We're friendly people just to play along.
Oh, you're just going to take over, aren't you? If there aren't any other teams other than SC teams, then only SC can win, and
That's kind of smart. That's kind of smart.
Yeah, but then SC can only lose as well. So I mean, it's give and you take, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there was a meme going around in the org that when we joined, that if every single SC team comes last, it will be really awkward. So I really hope that doesn't happen.
Apparently, they're not getting the invite to the lobby, which is interesting. We have to remake the lobby, or
Yeah,
could they just join from the? Okay.
It doesn't work. You can try and join people, but it doesn't work. Also, I forgot yet again to actually put on a password I would remember, so they can't even search the lobby unless they manage to randomly guess the password. Genius, right there. Let me put a password I'll actually remember. There we go, just in case people need to use the password to join. Attempt number 2, right. Oh god, now I've got to remember everyone's names to invite them again. All going really well.
From this league, the only teams that I am familiar with is Team Hyperint, because I've been talking with their captain, Mr. Kieran. Very interesting fellow. And then I knew about the Dutch Brawlers because I was warned that they were really good, but unfortunately they are not in it anymore. And Departure Esports, I've talked to their coach, I believe, before. If I'm not wrong, his name is it do be like that sometimes. Yep. I believe he is their coach.
Yes, he is their coach. He has started 2 teams. and we'll have to see how well those teams do under his coaching. Right, I need to get someone from SCS in here to invite the rest of SCS. Chocolate. There we go, that's a good name. It's a nice, easy name for me to type.
Oh, it's chocolate with an I, by the way, instead of an L.
Well, I copy and pasted, so hopefully that one has an I in there.
Fair enough, fair enough. Space Wiener. I like. We have some good names going around.
Yeah, we do.
Definitely
Yeah.
get some more random SCS names in here. It's always nice when people have nice clean names.
How do we decide who starts in which side?
So oh my god, why is that resized? That's really annoying. Let's resize that. There we go. Nice and big. It's just whoever comes up first in the schedule will be
All right.
going first. So whoever's at the top of the schedule, and each team should have about an even number of times they're in the top or the bottom of the schedule. And yeah, if you are one of the teams that has slightly less blue starts or slightly less red starts, unlucky if you got the one you didn't want. Lucky if you got the one you did want. It's completely random. Okay, I think we're still waiting on 2 members of SC now. Oh, no, we got everyone. Okay, great. Perfect. We can get started. Only 12 minutes late. That's not too bad, considering I was
That's
kind
not too
of
bad.
going around beforehand. So there's SCS's link.
There we are.
I mean, I've casted in different tournaments, and it never starts at time. It's always like 15 to 20 minutes later.
Yeah, it's impossible to start on time. It definitely need to change the amount of time between each game. There's DET1.
Right. And do we have a task link?
And we have our spec link.
Excellent.
There we go. And then let them know start when you're ready. Just to check which both you guys color casters, yeah?
Yeah.
I
So
can do play-by-plays.
Do you want to do play-by-play?
I can do play-by-play.
Cool. Have a go at play-by-play, and if you don't like it, we can swap it up after.
yeah,
Sure, understood.
Nice. Yes, SCS DET1. Start up as soon as you're ready, the draft. Let's get the show on the road.
There are a couple of picks that I expect to be seeing from Solar.
Yep.
They are pretty much. There is one pick in particular that it has a 100% pick ban rate in the in-house tournament, and it's a favorite of Solar's. I'm not going to say it in case someone is stream sniping, but
Ooh. Yeah,
I'll.
teams do like to watch beforehand, so
Yeah. I
Do
mean,
you think
I could give them an edge, but I don't think that would be much appreciated from the other team.
Do you think we'll see a lot of sort of trying to ban out the star jungler here, and a lot of his sort of picks that's inside the stun are taken away from him, or do you think they might just leave it open because that there's a threat they could just play anything?
Well, that was our strategy against them, because we played the finals against them because we got first place and they got second. Just throwing that out there, and
Flexing.
yeah, I think pretty much every draft we played against them, we banned out just junglers, like a lot of them. He has a pretty deep champion pool and he can play pretty much everything. So yeah.
Yeah, I think you see a lot of junglers with quite deep champion pools, even though like the meta pool might be quite restricted. But because obviously the jungle meta changes quite frequently, you often see junglers being able to play junglers that have fallen out of meta, but are still quite strong anyway. So there's always that risk that they just pull something else out from their pool, and you see that in quite a few different lanes as well. Like the top lane, you can have some pretty weird flexes coming up, and we've seen the sort of the resurgence of the Sion really in the last few weeks. The LEC split as well to deal with sort of like these aggressive sort of top laners. So it's you're never quite sure what you're banning out, if it's going to be all the bans. Oh, we have actually seen some bans actually on the board already. I wasn't paying attention at all. We've seen the Stunner for the first ban and then the Hecarim for the second ban. So obviously DET are trying to ban away sort of this your junglers sort of primary junglers. Here we have the Xingzhou as well. While SCS banned the Thresh and the Hecarim, not in order, but Hecarim obviously being this meta jungler, Thresh solid support, and the Seraphine that to be flexed between mid, AD carry, and support. So that's quite a wide range of bans right there. And we've seen the Vlad, which is recently buffed as well. Karma coming in for the first pick very quickly. This is very fast.
There it is.
Was this the 100 pick ban?
Yep. It is banned and picked every single game.
And we see where are we planning to see that? Because Karma's quite a big flex pick. You know,
it is
top
flex. For example,
mid,
in my team, we play a top mid, bot lane, and support, so it can be flexed literally anywhere.
And you also play Karma Lethal Tempo in the jungle if you want to try that at home, but I wouldn't recommend it in your draft names.
All right, we have a Gragas and Orianna. Gragas is also flex pick for top lane and jungle and even support. Most likely going support or top lane though.
Yeah, the Orianna pretty strong pick at all sort of levels, and stays well into the late game. You've always got the threat of a really good shockwave. Gragas acts as a great ball delivery system as well with the body slam. Olaf coming in, I presume that's to be in the jungle.
Yep. Now I have to say this is Solar's most comfortable comp. They run Karma Olaf, and their jungler dropped 29 kills in one of our games, so I would be kind of worried if I were to part of the report.
So
the Olaf just gets speed up pretty much. Yeah,
speed up from the Karma-y. Same thing with the Jinx. Jinx gets excited. She likes to speed up from the Karma Mantra or just being shielded herself. So you know, there's very strong at sort of enabling that Olaf to just run at the enemy team safely. All the while you got the Jinx auto attacking you. Kai'Sa, very strong AD carry at the minute. That's the last pick for this phase for DET1. So you can sort of see where the team comps are going for both teams. You've got this quite sort of look at team fighty, sort of bit divey comp for DET, and you know SCS they're trying to run onto your back line with the Olaf. We see the Annie ban come out from DET1.
Yeah, AJ, I wouldn't say abused, but he played a lot of Annie to get D2, and then he stopped playing it and he dropped to D4. Must be an unlucky. Also, I want to point out that the Kai'Sa pick is a little bit weird because Jinx is normally a pick that you pick into Kai'Sa, which is a pretty good matchup for Jinx. So the Kai'Sa pick a little bit weird, but maybe it's just a comfort that he carry. Yeah. This Orianna is not going to have a lot of fun because the Olaf is just going to be running at her at Mach 2 at the entire time. Yeah,
we've seen the Rel ban coming out here from SCS. So that means that they might not think the Gragas is in support, and they're banning other supports because they think the Gragas is going to be top or jungle. The Twisted Fate, a solid ban for the mid lane. I mean, is that Karma going to be played in the mid lane? We don't know just yet. So, you know, it's taking out that solid mid laner. And the Karthus coming out as well. So that's another jungle ban. Again, signifying that they probably think this Gragas might be in the top lane actually, because they banned a support and a jungler.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Gragas is mostly played in bot lane right now. It's pretty good with Kai'Sa. I've seen it a lot in the LPL as well. Now for this Karma, if I had to guess, I would say it's mid lane just because that's AJ likes playing it a lot. Put a lot in our tournament as well. The Shen coming in, pretty, I'm gonna say okay pick because you're picking a lot of CC and the mobilization against an Olaf, which it's like it doesn't really matter for him. He's just gonna run over you anyway.
You got to think though, the Stand Unite, bring that big shield, allowing some sort of element of sort of safety for one of these strong carries, and the Shen W as well. I think it's Twilight Shroud, meaning that Olaf sword attacks, you know, he's not going to hit any of them. Now coming in, that's quite a strong pick, especially for the sort of allowing for a large amount of CC, so that Olaf can just sort of run at this enemy team freely. So that's quite a strong pick with the top lane there.
Yeah, the Gnar pick, LS is crying somewhere. I personally don't think the Gnar pick is the best here. I feel like there could be better picks, for example, Sion and Ornn, just to engage with the Olaf and be really, really annoying. I think a Gnar can be played around pretty easily. The Victor for the mid lane, so it's pretty much just the standard mid lane picks right now. The Victor versus Orianna, Orianna versus Victor. But yeah, if I... Oh, the Blitzcrank. Is it going to be locked in?
I'm waiting to see. But the Victor, if the Nile answered at all, the Victor ought to just come straight on top of all those stun targets and dish out a lot of damage as well. Same thing with the laser beam, I can't think what it's called. Allowing, you know, it's a champion that does actually quite like to chase. The Lulu being hovered now, and it's locked in. So the Lulu Tyson in the bot lane, saying the Gragas is in the jungle, and Shen in top lane, and Orianna in the mid lane.
Yeah, after draft, I'm going to have to give it to SC Solar, just because their draft, I know how well they can play this draft out, and I feel like their draft is just easier to play, right? You just put a shield on Olaf and watch everything burn down. For DET, I mean, this Kai'Sa Lulu have to get ahead because it's kind of they're kind of their main damage.
Yeah.
Although I'm guessing this Gragas is going full AP in the jungle, so maybe there's that as well. And the Orianna, I mean, I wouldn't say Orianna is really hyper carry.
No, but she does like offer a lot of you know, easy setup for team fights. Just easily demolish team fights, especially when you've got like a sort of a squishy Jinx. You know, the Jinx could easily be one shot by the shockwave and the dissonance.
Yeah, personally, I don't like playing Orianna into Jinx simply because the Jinx range is huge at like max range Q. And it's really, really hard to get the ball in there because you get so close that you end up just getting in range of the Jinx auto attacks, and it's pretty annoying. But it also depends of how good the Orianna is. She does have setup with the Shen taunt E or the flash E from the Gragas.
Yeah. So usually we do see the Gragas being more of an AP jungler, but do you think there might be an option for the Gragas to play tank here and just sort of being able to frontline against the Olaf more effectively?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't really like. Normally, you don't have an AP jungler, AP mid. Normally, you have like AP jungle, AD mid, something like that. They went for AP. Although I am expecting the Gragas to go full AP, but he can go tank. I just feel like they might need a little bit more damage.
Yeah, we just saying about that. I mean, Shen does a lot of magic damage as well with his Q, doing the percent max HP damage, and Kaiser, you know, has the magic damage from her passive as well. So there's quite a lot of AP damage, and they're probably relying on this Kaiser to dish out a lot of just all of their AD damage on DET1 side.
Yeah, and the Shen is probably going to go for the Titanic Hydra build, which does some pretty good damage. My only problem is, again, the Olaf. If he gets ahead, I don't really see a way of DET stopping him. Normally, if you're playing against an Olaf, and as soon as he gets the Karma, you want to pick something that like holds their ground. For example, Kindred Jungle, just wait out the ult and then burst them down. You can do Azir with his wall, because his ult can run through it. Stuff like that. I don't think picking a run-in comp into a run-in comp is the way, but they do have some pretty good zoning tools with Orianna, ult, and the Lulu.
Yeah, as a jungler main myself, and my go-to picks into Olaf are usually J4 or Trundle. You know, like you said, terrain scaling is really good against Olaf because, you know, he can't run through a wall. He has to run around it, even if he's going faster. I can remember in sort of college at Leeds, we used to play Nivea Jarvan into Olaf a lot of the time because, you know, you got the wall and the Cataclysm. He's just not be able to get anywhere near your team.
Yeah, someone pointed out in Twitch chat, Azir ult does not work on Olaf, but it does. You're just seeing it a little bit wrong. You don't want to push the Olaf away because you can't. That we counted at CC. But if you're fighting in a chokehold and the Olaf is just running at you at Mach 2, you can simply put your ult up and then your team can disengage safely. That's why.
Yeah, you can preemptively put the ult down, so it's just this big wall that he can't run past.
Yes, because he can. I don't know if he can be slowed. I don't think so. He can't be stunned.
No, he can't.
Yeah, so you literally have to physically put something in front of him to tell him, yeah, you can't come through here, buddy.
Just to let people know, there was a poll in chat of who won the draft, and it did go mostly towards SCS, so most of the chat here thinking that SCS draft is better than DET1's. There is also now a prediction, so you can bet some points on which team you think is going to win. And we did also have a redemption, so you guys have got to tell me now, why is Pengu singed OP?
It's not. Pengu singed, I got the dishonor to play with it. He will proxy farm at 3 minutes in and then die twice before 5 minutes. You don't want to see that. I mean, you want to see that if you're the enemy team.
But we got to talk about why it's OP. Why is pro?
I think the thing that why just Singed in general is sort of OP. Air quotation marks around that. Is that people don't know how to play a dense Singed, and people just see Singed. Oh, he's in between the towers in the top lane. Let's go run at Singed. Let's try and kill him and get this gold. He wants you to do that. You're playing into him if you do that. You need to play around the map. Let him free farm. You know, you play a top laner into the Singed who can proxy farm as well, or at least just farm a wave and tank a wave. You know, I used to play a lot of AD Shyvana top. You know, because it clears the wave so fast. You do the same thing with Udyr top. With if you play Phoenix, you just clear waves so fast. You don't worry about the Singed. You forget about him. Who cares? He's gonna do his own thing. You let him. Because he's not going to actually do that much when you can actually play someone who can actually have an impact on the team. You know, it's Singed. You know, number one with the league. Don't chase the Singed. You know, at the same time, it could be a silver player playing Singed, or it could be Minish Cap playing Singed. You just don't know. It's all the same.
Yeah, the thing is, Singed can actually have it can just be super annoying if he gets ahead. He can be pretty tanky and he does some good damage as well on top. However, when Pengu plays it, the problem is that he will play the same way when ahead as when behind. So the score means really nothing when he's playing Singed. He will run it down nonetheless. And sometimes he gets kills, most of the time he gets killed.
Yeah,
there we go.
I mean, you got to remember as well with Singed soaking up all this pressure into the top lane. He wants to do that. He's not actually he may not be putting himself ahead by doing that, but he's, you know, putting other people behind because they're wasting time trying to chase him down.
Yeah, I mean, he does. Jokes aside, he is pretty good at Singed. And when he proxy farms, he mostly, I'm not exactly sure like why he does it. He stopped doing it and he stopped dying as much because his team mostly flamed him. But I am pretty sure that his coach does not allow him to play Singed for a valid reason. Same thing as Quinn. You don't want to see those champions coming from him, otherwise it's a bad day for your team.
I think a champion like Quinn as well in the top lane, it's quite difficult to draft around because you're sort of losing this sort of tanky top lane that you could have, and you're having to look at tanks in the jungle in support, and you're also having to try to carry it, not pick, you know, double AP anywhere. So double AD, another AD champion, you've got, you know, such a strong marksman in the top lane. So you're sort of forced into having an AP jungler who's also quite tanky.
Yeah, I mean, in jungle, the meta right now is pretty boring, to be honest. You just see the Hecarim, the Udyr, the Lilia most of the time. If you get like 1 or 2 enchanters, you'll pick the Olaf. You see the Nidalee here and there, but you have to be extremely good at her to make it work. I think that Xin Zhao is coming up sometimes. I definitely think Xin Zhao and Volibear as well, since the new buff has been seen quite a lot of play.
Yeah, I mean, most of this sort of the Hecarim, Volibear, Udyr, it's all because of sort of Chem Tank at the minute, really, let's be honest. But Chem Tank should be getting nerfed next patch as well. The movement speed bonus going from 60% to 40%, so that may be enough to sort of sway people away from playing these sort of run-at-you tank champions. So we might see less of the Hecarim, less of the Udyr, but I think we might still just see the same amount of Volibear, really.
Yeah,
So-
and it's an Olaf with Ghost, so his plan is to literally run you down. Bot lane. Oh, Karma actually went bot lane. Yeah, Karma playing with heal Jinx with barrier. They just want to survive until they're strong enough to pretty much 1v9.
Yeah. Just pointing out, the Olaf has, not the Olaf, sorry, the Gragas has Predator as well, so he's looking for these really strong early ganks. The Shen's got the Grasping Undyne there. I'm not sure how effective that's going to be into the ranged Gnar matchup, but the Gnar does also have Grasping Undyne as well. Obviously, being able to poke Shen down, get those stacks pretty easily. We've got double Phase Rush coming in the mid lane, lethal tempo for the Jinx, and Kai'Sa has Halo Blades, pretty standard on the AD carries. Karma has Guardian, pretty defensive setup there, and Lulu has the Aerie, so something pretty standard on Lulu as well.
All right, Solar going maybe for a 5-man invade through top lane. The Shen maybe does see him. However, they're gonna hug the wall. They might be able to catch
Stunned
Shen
by the
off guard.
axes. Has the
However,
build
they don't really have any hard CC. I hope the Shen doesn't flash. He might have to flash. Yeah, he's gonna have to flash here. Oh, he started
No.
E. Okay.
Oh, am I a bit ahead of you two?
No,
I
I
am
see
at-
the same as you.
I'm at 0.53 right now.
I want a minute
Yeah, you're a
now.
little bit behind.
Oh?
Just
Okay, I'm at 105
you
now.
can just
Yeah,
speed
yeah,
up and
that's
it
fine,
will
yeah.
catch you back up.
All right.
Yep.
All right, I got it.
There we are.
My bad.
Yeah, so no hard
Ooh,
CC on the
there's
seen
another
SC
invade.
Scholar. However, seen
Oh,
the
no.
counter invade here.
No.
Jinx running blind. There we are. She might have to flash over the wall. Timer here doesn't have the shield. Got the Q level 1. Had to flash and heal. No, sorry, not heal on the Jinx. Just flash. But she was ignited. She will live. However, will they follow through the steal for the Gragas? No, they're not. Gragas go back to his blue buff, losing out loads of momentum
Oh.
on the side of. Oh, we've seen a disconnect here and a pause.
All right, that was a little bit weird. Normally, when you invade 5-man topside, you kind of expect them to answer with the bot side of the invade, maybe to take your buff or to just get vision. So Jinx maybe a little bit of an int to walk in blind like that, but I mean it happens to everyone. She now doesn't have flash, but the Lulu used ignite and she still has barrier and heal. It's still going to be pretty hard to kill her.
Yeah, I just want to point out that Gragas is not actually following through and stealing the red buff, so he's now walking back to his blue buff. It means he'll be very far behind the Olaf on, a champion that doesn't clear the fastest either, and he's starting solo on the blue buff now. So, we're not going to see him be able to dank unless he's going to do just clear bot side and down bot lane for quite a while.
Yeah, and as I said before in the beginning of the game, Snifflemont's a really solid jungler who when he gets ahead, he just takes over the game. So this Gragas getting behind already just by the bad clear and not having a leash is not a very good news for him.
No. I mean, we might see an option here for the Olaf to vertical jungle and take the Gragas' blue side. Not blue side, top side, sorry. There's still that ward just about on the red buff in the top, sort of the top quadrant of the jungle. So, Olaf could clear the wolves and then go up to top lane. There are pings coming out on the red team side just around at the Raptors, just in case so they're aware that the invade is an option here. Iron are being chased down by the Victor in the mid lane. However, she's fine.
Yeah, so the The Olaf does blue anti-grump into wolves. I wonder if he's going to do vertical jungling. But Orion did put a
I see us
defensive
very far
ward
up.
in the chickens to see if the Olaf would go into the red buff.
No, that's his own
See
bot
what
side.
Bot
Botline,
lane
a
is
little bit
playing.
of a trade. Karma getting poked out by the Kaiser Lulu. Yeah, using the heal there, they didn't respect level 2, and now they get punished for it.
Yeah, they might lose a lot of CS here as the waves pushing into Kaiser still. Actually, no, there's enough caster minions there that will come back. But Olaf was spotted on a ward on his Raptors, clearing his bot side. So Olaf knows his top side is Gragas knows his top side is free.
Chocolate
And
going
he's
in.
straight
Nar
top lane.
going in for an engaged top lane. Is this going to be a solo bolo? It doesn't look like it. The Shen's going to get away with a Q passive shield. Now this bot lane is a little bit of a mess right now. The Jinx is behind in farm because the Karma did not respect the level 2 from the Partridge Esports. Yeah, this game looking a little bit rough for their bot lane, but I feel like top lane is kind to be a little bit one-sided.
There's quite a
Yeah,
big
well-
wave left though for Jinx to pick up, so she'll be able to make up some of that difference.
Yeah, we are expecting to see quite a one-sided matchup for the Gnar into the Shen. Obviously, ranged champion can easily poke the Shen down early. However, Shen should be able to pick up most of his CS under his tower here and, reclaim some of the gold that he's down at the minute.
Yeah, for the mid lane, the Victor can set up a freeze here with his W gravity field. He can walk up to the side, gravity field the minions, and it will get a free freeze pretty much. However, the Orianna might not let him do that. The Olaf coming in for gank mid lane. Looks like the Orianna does not have vision. The Gregs is nearby on chickens. The Olaf is coming. The Olaf used Ghost. Oh, she didn't flash in time. I believe she might be dead here. Yeah, she's... Oh?
Oh, no, Victor flashed
no,
over the
she's
wall
dead,
as
yeah.
well. Grags with the double body slam into the cast, but he's just going to walk away. And yeah, that was a successful gank there by the Olaf. Orianna not really expecting that. Olaf can just pop Ghost and just run at her. As well, she just stood in the gravity field. Oh, gravity field's gone down onto the TP. Olaf's going to...
Olaf's might be going down here.
Yeah. Probably an overstay there, trying to shove this wave in and deny Orianna the CS, but Orianna was able to spawn back in and TP back in, and Olaf couldn't really do much about that in the end.
The Gragas is going to do chickens when we try to recant these fitter, but I think Mr. AJ, he knows, and yeah, he went to check on the Gragas. Now, that gank by the Orianna, I feel like Orianna should have seen that one coming. She's pushed up, she knows the jungler is around. She should have probably been more careful, and she had flash. She could have flashed the gravitational field, but she decided not to. Karma and the Victor going on the Gragas. The Gragas is stunned for a long time, but I don't think they have the damage to follow up. While
Jinx
this is going on, the Jinx is dying bot lane, and this is a little bit of a mess.
Yeah, this is a lot of fights breaking out, different fights in different lanes. I'm not sure what Tato was doing in the bot lane, overextending, I imagine, and then got polymorphed. I can only assume. We didn't actually see that happen, but Gragas staying caught out in the bot side of mid right there.
Yeah, Victor and Karma overestimating their damage. They didn't manage to get the Gragas, but they did get the flash. However, because the Gragas moved, the Jinx wasn't paying much attention and just played too aggro and got punished by a bot lane, having to waste barrier and dying. So that's not a good look
damage
for
in
bot
top lane.
Oh, is this a solo bolo? No, it's a flash with
Might be
Shen.
Q.
Oh.
No, flash burn. Yeah, I'm not really sure why Jinx was out overextending there and caught out. Obviously it's just a team environment. They knew she knew the Karma was in the mid lane, so you would have thought she would have played back until the Karma could get back to the bot lane.
Yeah, the Olaf here with an aggressive invade on the top side for the Gragas doing his Krugs. Orianna ult mid lane, maybe looking for a kill, but she does not have enough mana or lethal here. He's probably just going to get the Victor to back. Yeah, but he does have TP, so this is probably fine. Now the Greg is maybe looking in for a gank mid from behind. However, I think he got spotted. Yeah, he got spotted. AJ may be inting a little bit, but so is Space Winner, by the way.
Yeah, took a few tower shots there, but being able to get out pretty free, just shielding herself and getting out of lane. She has the Gragas nearby, but the Olaf is coming to pick up this farm in the mid lane. Will he turn on the Orianna?
He has no flash and no ghost, so most likely not. And there's a Gragas hovering around. Now, Karma gets spotted by a ward. Looks like this isn't really going to do anything.
Olaf should not be here contesting this. I mean, he could try and smite it well. He's a high level. Yeah, he does get it, but now he's sort of in a 1v3
Actually,
almost.
he's level 6. He can definitely do this. Yeah, the Victor and the Gnar both have TP, so this is just fine. Olaf's going to get a double kill.
This is going to be a double kill, solo double kill as well.
Yeah, so this is what happens every single game. Oh, no, the memes.
The BM.
Come on, no. Yeah, and what looked like a pretty okay game for Team Departure just turned into a mess. See, this is what I meant in the beginning, that Gragas was messing up his clear, and Sniffle Monster is now 2 levels ahead of him, and has the 2 kills on the top laner and the jungler. this is going to snowball out of control with this Karma.
Yeah, no, it was Gragas to level down, trying to take his camp. Olaf walking up to contest, obviously a level higher with Smite up, but you know he was walking into 3. But no, Olaf got the crab and he was able to get level 6 and just run everyone down. It from what turned into being a sort of lack of respect for the Olaf turned into a lack of respect for the whole team of DET2. You know, turning that sort of gank around almost.
Yeah, and I mean, this is definitely not what the departure reports want, because the win con of Solar is getting this Olaf ahead and then just snowballing with the Karma. And I mean, right now he is super strong.
I mean, Olaf is on double Gragas experience, farm, and he's about 1,300 gold up as well. So that's a huge lead for the Olaf.
Yeah, top lane. I mean, this Shen is just getting bullied by this Gnar. Gnar is so annoying to play against. Yeah, he's 2 levels down, has half the farm, has less than half the farm than the Gnar. Looking a little bit of rough. Maybe the Gnar might look for a dive, but I don't think so. I don't think he has damage quite yet, but maybe. Just looking for the plates.
Yeah, I think probably not enough respect given to the Gnar on the from the Shen here, because you know you expect the Gnar to poke you, but he's just taking absolutely he's taking so much harass at every CS here. He needs to give a bit more, just soak experience and just wait for something to happen. SCS are getting the dragon here for free. Inferno dragon for the first one. Bot lane able to move up and help, and walking back down. Shouldn't lose any CS to the tower. That Jinx will be able to catch it in time. Again, Gnar pushing in. However,
The Gragas is coming in.
He doesn't have a gank.
He doesn't have a ward. Yeah, Gragas is not level 6 though, so he cannot ult the Gnar back, and the Gnar does have flash, so I don't think this is actually going to turn into a kill. If anything, if they kept chasing, there was a chance like the Gnar could have actually turned that on them.
Yeah. No taunt from the Shen there, which was probably needed to engage start the gank for the Gragas to get in there and body slam sort of the taunted Gnar, but we didn't see that. We just saw the Predator popped and Gragas stunned.
Yeah, so this Olaf right now still actually 3 levels ahead of the Gragas. I'm guessing the Gragas is about to get 6 and maybe 1 or 2. Oh yeah, he just got 6, but still 2 levels ahead for the Olaf. A full Gore Drinker completed. I mean, this is looking a little bit rough for the Party Sports. If they want to do something, they need to flip the game somehow.
Yeah, bedtime at 9 on the Gragas. He doesn't want to see the Olaf anywhere in his jungle. He has to walk away from every single engagement. But you know, it's only Gragas. He's only got the 1 body slam. Olaf could still run him down even in his own jungle. He has to be very careful now. We need to see some vision sort of on the entrance to his own jungle to make sure he's not being invaded constantly.
Yeah, the Olaf can literally just run into the jungle. Oh, maybe a solo kill top here. The Gnar with the thing. Oh, the Karma misses Q, but he's chasing here.
W?
I think this might be a kill, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe...
Might trade it back.
Yeah, the grasp. So Shen hit the Gnar right at the end, getting the grasp proc, giving all that extra damage, allowing
into the Olaf, has to flash and ult, but it does not matter. Olaf does not care about consent. It is what it is, and there goes the Lulu.
Again, lack of respect there. Was there a ward on? There was a. Oh no, it was pinked. So you know they didn't see the Olaf in the bush. Not really sure why Lulu was there. The Shen had already died. As we don't see them get the first herald now at 10 minutes, allowing them to get plate gold. You know, there's only 3 plates left on the top lane. Imagine it might be going up there. Get first tower gold on the Gnar. Get him even more ahead, allowing him to pressure in, pushing into the inner tower at least. Could see it mid as well. 3 plates now on mid. So you know, there's a lot of options for his first herald here. As Olaf is trying to invade the top side of Gragas' top side, looking at the Raptors first. Gragas is here though. There might be a little fight, but Olaf can just kill the Gragas easily.
They should know there's no ult on Olaf.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think they can do much. Gragas maybe looking for Victor, not respecting, and I think he is dead. Please give it to the Orianna, otherwise I'm going to cry. Oh, the Victor maybe getting away here.
Yeah, Victor not respecting the Gragas being there. I mean, he was just spotted on the Raptors. I'm not sure why he was just recalling there in that bush. But
yeah, the Sniffle monster must be a little bit upset when you're 3-1 as the Olaf. You're the win con. The Karma is running around with you just so you can 1v1 or 2v1, not even 3v1. The Victor dying there is pretty bad because pretty much what they have to do is just play safe and play the game up. Now this Karma is trying to maybe defend the pink ward, but the Orianna just is a little bit too ahead for her to do something.
Yeah, I think she should be able to get the pink here now as Orianna's basing over the wall.
I think I will.
Yeah, just trading pink for pink, a little bit of poke, that's about it.
The amount of time that Karma has spent outside of lane, they've not really managed to punish Dakota being on his own down there in the bot lane yet. You can see he's only about 5 down on farm.
Yeah, but he has been getting all this solo XP as well, so he's actually a higher level than both Kai'Sa and Lulu. Not really going to do much at the minute. You know, he's still only level 8.
Oh,
but, mid.
Orianna has flash. She doesn't flash again. but I feel like AJ doesn't have the damage.
That's
The
the
Shen ult
standard
and
Ignite
the
from the Shen.
flash. All right, that's a little bit much.
No.
That seems like a little bit of a not.
Disconnect.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like if you either flash or get Shen ulted.
Yeah. Lack of communication there, definitely.
Oh,
She's now
maybe
going to
the
stay for the minion
maybe the
wave. This could be a
Olaf.
mistake.
The
Has
Olaf
to
is
use
just
a
going to
shockwave.
go
Olaf
broom
can run her
broom.
down.
Maybe not.
No, drop the herald.
No.
They don't get this first tower here easily with the herald charge, and then a couple more auto attacks. Shen's engaging on the Gnar. Under tower, got taunted, stunned. There's first tower gold onto 3 of them in the mid lane.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
they're
this Olaf
diving
is just
to the
gonna
Gragas.
go. Yeah, I mean, this is not pretty. Oh my god,
Karma
the
picks up
Karma
with
didn't
empowered
need to
Q.
take that. Now
Now-
in the bot lane, Jinx is just alone playing her own game versus the Departures Esports, which I think should honestly probably swap with their mid laner or their top laner because their top laner cannot do anything right now.
I mean, there could be this look to try and they could be looking to put the Invicta into a side lane here just to allow them to keep pushing and maybe give the Jinx mid lane just to get this free farm. But you know, you're going to be overextending on your own there, so maybe. But with the Karma and the Olaf just walking around as a 2, Jinx is probably going to be on her own for the considerable future.
Yeah, this Olaf is now 3 levels ahead. Oh, as I say that, 2 levels ahead still of the Gragas, just 40 farm ahead. He's
there's
super
flash in
strong. The Jinx maybe getting soloed by the Lulu, but she had flash, so she's fine. Not respecting. I mean, this is probably not a very fun game for Taco, but it doesn't really matter because his Olaf and his Karma are just running over people. Now,
it's not. Sorry, I was just say it's not a fun game, but you know it's part of the game plan for SCS. You know, I think Tato expects to be left on his own and just try and take as much farm as possible. I mean, he's only 300 gold behind. Meanwhile, Olaf is 2,000 gold up on the Gragas, so it's worth it for the greater good, as it were.
yeah, Victor pushing out the mid lane. Really good. Might actually get the tower. I don't think so. Ori is going to clear the wave. They get the Ocean Soul for the SCS. It looks a little bit worrying for the Party Esports. I'm not gonna lie.
Especially with the Mountain Soul coming up. If Olaf can get the next few Drakes or just get the Soul in general, he's going to be even harder to kill as he charges you, especially with the Karma shielding.
Yeah, it looks like the Shen is not going for the Titanic build, which I can understand in this game because he's getting smacked around pretty hard. He's just going to go full tank. However, he's not going to do damage, and he's also not going to be very tanky because he's just dead behind. The Gnar is just pulling him very hard.
Yeah.
The Gragas...
Yeah, he's 40 deaths down, isn't he?
Yeah, the Gragas is just so behind this Olaf. This Olaf and this Karma are just running around doing whatever they want.
Well,
Maybe the Kaisers are looking for a solo kill. No, she flashes away. There's a TP
from
from
the Orianna.
the Orianna, but I don't know what the Orianna wants to do. That is a little bit of a weird TP. Looks like me on Orianna, but yeah, that was not cool.
Oh, Gnar. Oh, he went back into a mini Gnar. He's going to have to DPS. I don't think he's going to be able to get the kill now. Karma is here. That's the mantra Q coming down under the tower. Shen's just managed to taunt away though.
Yeah,
We'll give up the tower, I imagine. I don't think that's going to stay up any longer.
Oh, here comes the Olaf. Yeah, there's no way you're getting out of there.
Yeah,
it
now
does
he uses
not
the
matter. It matters not. The Olaf will run you over. Now, I have to say, we did have to praise Taco a little bit, even though he died once. He's been playing 1v2 the entire game, and he has only died once. And that death could have been prevented, I will admit.
Yeah.
The Orianna maybe looking for a solo kill on the Gnar, but Gnar is just maybe too strong for the Orianna. There's an Olaf there too with the Karma. I believe the Orianna is about to get run down.
The dive on the Jinx. 3, that's the cast. And pushes in the wrong way.
Victor is, however, here.
Behind.
He is disrespecting the Departure Esports. Oh, if that W hit, he would have been dead.
Oh, he dives anywhere to the Ignite, it looks like.
E. No, the Lulu EQ.
Oh, I thought it was the Ignite burnout. Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, Lulu put the Pixie Adder on Jinx on the minion and queued through the Victor, I believe.
I think the Ignite also did help there. A little bit of everything coming out from Glacier.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like obviously the dive failed as Gragas missed the cast, but Victor coming in behind looked like they could turn it, but you know they just turned back onto the Victor himself, turned it, made him out of position. Victor's focusing the Lulu, not much he can do there after he drops his ult and his combo, so he's just going to die. Seems to be a bit of an overstep by the Victor there, trying to help his teammate.
Personally, I think the Victor should have probably just TP to the tower. Would have been safer, would have stopped the dive, and would have pretty much achieved the same thing. He could have probably killed the Lulu or someone else, but again, they just focus him, and then they can burst him down pretty fast as a Victor. He's just pretty squishy. Now, this Olaf is kind of scary. He's now 3 levels ahead of the Gragas. The Karma actually rushing a Shurelius to speed up the Olaf even more. He is a speed machine. He's going to run into your team, and I don't know how exactly they would stop him. The Lulu also going for Shurelius, which I think is a little bit confusing. But
that could be a mistake here. You know, as a Lulu, you know you're gonna have some people running at you. You might want to look into getting a locket here just to have that extra shield in. It's not going to be much survivability, but it's a bit more. It might change a fight for your favor if you know the Orianna lives or the Kai'Sa lives for a bit longer and manage to DPS for even further.
It will
Yeah,
allow you
I'm
to kite a lot easier because that will shield up your speed up your whole team. I don't believe it gives any extra running towards champions as opposed to away, so it can
No.
just completely counter the Karmas.
yeah. The
Sure
problem
it
is,
is,
I
but the
think
problem is
their
Karma has so
idea,
many other speed ups as
yeah,
well. There's
Yeah,
I
you
think
got
their
too
idea is to
much.
outrun the Olaf with the Shrillius. However, I think the Olaf is still faster.
Yeah,
He
the
has
Olaf will
Ghost, he
always be
has
faster,
ult.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
so
he's got the blue
maybe
smite as well
Moonstone.
for the speed up. Gnar could be getting caught out here. There are 4 DET1 members in the bot lane. It's just the Gnar and the Karma here. But they just seem to be clearing the pink ward and walking away. Victor's pushing in mid. Shen's managed to pick up farm in the top lane, but they're losing second heralds as well. We could see this break open either the inner at the top lane or the inhibitor tower in the mid lane. And if it's an open inhibitor, you know, that's a lot of pressure coming into mid lane, allowing just an even more of an open map. You know, Gragas could get even less camps right now, and he's just going to lose, fall behind even further.
Yeah, so we're esports now, 6k gold ahead. The Karma actually looking to catch up to Gragas, but I think the Lulu's there. He should be fine. The Gnar is also here. The Olaf is right behind her. I think the
Everyone
Olaf is
frosts.
gonna, yeah, the Olaf is just gonna press the skill button and run people down now.
Yeah.
Gets the Gragas, maybe going for the Orianna. She has no ult, no flash. She is pretty dead.
Just
She has
doing
flash,
it
but it
still.
doesn't matter. He's gonna keep going. The Mad Lad is super fast, but he runs out. He
He
runs out of.
runs out his ult, yeah. We've seen a
But
lot
I
of.
mean, he might still be able to run these guys down. Honestly, he's that strong.
Yeah.
But I think he's gonna.
Karma is still nearby. She does have Mantra up now, so we could see a Mantra into a tower dive. Oh no, just a Mantra into taking the blue buff, it looks like, as we drop the Herald. Probably not going to get this bot lane tower with the charge, as there are 3 members here.
Yeah, the Shen may be looking in for a taunt. However, he's just getting chunked out. I believe the Shen might actually die here.
No,
It looks like he just gets really low.
Yeah, with the Lulu shield, he's managed to live there. But third Dragon is up. Gragas is here. He's taking the Gromp. Counter almost the entirety of the bot side jungle. We'll move over to this Dragon now. Get soul point for SCS. You know, I think this could be the nail in the coffin here for Det2. Det1, sorry, where they could. No, I don't think there's a reasonable point to get back into the game from here.
Yeah, I mean, this seems like a little bit of a jungle canyon, this game. This Olaf is just so strong. He will run over anyone, everyone. I'm fairly certain him and the Karma can 2v5 at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it was Olaf was being ahead really from level 1. We saw Gragas sort of make quite a path in error, starting late on his own blue buff without a leash. You know, he was slow to clear. He was behind the level already when they went to the top side spittle, and Olaf basically 1v2'd the Gragas and the Shen. It has been quite detrimental for Det1 to have the Gragas on the team the whole game. Maybe this is a problem with the draft. Maybe they can come and have an answer to this in the second game. But we'll have to see what they try to draft around, how they plan to draft around the Olaf if they don't want to ban it out.
Yeah, Olaf, the person with the most gold in the game, he has the most farm in the game, the highest level in the game, and has a Karma behind him. So, yeah, this might be a little bit doomed. The Kai'Sa may be getting 1v1 by the Gnar. The Gnar's going in. The Luke's here. Gnar is going to get Mega, though. The Kai'Sa flashes the ult, and it looks like the Gnar is just going to die. Maybe a little bit overstepping from him.
Yeah, no, it was looking really positive for the Gnar there until the Lulu came. Then there was just, you know, the speed boost from the Whimsy and the shield, as we've seen a fight between the support and the top laner. They're just going to walk away.
The Karma versus the Shen, however, they do about the same damage. I think Karma actually does more, and they can't really collapse on her. Now, this Orianna doesn't have a tier, which is a little bit weird because she did go Leandre's. I'm not exactly sure what their plan is. The problem is they have a comp that utilizes the... Oh, looks like...
20-minute
like
Baron
Solar.
with the Jinx, with the Olaf and the Karma. They were spotted, obviously, clearing that pin ward in the back of the pit, as we've seen Orianna and Gragas come. I mean, we could look for a spicy steal on Saturday night. We saw a Thresh steal a Baron with a hook, so we could see something similar here.
The Olaf has Ghost and
there.
ult. The Karma has everything. Looks like he was waiting. Yeah, he just smites the Baron, and I think this Gragas might be dead, but I don't think the Karma can finish him off. They're going mid. The Olaf might just pop. The Olaf might pop the turbo and just run this Gragas down. Actually, he's been ran down by the Karma. That's a sad sight to see.
That's Ghost on the Olaf.
Oh my god, he got soloed by him.
The solo kill.
The Gnar going in for double ult. Stridebreak into the Lulu. Gonna get the Lulu, but I feel like she dies. Yeah, he dies now.
Almost getting revenge for when he died in the
bot
lane.
That is
that
so not worth it because they just get everything. Yeah, the Gnar actually played it really well. He stopped the backs, killed the Lulu, and forced the Chen to come help the guys.
Yeah, I mean they do lose the Baron on the Gnar. Did Gnar even have Baron? Because he did die before the Baron in the bot lane. So
I think he had Baron though. He had Baron.
Yeah. So they do lose the Baron, but they are getting this top inhib. Obviously, The only tower really on the outside of their base for DET1 is their bot lane inner tower, which is which is really low. It took that charge from the second herald. It's only on about 700 HP. So one more wave into the bot lane with a Jinx has auto tanking a few times. It's going to go down as well. They will be able to move into the mid lane as well in a few minutes, few seconds really, as they reset with Baron minions pushing their waves.
Yeah, but this game looks pretty over. No one can even come close to the damage of the Olaf. Now the Kaiser is kind of fed, has the Kraken Slayer going for the Collector, I believe. However, I don't exactly know how Kaiser plans to kite an Olaf moving faster than the semi-truck going towards her. And he also hurts about as much as a semi-truck. So, yeah, this is looking a little bit rough. The Olaf can honestly probably proc his spells and go in. Yeah, but the Kaiser actually does have some nice damage.
Yeah.
Kaiser has picked up a Zeal, actually, so it might not be Collector second.
Oh.
Going towards a Phantom Dancer, Zeal's longsword.
Maybe. That's kind of weird. Why would you go... Okay. But the thing is, the Olaf now does have the death stance, so he will be pretty hard to kill.
I mean, like I said, the Kaiser does have damage, but what can she do against the Olaf running against her? She can only use the killer instinct once, and even then it's not that far of a jump away from the Olaf either. So, if Olaf gets on him, it's pretty much lights out for the Kaiser.
Yeah, I mean, this game is the famous quote, you can run, but you can't hide. This time is the other way around. You can hide, but you can definitely not run from this Olaf.
Yeah. I mean, Olaf also, I don't think neither of us have mentioned it, but Olaf does have boots of swiftness as well, giving him a bit more movement speed. Obviously, doesn't want that the defensive stats of the steel plates or the merc treads, and neither does he want the ability haste on the. Oh, we see shotgun coming out.
Yeah, but the Orianna, this build has no damage, and yeah, she has no follow up either. The Greg is popping the Predator to walk around a little bit faster, and the Olaf, I think, is just gonna pop the motor. Yeah, the Gnar jumping in, everyone flashes out.
I think we might see them rotate to mid and get them into him as well, and just let double two minions run down each lane.
Yeah, the Olaf has no ghost, but he does have ult. The Karma has ult coming up soon, probably around 5 seconds. She does not have Shirelius though. Looks like they're just going to back here.
Yeah, just want to point out sort of a flaw in the DET1's draft is where is their wave clear? Really, I mean they dropped the Orianna ball to try and clear the waves from range, and obviously Kaiser auto attacks, but there's not really any mass wave clear on their team at all, really, is there?
You have to remember, Baron minions have a lot of MR. They're very hard to kill for any sort of mages, and Kaiser does deal quite a portion of AP damage as well. So
I've been waiting to say this for a while now, but it looks like it's 25 minutes in, and no one from Team Departure has any anti-heal but the Shen. Now, this is probably something you don't want having, especially against an Olaf that is this fed. And the thing with Orianna, she is a utility mage. That's her main, that's her main thing. Oh, looks like the Olaf might actually just prop ult and run down the... And here he goes. Here he goes on the Lulu. He's going to run down the Lulu. Lulu can't really do much. Oh, maybe it might be a bit too much. He might be biting a little bit too much, but I don't think so. Oh, yeah, he is definitely. Yeah, he went a little bit too deep. But I don't think it matters. Looks like the Gnar is just going to be able to probably end the game here. The Orianna lands a nice ult on the Karma. Karma taking a tower. The Gragas flash E, but it looks like nothing's going to happen to Shen. Shen E flash on the Karma, but I think he's just going to get killed by the Jinx and the Victor.
If they can hang on.
Yeah, the Jinx gets excited and is just running them down as well. Oh, the massive Gnar ult. Yeah, and this looks like it's game.
I'm not sure what that was, because when the Olaf was ulted and running the Lulu, he got into range of auto, but it was just sort of stood there. I'm not sure if there was a misclick going on there and he just like stood in front of the Lulu. Maybe it's a form of disrespect, but he did kill the Lulu but died for it in the end, but they do win the game. Yeah,
I mean, as soon as I saw I knew for a fact that as soon as Karma wasn't banned, this was going to happen. It's just what they play. Normally the Karma doesn't go support, but she can be flexed anywhere anyway. And yeah, here we see why Karma is a pick and ban in our in-house. She's just so strong and supporting, especially when you have such strong jungler as Sniffle Monster and this carry junglers like the Olaf. It just makes the game pretty much impossible to play if they snowball out of control.
So how do we think? How do you think DET1 will try to counter this now? Will they ban the Olaf? Will they ban the Karma? What's going to be their game plan next time around?
Well, personally, I didn't think their draft was really good, especially into the Olaf, for example. But what we normally do is we ban out the Karma because Olaf needs an enabler, so it needs a Karma, a Lulu, something like that. Karma is the best one, though. For example, Seraphine is not enough because she's early game just isn't as good as Karma. I would ban out the Karma, yeah, and honestly, just ban out junglers after that. Ban out the Karma, maybe ban out Tiskarner, ban out the Xin Zhao. Put your jungler on utility jungler where he doesn't need a lot of gold and doesn't need a lot of kills to function, because the Grag is full AP, you're kind of counting on getting ahead to one-shot the carries. But when it's jungler versus jungler, I'm gonna put my bunny on Stifle Monster most of the time. So you might want to put him on a Volibear, maybe on a Jarvan, maybe on an Udyr, maybe even just to get his team ahead and see what they can do.
Yeah. Gabblit, is it possible to put the damage graph back up on the stream? Because there's just something I want to just talk about for a second. Or if you already
No,
left it.
I already left the thing to make the
that
new
is fine.
lobby.
I mean, there's a few people just pointed out in the chat as well, but obviously, Taco on Jinx being left solo in the bot lane, just trying to soak up farm 1v2. Obviously, didn't do a lot of damage that game, but Kai'Sa actually 11k damage, sort of similar damage to the Victor, and only just a little bit behind the Olaf. It was the Na'Vi who brought out the most damage. Obviously, in the top lane, as a ranged into ranged into melee matchup, you obviously be poking down throughout the laning phase. So that's quite a a swollen sort of damage number there. But there probably was a hope with the Kai'Sa dealing a lot of damage in this game, but it never came to fruition. There was no way to enable that, especially into the Olaf, who was already really fed. Definitely, Kai'Sa probably wasn't a bad pick there, but you say it was bad into Jinx, but it was a comfort pick, and in the end, they played it 2v1 in the lane. So maybe they might see to try and get the Olaf away from the draft and try to pick the Kai'Sa and carry through the Kai'Sa again in the bot lane.
Yeah, normally against Jinx, right now what's being picked is the full authority Varus. However, Varus wouldn't have done much against the Olaf either.
No.
So
I mean, Varus has the snare from his ult, and of course the slow on his E question mark the AOE.
yeah, it is the
So, but again, Olaf goes unstoppable. Nothing you can
actually
do about
maybe
that.
the Varus wouldn't have been a terrible pick because of his E actually has grievous wounds. So
It does, doesn't it?
if he didn't get that ahead and they got ahead bot lane, the game might have looked a little bit different.
Yeah, it's just talking about grievous wounds as well. Of course, not Kai'Sa, Tristana. Does she still have grievous wounds on her E, or is that been gone off a kid?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
It used to do grievous wounds. I'm 90% sure, but I don't think. I mean, again, the Varus would have been able to poke out maybe the Olaf, but again, you got the constant shielding from the Karma, rendering the sort of poke like very inefficient, especially if he wasn't doing that much damage. So.
Yeah, I mean, Karma and Seraphine are just picked pretty much across every region right now. Karma is really good early game, mid game, and late game. However, Seraphine just takes over late game with all her utility plus her ult plus just heals and shields for everyone. So I mean, yeah, those two are just super prio picks. What I would consider doing if I was the part of your sports here, go for an easy comp to execute that can withstand people running into you.
Yeah.
So if Seraphine is open, for example, first pick her. If maybe a Lulu on the bot lane like it pick now with a safe you carry like an Ezreal or something, and kind of just play a hold your ground comp, maybe with a Scion, some sort of tanky frontline, and just hope that your jungler can play more for the team this time and not get quite as scared away by the enemy jungler.
Yeah, as we saw in the last game, Gragas falling behind very early in that game and staying behind throughout the whole game, just falling more and more behind as the game went on. Obviously, there needs to be a new approach. I mean, we saw that sort of counter invade in the bot lane, almost working and almost hitting the Jinx level 1 first blood, but they didn't really get anything apart from her flash for that. So, and then because the Gragas was so behind, there was no way to use the fact that Jinx had no flash to get ahead. I mean, she did die 1v2 in the bot lane, but I think that was after her flash had already come back up. So. It's just as they played it, really.
Yeah, I definitely think the invade on the bottom was a smart move. They saw that the Shen was getting invaded, and they said, "Okay, let's go in. Let's try to catch someone off guard when they're doing the rotation down bot." I think they actually could have killed this Jinx. I don't know what went wrong, but I felt like they should have had the burst to kill her, which is kind of sad they didn't. But I think the moment where the game kind of got flipped was the Olaf 2v1 down up in the top lane.
Yeah,
The Gragas was level 4, the Olaf was level 5, and I guess it was hard for him to know that the Olaf would have turned 6 as soon as he smited that. But I feel like maybe you should have just let it go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there was any vision for DET1 there in the top side to see Olaf was coming up to contest the crab, but maybe they should have expected it anyway. I think Gragas especially thought he was safe, especially with Prio in both his solo lanes, allowing for Shen and Orianna to be there as well. But that didn't turn into their favor at all, as Olaf just ran them down and got the double kill.
Yep. Just to let people know, we are yet again setting up a lobby, just waiting for a few of the team members to get into our lobby before we set up the champ select. Give them all the various things. Everyone who voted did vote for SCS to win, so you all just get your points back. Congratulations, no one lost any points. But
I'm gonna use this small break to take quite a quick bathroom break.
yes,
Yeah.
feel free to go take a quick break, and yeah, we can have a look at the teams. So we've got to wonder what's going to be the plan from DET1 here, whether they're willing to ban out some of the enemy picks, or whether they're going to continue to leave them up. Will they let the Karma go through, get through to the second ban phase? Will they just decide, you know what, there's too many enablers rather than have to ban too many? Will they just end up banning the Olaf? It is something to keep an eye on. I'll just try and get more of the teams that I have missed. I think these are the 2 players I missed. I might be wrong, but that has not invited anyone, so that's clearly wrong. Who am I missing? Who have I not invited yet?
I am back.
Okay, we've got maybe some internal issues going on right now, so we could just have a chat about something else in the meantime.
What's that? Oh, there's some people in the. Oh, okay.
The sub is
I
made.
shall. We'll have to wait.
Um,
What did you think of that game, then?
yeah, it was an interesting game. SC Solar basically had just had control of the game from start to finish. So there's, it's quite hard to say what too much about the game because Det never really managed to get the game into their own hands. They did manage to get a few picks towards that later game onto the NAR start to get some gold into the Kaiser, but you would have hoped that they would have tried that a lot earlier, especially with the amount of time that Jinx was just left under her own tower. When you've got something like Polymorph and you've got a Gragas, should have been very easy to set up the tower dives, but they did not seem to identify and move on that plan.
So, do you think that was a problem with the draft, just in general, or do you think that was sort of the way they played it?
I didn't particularly like their draft, but I think it could have been played a lot better. Considering how the enemy team was playing, it seemed like they had in their mind what they wanted to do from the start of the game and didn't adapt it to how the game was going. So we saw the Gragas spending a lot of time actually towards the mid, sort of top side of the map. And I think at that point you just leave the Shen on the island and you should be focusing on that bottom side where the Jinx is pretty much all alone. They could have really made Takoto's life a misery there, but did not seem to identify that was possible.
Yeah, I think that was a choice on the Grados side to sort of play around the mid, sort of the mid and the top side of the map to try and counter gank the Olaf and sort of defend. I don't think that was really best use of his time, obviously, because the Olaf can just run him down as well, and he just gives an extra kill. I think the way they tried to tower dive the Jinx was good. I think they should have been doing that a lot more, prioritizing that. Obviously, we saw the Victor TP in and tried to defend the Jinx, but dying in return. So I think they had that. They had one successful dive. I mean, successful, probably not where the kill they wanted to get, but they got a kill anyway. I think we should have seen a lot more of that from that team. Snowballing as much gold into the Kaiser. Obviously, Jinx is there trying to just soak XP, soak gold, 1v2 in the bot lane. But I think Det should have seen that as a opportunity of Jinx just being a sort of a free money badge, as it were.
Yep. Okay, I mean, I don't know how many people we have in stream that happen to be around diamond level, but we are having some issues with one of the teams. Which, actually, let me find out which player they need, which position they need subbed. Det1 is currently having some issues with one of their players who have been taken away and
Taken away.
taken away. Yes, they were ganked by their parents apparently.
Oh, it's past 7 p.m. in the UK. Time to get off the internet.
So I'm just trying to find out which position they need. Do we happen to have a jungler who could sub in chat? Anyone want to play a game? See how they stack up against SCS Solar? You'd be subbing in for the jungle position for DET2, DET1 even. Ackerson is a jungler. Ackerson, you want to jump in? Give at least give DET1 a chance to play the second game. Just hit up. It do be like that sometimes, or hopefully they will be okay with that. Because of course we'd love to get the game played, even if it's not the full starting roster. Of course, jungle is a very important role, so not having a jungler is a big
That is fighting talk right there. I think you have to come on now.
big problem. Oh yeah, come on, Axton. Ah, wait. Otherwise, we're gonna have to. DET1 will have to FF if we can't get anyone else in to play. So hopefully.
I'm sorry for the delay. I'm back.
Well, welcome back to the Clash search party where we're searching for DET1, trying to find them a jungler.
Oh, why?
Their jungler has been ganked by their parents and taken away, so they need to find a replacement very quickly, or they will have to FF the game.
I can quickly ask in the server if
Yeah, let's
jungler.
quickly try and we'll give it until maybe 10 past, see if we can get anyone who wants to play. Zach in the chat, there is I'm
just gonna take this opportunity to get
he's
another
got the
drink.
sound off. Okay. So hopefully we'll get someone who's willing to play it. Hey, I mean you get to play a game of League. If you against SCS, if you do offer to play. We're just giving it until 10 past to see if anyone would like to play. If not, DET1 will have to very unfortunately forfeit the game, which of course we don't want to see. We want to see people play. So hopefully we can get someone. Yeah, can we get Caster to sub in? Which Caster? I don't know. I don't think they want me subbing in.
I mean, I can play Nunu and Soraka jungle. That's about as much as my jungle knowledge goes.
My Malphite jungle is absolutely amazing. 100% win rate. Definitely nothing to do with the rest of the team. So solo carrying right there, giving the rest of my team all of the kills and all the assists, you know, so that they can carry. Axon has someone that he's asking, so let's wait and have a quick look.
Yeah, the problem right now is we have 4 teams in the server. Solar's playing now. Ocean has a scrim. I'm asking my jungler if he has time, but I'm fairly certain he's away. So
Yep.
it's only the jungler from Sage that can save him.
Let's see. Maybe they'll get saved. Otherwise, it'll be very unfortunate. One more minute. If we don't get a response in 1 minute, we'll continue on, and won't hold people in here any longer than we have to.
We've always got the option to play a 4v5.
Yeah, if they want to. I won't stop them if they would like to do that. If the
Yeah, just
coach
take
would
out
like
both
to sub
junglers.
himself in as well, that's completely fine.
No, we don't. You can ask Mr. Nash Draft. He's I think he's played jungle before. No, I wouldn't wish that upon the people, but
It would be very, very interesting. But doesn't look like we're gonna get anyone. So very unfortunate first series of the Ocean League. Hopefully this is not some sort of omen for how the rest of the Ocean League is going to go.
if you could just give it 5 more minutes, because we're asking currently someone.
1 minute.
It
Okay.
might be able to get a sub.
One
It would be quite
minute.
unfortunate to
Oh,
have to FF
Axon's
again.
found someone.
There you go. All right, we did it. Is it Mr. Cookie or is it Mr. Ackerson himself?
It's Sage's jungle. Who's
Mr.
Sage's
Cookie.
jungle?
Mr. Cookie.
Here we go. I will quickly send this to.
Oh wait, Mr. Kieran.
Yes.
I believe we have a mutual friend.
Yes, we do.
In Mr. Berry. I was
Mr.
just
Berry,
informed
yeah.
of this.
Mr. Loud Silence himself.
Yes, my fellow AD carry in my team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You guys played together in the university team, or
Yeah. Well, I played for a different university team than he did, but since I've graduated uni, I've been sort of on air quotes coaching that team. So that is interesting. It's been interesting. Is Leo in the chat now?
I think he's watching. He was typing in our team chat, so yeah, he is. He is in the chat right now.
Yeah, no. I'm always about to shout at Leo. I'm always up for that. Oftentimes he does deserve it.
Yeah, no, he does. He definitely deserves it. He says you were about to flame him. Deserved. I can see it.
Okay.
Oh, Kevin is playing for.
If he would like to quickly jump into a voice channel, I can move him into DET1's voice channel.
All right.
And we can get moving and get on with the show.
I have not seen Kevin play. I think I actually no. We did play with him once, but he is a relatively new jungler to the org, so it will be good seeing him. Now I do know that Leo is an okay jungler. Sad that we will not be able to see it though.
So there we go. It looks like we're gonna get a game. Let me chuck an invite to into the game. And hopefully, see this is all fine because the next game we have is VOD, so it doesn't matter if it's late. We just get to go as soon as we're ready with it. So teams are just reorganizing themselves. I will post them their links to the lobby, the draft lobby. This is DET1.
Yeah, a little bit of a backstory about Kevin. From what I know, he's also a very high tier jungler. He was Masters a while ago. He dropped down to D2 right now, but he was Masters for a good while.
Interesting. So going Master versus Master in the jungle.
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
So, do you know what sort of champions Kevin likes to play, or are we going to be sort of going in blind, as it were?
He does play. He plays with carry junglers. He likes to play Elise, Nidalee, but I don't know what he plays right now because I haven't played with him in a while.
Kevin. Let's see. Looking at op.gg. Well, his last game was 7 days ago, apparently. A lot of Elise. Not sure Elise is really the strongest jungler at the minute.
Yeah, I do know that he likes his Elise.
Oh, so we're just straight into ban phase with the Starner ban. I'm not sure if we're caught up on the stream yet. No, we're not. But DET1 has banned Starner straight away. Still probably looking at seeing... Sorry, I'm going to total my own seeing Sniffer as a threat. The Elise is banned in return.
Now, I wonder who they're going to ban this time. They're probably going to ban out just junglers, I'm guessing.
Yeah, oh no, Seraphine banned instead of the Elise, actually. That wasn't locked in. Banning the Xin next, it looks like, yes, it does go through. So banning it now, as you said, jungle all the way through. I wonder if it's going to be the Olaf next or the Karma. Headroom banned in return for SCS.
I really hope it is the Karma and not something else, because they can literally just do the same thing with another champion.
I think they have to either ban the Karma or the Olaf right here. I think, yeah, I definitely agree with you saying the Karma is the higher priority ban.
And they leave both open.
Instead.
They might pick it.
Okay, they have to ban. They have to pick Karma first.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
They might pick Olaf.
Ban the Elise.
But the thing is, Olaf is not actually that strong of a jungler. He is only good with Karma. Oh,
they
there
actually
that's the Karma
pick the Karma, which is a good option instead of banning it away. However, what we're going to see here on picks 1 and 2 for Super Clown Solar.
Now, they did play against a certain team who likes playing Soraka bot lane. Maybe they'll try to replicate it. It is an interesting, pretty strong pick.
They did ban away the Seraphine though, so they can't use that in their draft, unfortunately. But we see the Jinx pick again. What we just see in support of that. The Thresh
Jinx
actually comes out, which
yeah.
was banned last game. And for picks 2 and 3, in response, are we going to see an lane carry here? Do you think, Blue?
Yeah, probably 80 carry jungler, and then the last 2 picks are probably going to be top and mid. Those are the usual.
Pretty standard, yeah. Pretty standard, yeah.
Now for
we'll
Solar here, I mean, I hope not. The Ashe is a good pick, and the Ashe Varus is a pick in Jinx. It's more of a utility AD carry than the normal carry one, but I definitely like their comp a lot more. The Karma and Ashe, really annoying to play against. Ashe can just kite you forever. Now on Solar side, I'm expecting a carry jungler, but if I had to guess, I would say maybe a Volley or an Udyr's coming.
Yeah, Volibear and Udyr both open, sort of the meta trifecta of these 10-tank junglers. Nunu instead, we saw the Nunu on Saturday as well. I'm not sure
Is he going to be locked in though?
No, the Lilia.
The Lilia.
Usually we see the Lilia as sort of like a counter pick to the Udyr. Obviously, can easily match the clear of the Phoenix Udyr. But seeing it first into this team top, I mean, you got the Arrow, you got the Sleep. There's quite a bit of CC coming out already on the side of DET1.
Yeah, now what I want to see is them not playing AP, mid jungle duo. I want to see a Tristana or a Lucian, depending on what their mid laner plays. Now the Jinx Thresh, a really strong combo. If they can get ahead, they can get snowballing pretty hard. I still expect to see a Volibear and Udyr. Just feel like those are the safest junglers right now. And the Kha'Zix
instead, looking to hunt down the Lilia in the jungle, has loads of kill pressure on the Lilia in the early game and can scale pretty well as well. Kha'Zix actually is quite a good late game champion. Obviously, just see some more bans coming out now. Obviously, for the solo laners on both teams, obviously Orianna and Victor were played in the mid lane last game, as well as the Gnar and the Shen. Do you think we'll see any of those banned out this game?
If I were Solar here, I would ban anyone out who has a lot of CC. Maybe a Shen ban. There it is. All right, predict that one. Maybe a Sion. Maybe they'll ban a support because they think the Karma's mid or top. Yeah, they just have to ban something that doesn't allow the Kha'Zix to do whatever he wants. And for DT, I think probably a Sion. I think the Sion is a good pick.
Yeah, I mean, usually we see Sion as sort of this counter pick, but I mean, we could see it preemptively on. Oh no, it's banned actually. So there we are.
Am I getting? I think. Are we getting stream sniped or?
And there's the Twisted Fate ban. I think TF was banned last game as well. I can't quite remember, but I think it was banned in the same banned 5 for DET1 last game as well. So we're going to see 4th pick for Solar here. Obviously a solo laner, unless they plan to do something freaky with the Kha'Zix. But what do you think will come out here?
I smell an Orianna coming.
Orianna, yep. I think that would be quite a good pick here, actually, because you might play sort of aggressively with the Kha'Zix, dive in, use that as a ball delivery system if you want to. Obviously, with the Orianna, AD and AD jungler AP mid laner, obviously you're getting that sort of mixed damage. The Irelia coming out instead. Do you think that's going to be top or mid on Team Solar?
Yeah, that's probably top, I would say. I don't know. I've never seen an AG person play Irelia. Now, Irelia into that team. It's a little bit tricky because Irelia can get kited by the Ashe pretty easily. But again, if she gets ahead, it's pretty easy lane. And we did see that Chocolate can play a really good bully lane. Now the Cho'Gath response. I don't know how Cho'Gath is against Irelia. I think it might be depending on how good the Irelia is. For the mid lane, I mean, you have to pick either Orianna, maybe Victor here. Victor might actually be a good pick because you can stop the Irelia from dashing around. Maybe what else can you pick? But you have to pick AD. Maybe Tristana to push the Kha'Zix or the Irelia away might not be a bad pick.
You've got the Tristana, you've got the Lucian as well. You can pick as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Lucian becomes a sort of a very
The
much
Zed.
the Zed. That's quite surprising actually. But you try and out assassin the assassin. If Zed gets a drop on Kha'Zix, obviously he can look for the kill. I just want to say about the Cho'Gath, quite a good pick actually, I think, because you get the silence on the Irelia. Obviously she can't dash around with the Q anymore. Same thing with the knockup, allowing you to just sort of like, you know, DPS her with your E and then try and eat her out with the, probably not the right phrase there, but eat her with the R. But we're probably going to look for, you know, something maybe a bit tanty on the side. Oh no, I guess the Irelia will be top lane, so we're looking for a mid lane, something that
probably the Silas.
Silas is a very strong, very strong mid lane at this patch. Definitely works well into the melee sort of assassins in the mid lane, obviously because he's got his W to sustain through that. Obviously, into a melee matchup, you usually do see the Conqueror. Don't really see the Q max anymore on the Silas anyway, so we will also probably see the W max, allowing him to sort of sustain through the Zed burst, and obviously can steal the Zed ult for himself. Actually, I do like the Silas pick myself.
Yeah, if I had to go after draft, I'm actually going to give it to DT this game. I like the draft a lot. Zed, I mean, it's a good pick. They need an AD mid. It doesn't quite fit their team comp, but if played well, I think it can definitely work. Now, the Silas is normally picked into a Cho'Gath because if the Silas can steal the Cho'Gath ult, every time he eats a minion, the stacks actually stay. So basically, you just keep farming Cho'Gath ults and then keep farming champions or minions, and you get really, really tanky. And the Ashe ult also pretty good with Silas.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously you have all these options for the Silas as well. It's a very good pick 5 here. I think the Zed and the Irelia, they're two sort of like very skill-dependent matchups, really. Well, skill-dependent champions, not so the matchup. So, but you add in this sort of, you know, level of, I want to say, you know, randomness to your comp almost, because you know you're not very sure if you know. I mean, if you're a Z1 trait, obviously you're gonna do well, but you know. Will it pop off? Will it not? If it doesn't pop off, it's going to be quite useless. Same thing for the Irelia, I think. I mean, Irelia's, you know, Bruiser always does a bit better anyway. Looking for the Blade of the Rune King pick first into the Cho'Gath. Going to do a lot of damage throughout the whole game. Oh, we just see the lobby cancel there. Someone's not in the game. There's only 4 people on the
Oh, but talking a little bit more about
might have been maybe one team banned something that was a pick. Maybe the Ashe got banned. Stars of Day. Little ban mishap, sorry guys.
I just want to talk about the
DET1, so they must have accidentally banned something.
I just want to talk about the Kha'Zix as well. Obviously, we probably will actually look to invade the Lilia, sort of look for these 1v1s early. But then obviously it can test Det Crabs very well as well with the isolated Q damage. Looking for probably the evolved Q into the evolved E. Some people do like to evolve the R first. I'm not a fan of that. Some people like to evolve W first as well. Again, not really a fan of that either. It's just that, you know, Kha'Zix has a lot of different routes he can go in his build path as well. He can go this forward lethality, just looking to one-shot sort of the 4 swishes on their team. He can look for this sort of slightly bruiser-esque build, you know, building stuff like the Death Stance and the Blade, not Blade, the Black Cleaver as well, just to have a bit more sort of attrition sort of focused build as well. So it's I think this is probably going to be a much more even game looking at the drafts than we had last time. There's nothing sort of like stand out like the Karma Olaf.
One thing to point out as well, for a team from the side of Solar, their draft, they're forced to do plays because they're forced to snowball. If they don't snowball, their team is pretty weak. On the side of DET, all you have to do is not die. Now, I know that's a little bit harder than people, you know, don't die, lol, forehead. But yeah, literally, if they don't die, they do win the game by just scaling and being really annoying into the enemy team. The Karma, stopping the burst from the Irelia, stopping the burst from the Kha'Zix, the Ashe just peeling with the ult and the Ws and the slows. I mean, as long as they can keep it down and like, as long as they're able to hold down early game and not give a lead away, they should be fine.
Yeah, I've just seen it. Yeah, was that you, Gabblit, in the chat saying that obviously the size can be flexed and so can the Irelia. I mean, I'm probably less likely to see the Irelia mid. I'm not really sure. I think the Irelia would fare better into the Cho'Gath. Obviously,
I'm not
Pick
sure.
up the red
Aurelia
rune
does have
Actually-
a 50% AD reduction still on her
Yeah,
W.
actually,
Yeah.
I think I personally like the matchup Zed Irelia more for Irelia, and the Silas stop is not bad into Cho'Gath because you just have so much sustain. It's kind of even. So I'm wondering if they swap lanes.
And of course, if you're in the lane with the Cho'Gath, you do get to steal more Cho'Gath holds.
True. Also, one thing to point out for the side of DET is that they do not have a lot of wave clear. Now, Solar has the Jinx, which is, a good amount, and the DET kind of only have the Ash W and the Empowered Q by Karma. So if they get behind, it's going to be a little bit hard to clear waves.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at Space Wiener on NoP.GG. He has played a few games as Zed, if I'm looking at the right account. So we could see. So definitely that Zed's going to be. I don't know why I'm looking at that. I want to be looking at the Silas. I'm just being an idiot right now. AJ Solo has played no games as Irelia or Silas that I can see. However, it does look like the Silas has been locked in for AJ in the mid lane, so we are going to be seeing the Irelia top.
Yeah, unless they do decide to swap.
Yeah, unless
in-game,
unless they just lane swap themselves and don't just swap champions. But yeah. Any final thoughts about the draft? Are we expecting to see any shenanigans level 1? Obviously, invade and then the counter invade last game. CC on both sides. And then you've got the Cho'Gath Q, the Aurelius stun. I mean, Silas could start E potentially in the Thresh Hook, but there's not a lot of guaranteed CC on either team.
Well,
don't really want to be fighting into
the
Ash Karma
Thresh,
level 1.
the thing is, Thresh can level Q, leveling E on Irelia first is also not that bad, and leveling E on Silas into a melee matchup is also okay. So they can all just take the lockdown abilities and walk into their jungle and one-shot someone. However, if they do miss or they get pincered or caught out, they do have a Karma and an Ash who would do a lot of damage with a Cho'Gath on the backline, who's pretty tanky, and his Q is pretty annoying to deal with. What you definitely don't want to do is here Solar is give maybe the Ash or the Zed or even the Cho'Gath a kill to start off. But on the other side, as DT, you should have probably just do a 5-point start toward the jungle entrances and play it safe, because if any of these champions on the Solar side get ahead, it's going to be a little bit more complicated winning it.
Yeah, definitely.
So what I will ask you too is, because obviously there's probably going to be a lot of focus on how Kha'Zix does if she manages to bully out the Lilia at any point. Do you think we're going to see any different starts? Will both junglers just start on the bottom side of the map? Will we see Kha'Zix start red, invade blue? Is there anything you want to see?
Obviously, I think Kha'Zix just benefit from starting on the blue buff. Obviously, he can do the blue and the grunt fairly easily with the extra isolation damage. Lilia obviously looking to start Raptors herself. She might look to start the enemy Raptors, so start on that top side, maybe take the red as well. Or I saw there was a clear in the LEC a while ago where, I'm not sure who it was, that started their own Raptors, then went enemy Raptors, enemy red, and then their blue and blue side jungle. So there's an option. Lilia has probably a lot more options in clearing than the Kha'Zix does.
Yeah, I mean, Kha'Zix can definitely do a lot of damage early game, especially with the isolated Q. I'm expecting him to invade the Lilia and maybe try to catch her out. However, Kevin is a pretty good jungler himself. He should be expecting that. His laner should be expecting that too. Normally what you do is, for example, for the mid lane, you want to either have Prio, which probably not possible for the Zed early game, but the top lane I think you can. It is a little bit dangerous to give the Irelia, to put the Irelia in, giving her a long lane to chase you down. So it's a little bit complicated for the Lilia. She's just gonna have to play around wards and then try to spot the Kha'Zix and track his pathing to not get invaded.
Yeah, I think the Zed should be able to push in the Silas pretty early, due to not being a mana champion, being able to cast his Q for the AOE a lot in the early game. So I think it will be. I think we might see another sort of fight on a crab in the early game again, but depends on how each jungler's path. They might path to opposite crabs, or they might look to gank early if it's one of them.
Yeah, I think I would like to see the Lily going for top crab instead of bottom crab, because there's a Jinx Thresh, and if they get ahead, it's going to be really hard to play. So just give up that bottom crab, try to get the Cho'Gath and the Zed, push and get some prio, even though the Zed might be a little bit more complicated. Get the crab, then look for a gank or a recall.
just really quickly, there is a poll in chat. Should Teemo be removed? It was suggested. So there you go. Give a vote, guys. Should Teemo be removed from the game, from existence? Not sure.
Man, poor Teemo, she's just getting bullied. I think there's so many more annoying champions.
I agree, honestly.
So looking at champions, sorry,
quick.
the loading screen, we see Cho'Gath with the grass pretty standard, and Irelia with the Conqueror pretty standard as well. Lilia has the phase rush, looking to be very speedy, not seeing that Dark Harvest for those that stacking damage, and Kha'Zix has got the Electrocute, obviously looking to burst out the Lily if she gets swapped out. The Zed has the Conqueror. Do we see that a lot? Is that pretty standard now, or?
Maybe, I mean, against, yeah, Zed takes Conqueror because he's playing against Aurelia, Kha'Zix, the Silas. He's going to be dueling. It's not like he can just one-shot him and leave unless he gets super ahead. Conqueror is a safer option. The Cho'Gath probably going for the Bruiser build, but we do see that Solar is going to try for a 5-man invade again, going down bot lane. They're going to hug the wall, but the Ashe played pretty smart, warded the entrance, as I said, and is just playing it safe. They see them walking in.
Yeah. They're not. They just put the warden back off. They
they know.
Yeah, so we also see the Silas running the Conqueror, which is, very common into melee matchups, and both AD carries taking lethal tempo, and Karma on the Comet and Thresh on the Aftershock.
Now, if I have to point something out, I don't really like the Comet on Karma. If you're playing Karma, you normally go Airy, or if you go support, you can go Guardian.
Yeah.
Like you see the Comet mostly mid lane, where you would go maybe an Everfrost or something, more of a damage build, but I don't really like it bot lane.
No, it just sort of the area does obviously boost your sort of shielding capacity as well. So it does seem a bit of a waste, less efficiency going the Comet here into the bot lane. As we are seeing both junglers start on their bot side buffs. We're not seeing Lilia solo the Raptors, which is
that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that Lilia was going to start in the Raptors of the Kha'Zix, maybe try to even take the red buff and then just do vertical jungling down.
But yeah, they're both starting on their buffs and walking down, looking to do a full side bot side clear. It's a little fight in the mid lane. Silas does miss the stun on the Zed and hits the caster minion instead. Obviously, sort of cutting that trade short. Similar trade in the top lane as well.
Yeah, Shockwad here just disrespecting the Cho'Gath. Man, he's getting the passive stacks, but he missed the Q on that minion, so he didn't have a Q reset there. The Silas going in for a little bit of a trade. He did get level 2 first, chunking the Zed out pretty hard here. If he had Ignite, that might have actually been a kill.
Yeah, Silas obviously does have now sort of a level of kill threat sort of in the next rotation or two. Could easily take the same sort of trade once, maybe twice more, and look to get that kill in a minute's time.
Irelia, maybe going in for a level 1. He misses the stun. Yeah, the bad thing is the Irelia... Yeah, this is pretty bad for Irelia. Irelia is level 2, and she already used all the stacks of the potion. Plus, the Cho'Gath has so much regen with his E plus grasp. There is no way... I don't actually think that Irelia can kill him this early on. I think she should have just played it safe and farmed them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if the Aurelia, no, sorry, if the Cho'Gath pushes into the Aurelia gets his long lane to run the Cho'Gath down, but she sort of missed that opportunity, dashing into the minion wave at level 1. We see a trade from down the bot lane. Hook misses. Jinx is just only able to walk away. Thresh looking to trade back in return. No summoner spells burnt by the looks of it. However,
the
Jinx
Ashe
can reload.
maybe. The Jinx managed to flash.
Seconds behind, by the way.
Oh. All right, I am now fully ahead. Yeah, this is why the Ashe is a good pick into Jinx. You can just poke her down, really be annoying. The Jinx doesn't have the heal, has instead the cleanse. A top lane looking like a top lane gank. No, looks like a top lane invade.
Kha'Zix is caught out. Zed's here as well. Kha'Zix is going to jump away and go to do his Krugs. Crab has spawned.
I think you're still behind.
Yeah.
Am I? Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Just put it
I'm at 345 right now.
Okay, yeah, I should be caught up now. Sorry.
Cool.
All right. The Silas going in for another trade. The Zed, good dodge, but what exactly is your plan now? The Silas could probably actually taken that. Yeah, this top lane looking a little bit difficult for the Aurelia. No more stacks on the potion, and she just got poked down by this Cho'Gath, and this Cho'Gath is just going to pretty much get a free lane. It does look like she got a freeze up top, which is not good for the Cho'Gath, but I think you can easily push that out.
Yeah, Cho'Gath has so much AoE. It's mostly the E damage. People don't expect it early, but Cho'Gath's E, it's essentially 9% max health if you manage to get all 3 autos off, so you really do have to respect that in the first few levels. It's like taking a Poppy to the face.
They're really kind of not respecting the Cho'Gath and dashing into the minions. I feel like she can definitely get punished for that.
Yeah, Cho'Gath is maxing the E first, by the way. I would expect maybe the W maxes the matchup just to silence the Irelia, that extra damage it provides since Irelia isn't a tank. But we're seeing a fight break down in the bot lane again.
Yeah, people don't quite realize that if you hit your abilities, it does way more damage. But yeah, I think that would have actually been a kill if all the abilities were hit. Now for the Cho'Gath, I'm fairly certain this Cho'Gath is going to go with the Titanic Hydra build.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can just see, right? The Cho'Gath is literally not hitting any abilities, but he's just winning this hard against the Aurelia because of how tanky he is.
You got to remember as well that the E does count as an auto-attack reset on the Cho'Gath, allowing for that little bit of extra burst in the early game.
Now, Lily is expected. Lily's clear is pretty fast. The Kazakhs did not get a gank off or an invade off on the Lily. I'm sorry. Looks like the blue team is going to go to Dragon. Looks like maybe first Dragon, maybe Sniffle Monster wants to try and steal with the Thresh, but I think they're just going to leave this.
Yeah, I don't think there are contestants at all. Jinx is back in here. I just think they've just got to let this one go. It is an early Ocean Drake, which is going to have a lot of effects. Obviously, all lanes can sort of play a bit safer, so we'll get that passive regen coming through. But we have a Mountain Drake spawning next. Probably going to benefit Det more than it will Solar, due to sort of the tanky nature of the Cho'Gath. We see the
Irelia going in for a solo kill. She gets level 6, hits ult, hits E. Looks like the Cho'Gath might be solo killed here. Yeah, he's just not respecting the Irelia TP there.
I mean, Irelia was sort of losing that lane for a long while. The Cho'Gath was just sort of beating the Irelia down. But Irelia's back goes to base, buys the longsword, buys the Vampiric Scepter. TP's back in. Cho'Gath doesn't respect it at all and dies in return for that.
Yeah, I mean, the Cho'Gath, he went for the Bami Sender here. I think Ninja Tabi might have actually be a good pickup as well, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a top laner. As for all the other lanes, the bot lane, I mean, pretty even. Mid lane also pretty even. Now, for the Sylas Zed matchup, it's about the same as a ZZ matchup. Whoever ults first kind of loses. Yeah, pretty much. They kind of have to hold the trigger, and whoever pulls it first loses, unless they can somehow outplay it. As the Lilia Kazakhs matchup, the Kazakhs is not really invading the Lilia because they have pretty good wards, DET. I want to see what this Kazakhs, however, can do because he needs to start getting some kills and get snowballing.
Yeah.
AJ now stopping the back. I don't know if you meant to do that, though. Gets ignited by the Zed. The Zed can probably get a free ult. Yeah, but whoever ults first loses. Maybe not in this case, though. Or they both live.
Cho'Gath coming down though. Like I said, Sylas can just W the Z and restore so much HP. He doesn't really lose the trade.
That's a flash. Oh, that was a good prediction.
But...
Yeah.
Now, yeah, as we saw there, like the Zed got really close to killing the Sylas, but then he ulted first, so he pretty much lost the mental battle. I think the Sylas didn't have to back off there, or maybe the Zed shadowed back, but I think that could have been a kill if played a little bit better. Now, Taco and the Thresh here, Jinx and Thresh here, looking maybe for a cheese on the Ashe because they saw the Karma mid lane. The Lilia can't really help because she's pretty low.
I think they will have to wait a long time, though. I mean, there's a big minion wave. Thresh is going to have to land the hook through the minions, or at least walk up to Flay. During that time, Ashe can react. She's level 6, can just stun one. Irelia going to Cho'Gath.
But the Cho'Gath does have ult, and he's pretty tanky. I think the Irelia is really under... Oh, the Ashe is level 6 might be a kill. The Kazakhs is here too, though. Yeah, I mean,
I think they just trade the Ashe ult for the cleanse. I don't think she meant to do that at all. Seeing the Karma step forward too much. Kazakhs going in. Ashe trashing forward to kill the Thresh. The fight's breaking out. Ashe is just auto-attacking the Jinx down. She's gonna die. Is she gonna die? No, she's gonna live. Oh no, she's gonna die to the volley. Karma's there to heal, and Thresh. Kazakhs is just allowed to sort of... The flash is burnt. Karma just playing in the minions and just fused the Kazakhs to death.
Karma is very balanced. I mean, for the side of Solar here, they're not respecting the Ashe. Oh, looks like the Karma didn't respect the roam from the Sylas either. Maybe, yeah. I mean, yeah. Again, as I was saying, the Solar side did not respect the Karma Ashe power. Even though the Kazakhs came in, they were just 1 level behind. It just didn't really work out. And now Solar is pretty behind with what I said again, a comp that needs to get ahead.
Yeah.
Irelia maybe going in for a solo kill though, getting the stacks going, boo, 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 but looks like she's not going to get anything out of it. I don't know if Lilia wants to do this.
Drowsy goes down.
Slept.
Okay, yeah, I think they just cheat chain, right? Yeah, okay, bye-bye. Wait, did he not have ult? He did have ult. Why did he not?
Yeah, I don't think he had the mana for it, maybe.
The ult sound came out, but...
it didn't use it.
It didn't use it, which means, yeah, Lilia Passive took the kill
Det
before.
DET1 are now about 400 gold ahead, roughly 350 gold ahead, roughly. So it's still quite a close game. Obviously, Solar has just fallen behind from their sort of 400 gold lead because of this fight in the bot lane and Death in the top lane.
Zed looking for
ulting them.
a kill. Oh no, those Qs going a little bit sideways.
That
And
was,
it looks like you're gonna get caught because you don't have W ult.
I think if those
but
Qs... Oh, no.
everyone is missing everything.
Fancy feet.
The D4 special over here, and he still dies because Salas is very just...
I think if
Interesting character.
Space Winner hit those Qs, I think the Kha'Zix could have died there fairly easily. He's going to just carry on and do this red buff, clear out this ward here, maybe take the drop, Krug and then back. But yeah, we've seen sort of a lot of sort of maybe like good ideas of plays being made and then plays not being sort of made because still shots are going wide or abilities aren't being hit in the right order. It seems to be still very quite close in the game as we're DET1 are still about 300 gold up.
Yeah, I mean, if I was the Zed's team, I'll be really upset because, as I said before, they literally went by not doing anything, and that play was kind of a force, and definitely a little bit of a threat with Salas now 2-0 on the Salas. The Thresh may be looking in. I don't know if you meant to spot the Karma, gets poked out. The Aurelia now just being really annoying, as Aurelia is, with a farm lead on the Cho'Gath. This bot lane also. This Ashe is pretty fed, so we'll have to see what she can do on Ashe. But yeah, the Salas 2-0 is a really big threat.
Yeah, Silas being one of the strongest mid laners in this current patch is sort of a really good sort of saving grace for Team Solar as sort of their bot laner has fallen behind and their jungler is behind as well, about 20 CS in the jungle. As we'll see the Herald being dropped in the bot lane, looking at some plates. Will this be first tower as well? With the three of them here, I think it will be. They'll be able to put down to
the Zed spots the Kha'Zix. Looks like he ults, ignites, gets the combo off. But the Kha'Zix actually managed to juke the Zed. I feel like Zed might be pretty dead here.
Zed dodging now on the Silas E. Jesus is throwing rockets from Matt's range. Teleport in the top lane was cancelled by the Aurelia as Lilia flashing forward, looking for the 3-man sleep. There's the 3-man sleep.
That's a good sleep right there. Looks like Ashe is just going to clean this up. Ashe and Karma might actually just run them down. No, that's about all they can get. Yeah, I mean, the Zed didn't really do much, but Kevin with the absolutely insane sleep on them and the Karma Ashe, they're so ahead. They're just cleaning up. No one can really touch them. So yeah, this game is looking a little bit bad for Solar. However, they do have the Jinx. Jinx doesn't exactly need to be ahead because all she needs is one good fight for her to pop off.
Yeah, I mean, Zed did sort of get caught out there. Wasn't really able to make anything from it. But by dodging out on the Silas, I think it was Silasy, and with his by going back to the Shadow, he was able to just sort of buy for time as his team repositioned. Obviously, we saw the Cho'Gath try to TP onto the pink ward in the tri-bush, but I think it was stopped by the Aurelia stun, I believe. So that was cancelled. I mean, I think the Solar still lost the fight. I mean, they got one kill but lost two, and obviously lost first tower in the bot lane. However, that kill did go on the Jinx. That could be, like a way to claw back into the game, really, as instead of just slipping behind. Obviously, if Jinx does get 3 items, she will be able to just sort of dominate these fights pretty easily.
Yeah, one thing to point out as well, if you're DET, you're kind of sad that you're at 0-2 because their entire team skills really well. However, the Zed, once behind, is pretty weak. If Zed can't one-shot someone, his value definitely goes down, especially this Conqueror. So it's going to be a little bit complicated for him to play. Now, the Salas is pretty ahead. However, we have to speak about the elephant in the room, which is the 4-in-1 Ashe with the Karma besides her. We're going to have to see what these two can do with the help of Kevin, maybe with the peel, with the ult. And yeah, looks like the Cho'Gath maybe not going for the Titanic Hydra build, or at least not rushing it, which is a little bit surprising because I feel like it could be really good this game.
No, I think we probably will just see one of the sacrifices. I imagine it's going to be Frostfire Gauntlet just to get that extra tankiness, be that big beefy front line for his team. Yeah, I just want to point out that does he have ult up now? He does have ult up now. He did. No, I thought I just heard it there again, but no, he didn't ult the cannon minion there. So he does still have ult up, just sat on it. Not really sure why he's doing that. He should just ult a minion here. There, he just ults it there. But we're seeing as well the Silas. Obviously, for those who don't know, Cedar's Arm Guard was nerfed a little while ago, so it's not the sort of easy, very efficient rush item for mid laners into AD matchups. But we will probably see the Cedar's Arm Guard come out next, as Silas does have a cloth armor in his inventory, allowing him to survive these sort of Zed assassinations even more so. And obviously that will also help
can't
the
play
Ashe.
the game right now. This Jinx just cannot play the game right now. Maybe a dive actually from Kevin looks like it's actually going to be called out. Jinx getting poked out by the Ashe and the Karma repeatedly, really not being able to play the game. For the Silas build, he's going to go Everfrost. Normal build is Everfrost and Cosmic Drive or Sonius.
Yeah.
He can opt out whatever he wants. He's just going to go Sonius second for the Zed. Although, honestly, I don't think it's even necessary because the Zed is nowhere near as strong as him. And I really don't think, the synergy with the double wards. Yeah, I don't think the Zed can really kill the Silas because not only is he 2 levels behind, he's also just item-wise really behind. Yeah. The Karma support, by the way, is owning out 2 people.
Yeah, I think the Silas will probably finish at least the Seeker's Arm just so he has a bit more sustainability, well, survivability against the Ashe at least. But yeah, Karma doing quite a bit of work, keeping the Kha'Zix and the Thresh off that tower, allowing Ashe to just push in another wave. We're seeing this side lane here.
One important thing to note as well is that Team Solar kind of really AD heavy with everyone but the Silas doing 80 damage. Now the Aurelia with fully stacked passive does do AP damage, but if this Cho'Gath decides to just go full armor, it's going to be a little bit hard to kill him. Sure, the Jinx can go Kraken Slayer into Lower Dome, something like that, but it does take some time for her to get these items, and right now she's nowhere close to them.
Obviously, being in an AD heavy team, AJ on the Silas is actually probably going to like that. Well, prefer that at least because obviously DET1 will want to build the armor.
Kevin trying to pick up the Kha'Zix. The ult comes out. Both flash to dodge the Ashe ult. However, TP did come from the Aurelia.
Yeah.
I think that was
everyone seems to out. Just some of the spills spent by the Kha'Zix and the Thresh. Kha'Zix did still get the red buff. So I mean, they lose a TP, they lose 2 flashes. But they don't give any gold away, which is fortunate, at least in their position. However, these flashes will be down for the next fight, at least.
Yeah, I mean, the Aurelia now going back to the top lane, maybe looking for a freeze here would be the best play. But I think he's just going to push the wave, as the Aurelia do. Looking to cancel the Cho'Gaths back. As for everyone else, looks like they're just resetting and they're preparing for Dragon. Dragon is spawning soon. I want to see, I think I want to see Solar fight for this Dragon. I don't think they should give Soul Point at all. The Ashe just alone in the mid lane, so strong, 4-1. Maybe going for is that Phantom Dancer or maybe Hurricanes? I'm not 100% sure.
I think it might be Runans coming in for the Ashe, I imagine. But don't know what else.
Solar just Solar kind of in a hard position here. 2k gold behind with a team that just doesn't scale as well as the ETs. I think if they both group up, it's going to be a little bit complicated. Solar here probably just going to count on the Aurelia to push in the sidelines and maybe force 1 or 2 people from the ET to go respond, and they can catch someone out. Otherwise, it's looking a little bit grim.
Yeah, Cho'Gath does have the TP to get down into the Dragon if they need it for the fight. However, he has just used his ult to use that to secure the Dragon. However, Kha'Zix is top. I don't think Solar are going to contest this. This is unfortunate as the, Cloud Soul, very strong on the Lilia. It's also very strong on the Silas if they can get it. Thresh is caught out of position here. Silas is nearby, but I don't think he's going to be able to get out. Or they have lads in the Thresh in. They're looking for the tower dive now. Hook lands. E lands from the Silas. Silas has the Cho'Gath. Does use it straight away, not hitting the execute. Yeah, he just did
but it looks like they're going to get the
coming through. Silas might die here. No, he does flash out.
They get the Cho'Gath for the Dragon, which is it's okay. I feel like it would have been even better if the Silas got the stack from the Cho'Gath ult, but he used it immediately. Or maybe the Cho'Gath was in execute range, but he healed maybe off grasp or his E, and it didn't really go through.
That's sort of one of those plays that you have to sort of watch in slow motion, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep. Now, in the mid lane, the Ashe and the Karma pushing in. The poor Jinx tackle again just can't really do much. And it looks like Solar didn't come out on top here because 2 lanes are getting pushed in. They got Dragon. The Ashe and the Karma still just as strong. You can kill the Cho'Gath all you want. He's still going to be the biggest boy ever. Going to be extremely tanky. And the Zed, maybe those Qs need a little bit of practice.
Yeah, I just want to point out that Jinx is almost 2,000 gold behind the Ashe. As we see, Ashe has got a Kraken Slate completed, almost got that Runans. Probably has enough money for the Runans in her pocket, but Jinx still hasn't completed 1 item yet, meaning that she's very far behind in comparison to the Ashe at the minute. The charges actually go off on the inhibitor. Sorry, I thought they'd be able to stop that at least, but they're giving all that free damage away on the inhibitor tower. Next push, they could easily break open this inhibitor. Yeah,
Solar here maybe hoping for a Thresh hook for an engage. The Silas also has the Ashe ult ready to go in. Kevin is actually playing really well. I'm not going to lie. He is playing what I think is probably a bad matchup in the jungle, Lilia Kha'Zix, because you can get one shot by the Kha'Zix. He has hit in some insane sleeps that have pretty much won them the fights, and he's ahead of the Kha'Zix in farm as well. I think he's doing a really good job.
Yeah. Yeah, obviously he hasn't been involved in as many kills as Kha'Zix, but you know he hasn't dodged. So he's got both heralds and all 3 dragons. So, you know, absolutely had these objectives on point, but obviously had all that priority in the dragon for the dragons because his bot lane was so far ahead. What do you think Solo should be doing to try and get back into this game right now? Being just about 2 gold behind, 2,000 gold behind.
Well, the Sal's going in with the ult, but it misses. Oh, my God, they're trading ults like they're.
Was that just like, you know, like
yeah, they're just bros, you know.
Out of like respect, you miss your ult, I'll miss my ult. You know, we just walk away. I'm not really sure even if the Ash ult did land what the play was there.
I don't think. Yeah, I'm a little bit confused. Now, to be honest, what Solar has to do here to get back in the game is put the Irelia on the side lane, put the Silas on the side lane, and just hope for the best. Now, this draft from Solar definitely.
I just want to point out that I'm sorry.
Oh, this draft from Solar a little bit underwhelming. It is brought to you by Mr. Nice Draft, who sometimes ends drafts, and this is definitely one of those times. However, I do believe that the players themselves are comfortable enough on the champions to bring it back.
Yeah, I just want to point out that Silas did have a cloth flower in his inventory earlier, but has since sold that. Not sure why he did that. Maybe to pick up the Everfrost. We see the IRL ult miss. The Z ult come down, but the Thresh. Oh no, they're going back in. Could be Death here. No. Thresh, Zed goes back to the Shadow and is being chased down by the Thresh. I think he's going to get out there, as we see another fight coming in the top lane.
Unfortunately, this Zed has not been able to do much more than pretty much run away this entire game. As I said, Zed is just a hard pick to play, especially into this enemy team because they're all bruisers. They can just fight you back. It's not like it's an easy kill. Now the
21-minute Baron being started by Team DET1. However, Solar are aware.
Depending on the Silas, maybe the Ash ult lands. Kevin also has the proc on him. Maybe going in for sleep, but no, the Lilia does manage to use the stopwatch. However, Team Solar managed to pick up Cho'Gath, and they managed to zone out Team DET out of Baron.
Obviously, they lose the Silas, but they do pick up the Cho'Gath.
Oh, Kevin walking into the Kha'Zix.
There we are.
That was a little bit.
That's just exactly what the Kha'Zix.
Oh no!
As I say, that's what the Kha'Zix needs to be doing from the get-go, but only getting that in 21 minutes.
Oh boy, this is exactly what you don't want to happen. Oh, that's like the worst case scenario right there. I mean, the Zed maybe going in for a kill on the Kha'Zix. Again, he managed to run away, but not for long because he's just gonna get caught up. No, fancy feet and all, but again, you didn't really do anything, buddy. The Kha'Zix just flashing in the Q damage just really bounced. Yeah,
is that going to be Baron as well? I mean, you got the Kha'Zix with the isolation damage.
But
yeah, but the Cho'Gath has ult and he's walking up. I think they just want to reset and contest for this dragon. I mean, that fight, the Cho'Gath got caught out and it turned the tide pretty much because this Ashe was so fed, but the Jinx now got kills and the 1,000 gold shutdown. So she is pretty big right now.
Yeah, Jinx caught up a lot in gold there. Now only 1,200 gold behind. You see, Jinx now has finished 2 items with the Kraken Slayer and the Rune Dance for himself. Kha'Zix steals the crab away, but does get slept and knocked up there. Silas coming in behind the Cho'Gath and the Lilia.
Dead.
Picks up the Lilia ult.
Oh my god, this looks like a solo queue game.
Silas just being juggled here.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin playing the Lilia really well, really kiting well. The Cho'Gath just missed the flash over the wall, but I'm going to pretend he meant to do that. The Lilia zonacing, but I think he's going to die anyway. Yeah, I mean, this is a little bit of hard to watch because both teams, like DET, you have such a strong 5v5 team fight, but they can't seem to group. They are always, they're always all over the place and just seem to get caught out all the entire time. Maybe looking for a steal on this Baron. I think the Ashe is getting caught. The Silas misses.
Oh no, the Silas seems...
Oh boy, the Irelia maybe is able to catch the
Jinx dies as well in the back line.
Oh. But they do not manage to get it. They don't get the dragon, and they die. Maybe looking even for a kill on this Thresh. Can the Zed do more? Oh my god, he got a kill.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that Thresh flash was there at the end. Kha'Zix is back up and running back to the dragon. Does have the isolated Q and the smite ready to steal. However, he's just going to go to his wolves. Actually, no, he's coming round the other way, dodging away from the Scryer's bloom. Karma is stood there in a bush on her own. Kha'Zix knows he's not stood in the ward, but you know, Cho'Gath, Lilia, they're up as well, coming back to the dragon. Obviously, looking to take this. Kha'Zix runs into Karma, just going to walk away, and Kha'Zix going to do his blue buff.
Now
he's on the ward though.
Oh, maybe they're gonna catch the Kazakhs here, but the Kazakhs are just gonna go invisible and run away. They're maybe looking
Silas TP's in
to.
the back line here as well. While we're looking at the Kazakhs, so Silas is now in the bot wave. Did
Maybe they
TP
can
on
just
that ward
force. I
in
think they
the.
can just force Dragon here. There's no Jinx ult. The Kazakhs has no ult. The Salas has no DP. They can probably burst this down. The Zed should probably
They
stop
have
zoning here and
chill.
just come help the Dragon. And if they get this, this is pretty huge.
Yeah,
because,
Chodaf does have ult up right now.
Maybe
That's gonna
they
hit,
catch this.
but
Oh, okay, the cleanse. Yeah, the cleanse comes out.
has to burn the cleanse. I thought he wouldn't be
Oh,
far with
Zed?
Zed.
Oh man. Okay, I mean this time he hit the Qs, but oh my god, it does actually
The
manage to
Ignite
kill
is
him.
enough there to pick it up.
But he
I thought that was the
is
eclipse
not
damage.
dead. Yeah, maybe. Oh, I think Solar's about to get run down here. Ash with the slows. Yeah, Ash just such a disgusting champion with Karma. Lily running for the hills after the Salas. The Salas manages to get away. If I was DT here, I would definitely be pinging for Baron. I think this is a free Baron for them.
Yeah, I mean, Kha'Zix is still up with the smite, with the isolated Q damage. Cho'Gath ult is down. They probably don't want to risk the Baron in case there is a steal attempt, but I think they're going to be able to get at least the inhibitor here. I don't see why they would back off before taking the inhibitor right now.
Yeah, I mean, Zed definitely stepping it up and definitely bringing a bit more. Now, yeah, this comp is just showing how strong they are. Late game is 5. There's almost no way. The Lily maybe stepping into the Kazakhs might get caught out here. She misses the Q. However, she does have Zhonya's. The Kazakhs didn't notice that. However, the Silas with the Ashe ult gets the Lilia maybe. Yes, she's dead. I think the Irelia dies here. The Ashe can kite this out. AJ has to use his own stopwatch. The Ashe and Karma still alive, but it looks like that will be all.
Yeah. I mean, they trade 1-for-1 there. Obviously, killing Lilia denies any Baron attempt for the next 30 seconds. But they do. No, Cho'Gath doesn't have ult either. I think they're just going to take that as a sort of a win for Team Solar with the Lilia being killed here.
The thing is, it looks like a win, but on paper, but really, it's not really a win, because you need to be thinking, okay, we need to close out this game soon because they're just gonna start getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Now the Karma build, I'm a little bit confused why I'm not seeing Moonstone. The Cosmic Drive also maybe a little bit confusing. I get you want cooldown and movement speed, but I feel like there are definitely better items to go. Maybe you can go Mikhail's to cleanse the Irelia E. You can go Mikhail's to cleanse the Thresh Hook. A little bit of a weird build, but I don't think it matters just because they're that strong.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit weird seeing this quite AP heavy Karma build, especially when you have the Lilia and you have the AP damage from the Cho'Gath anyway. Not sure. Yeah, I think it is a bit redundant. The Moonstone. Sorry, the Moonstone Renewal would probably be better. Maybe even the Shurelliers just to speed up the Ashe to help her run people down as well.
Yeah, and I have to say, the problem right now is that the Zed can pretty much get on the Jinx or the backline for free because they don't really have anyone to peel for them. Yeah. I mean, you have the Thresh, but they kind of need the Thresh to engage too. So Thresh is kind of stuck there. If he goes in, someone's going to go in for their backline. If they stay back, they have no engage and they're just going to get kited out. It's a little bit of a tricky match.
Yeah, Jinx has no armor, but she does have the stopwatch up for the next fight at least. Is that an active stopwatch? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
She does have the stopwatch up, so she will be able to use that if the Zed tries to assassinate her. Thresh lands the hook on the Baron, aggroing that. But no, they just sort of shake hands and walk away, I think. Obviously, DET2 is still in position. No, DET1, sorry, are still in position to do the Baron. No, Kha'Zix stood in the bush here as well, along with the Thresh. Silas nearby. They're starting the Baron again now. Cho'Gath is in the bot lane with TP, with ult. How do you think this fight's going to play out? Irelia TPing in, Cho'Gath TPing in as well.
The Zed is there too. Now they are going to stop Baron, and they're going to try to turn, but it looks like they're not going to be able to. I mean, this is a little. I don't understand why DT keeps trying to force Baron. The Ashe ult going a little bit wide. Crowny's Comet. Maybe they can catch someone out with a Lily ult, but the bowling ball missed. Now the DT really don't need to force Baron. They win anyway. They should probably just push waves and then try to look for a pick. And if they do get a pick, go for Baron. But they can keep doing this little dance game that they're doing right now, where they swap between doing Baron and then turning and trying to do a fight because they're just that much stronger. And it looks like they're going to do exactly that. They push down mid lane and they're going to go for Baron again.
I just want to say, Irelia is sat on 1,400 gold. Obviously, might want to try and get the back off just to finish her next item, but she's not got the chance to because they're starting Baron again as we speak. Solar coming up behind the pit and down the river. Karma is keeping them away.
Yeah, I mean, this Ashe, Cho'Gath, yeah, they're going to stop and just try to turn. Cho'Gath is just super tanky. However, the Salas gets a good Ashe ult on the Irelia. Irelia ulted as well, gets 2 people, but it looks like she just doesn't have enough damage. This Ashe just doing so much DPS from the backline.
Kha'Zix getting 1, being burnt out and killed by the volley from the Ashe.
Oh,
Zedge is stuck on the battle line. Jinx picking up a kill. She's dominant, excited now. Ash has slowed it. Ash flashed forward. Ash can't, Jinx can't turn it around.
Oh,
Silas
maybe?
coming in
The
with
Silas
E.
doesn't have enough healing,
No.
yeah. Yeah, I mean,
And
it's...
that is the ace.
Yeah, it's incredibly hard for them to play. You have an Ashe that is just so strong with the Karma. The Jinx played that fight pretty well, managing to kite and flash away and actually getting a kill. But yeah, this Ashe just in the backline, destroying, doing so much damage. This Cho'Gath took so long to die because of just how tanky it is. And this game doesn't get any better for Solar.
Yeah, any Solo fans don't need to worry. They're not going to end the game. They're not even going for the inhibitor. They might just try and take this inner tower in the bot lane and then look to reset. So, you know, decided not to go for the inhibitor. I wonder who made that call and if they just didn't want to deny that sort of farming lane for Team Solar. But, you know, maybe they would have been better with the pressure in the mid lane just constantly so they can keep doing this Baron dance while they know they have a wave just constantly pushing down mid lane.
Yeah, and as I pointed out before, the Thresh can't do both.
Mm-hmm.
And there it showed. Yeah, the Jinx had absolutely no peel that fight, so it was really, really hard for her to play or even step up because you just get one shot. And it looks like they're setting up for DTs here, setting up for Elder, maybe looking for a pick beforehand. However, they really don't need to do anything. They should probably just push the
Elder in
lanes
15.
And, oh, maybe gonna catch out this Thresh, maybe? Oh, the
4 items
Cho'Gath
now
gets
on the
a
Ashe.
good... Yeah, they're just poking down this this Jinx.
Yeah, 4 items down the Ashe with the Kraken Slayer, the IE, Lord Dominic's Regards, and the Rune.
The Kha'Zix's going in for the Karma, however, doesn't have quite enough damage.
Oh,
the Cho'Gath getting hooked over the wall.
Get flayed over the wall. That
was...
But, you know, can't do anything more than that, it seems. They have aggroed the Elder Dragon now. You know, Jinx just trying to heal a bit from the Gromp. Another hook lands on the Cho'Gath.
Looks like they might be going in on the Cho'Gath. However, that's not who you want to focus. The Irelia has a really good ult on the Cho'Gath. Might be able to get the Ashe. However, yeah, they don't.
Kevin goes down.
Oh, that is a huge Jinx
ult. Kill for the Jinx. Zed's gonna die in the back line to the Jinx. There we are. Actually getting the triple now. Karma's just gonna have to walk away unless you look for the Miracle Steal with the empowered Q. Thresh walking forward, blocks the Q. Gonna die here to the Jinx. Not to the Jinx, to the Karma, sorry. But Kha'Zix is able to pick that up. Jinx actually dies there in the backline. I think to the Elder Dragon?
No, maybe? Yeah, maybe to the Elder Dragon.
But no, we did have the Elder Dragon on the Silas and on the Kha'Zix for Team Solar. How good is this for Team Solar now?
I mean, the Elder Dragon is really good because with their comp, they can just proc it so well. I mean, the Irelia really is the key factor. She's managing to get down the backline every single fight. And I have to say, the Cho'Gath really bringing the team down because he keeps getting caught every single fight, which means he cannot peel for this Ashe, which is really their winning point because the Zed, he can't really do much right now, but hope he can one-shot the Jinx. However, she does have GA.
Yeah, I think Cho'Gath has got in his head that, you know, he's the front line, he's the big tank, he's going to, you know, tank all the damage. But, you know, you're a tank, you're also allowed to dodge as well. You don't have to take the damage you don't need to. It is, as you said, you know, the downfall of that last fight with the Cho'Gath getting hooked back-to-back twice and just, you know, taken down from the DPS over the wall. We are looking for them to start this Baron dance again. Elder Dragon buff on the Silas, on the Kha'Zix, meaning that if Kha'Zix tries to assassinate someone, get someone low, that will be a kill with the Baron, the Dragon executes. 6k HP on the Baron, Cho'Gath in the bot lane, TP up, but it's gone, it's just gone. Solar looking to push in the top wave now with the Jinx to take this outer turret. Oh no, they've just gone back. I really don't let the ult herself. You know, with the Baron, it could be it's a way back into the game for Team Solar as they're able to pick up all this standing gold on the map. Irealia's not even going to finish and pushing in the tower. Oh, she's cancelled her back. No, she's back in again. You know, there's all of Team DET1's towers are up. That's a lot of gold on the map for Solar, just to, you know, get them even further back into the game. Gold difference now down to 1200.
One thing to point out as well is DT really didn't have to go for that fight simply because they have all the towers up. They can just wait the Baron and the Elder out and then try to fight because they will still be stronger. The problem is this Jinx is getting pretty fed, and I would take a Jinx over an Ashe late game any day.
Jinx is still behind a lot of gold, but as we're entering this point where, you know, Ashe is 6 items and Jinx is almost 6 items as well, it's not that gold difference is going to matter as much anymore. I mean, Jinx just needs to get excited once and boom, that's a lot of attack speed and movement speed for the Jinx to just run people down.
The
Ashe out comes out to the Cho'Gath.
It looks like they're just going to siege this tower. Yeah, the Jinx range with her rockets is disgusting. They're just getting poked out. And again, as I said in draft, DT really do not have the wave clear to deal with this. Getting sieged is really bad for them. Now, the good side is that both sides of the lanes looks like they're pushing towards Solar, which is why they recalled to push the side lanes out.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they're not. Aurelia's actually going to the top side to take this wave. They haven't taken this inner tower, this outer tower in the top wave, which I thought they would have taken before. But Jinx is going back to the bot side. It looks like no, she's going to take the wolves. Elder buff is about to run out. It just has now. So no, they've backed off. They've still got the Baron buff for a couple of minutes at least. What do you think they're going to do next?
I mean, they do still have Baron, not for long. Elder is now again. I still do think that DET have the stronger comp in general. However, they really can't. They really haven't been able to peel for this Ashe, which is how they would win. I mean, if they peel for this Ashe, if the Cho'Gath stays alive and doesn't get hooked again, the Ashe can really survive pretty much everything. I mean, you have the silence from Cho'Gath, you have the shields from Karma. However, that is just not the case right now. Cho'Gath needs to understand that while he is a tank, he doesn't per se have to tank every hook. He can indeed dodge, as you said it before. And I mean, the game is getting a little bit better now for Solar, just because this Ashe is getting to that 6 item power spike.
Yeah, Solar now ahead on gold for the first time in what seems like literally about 30 minutes. We're like you said, we are in this sort of late game where one fight could win the game here. I just want to point out, just a reminder as well about the Jinx passive Det Excited. Even if they do only kill the Cho'Gath, that's a lot of extra DPS coming from the Jinx with the lethal tempo, with the Det Excited to just let her just absolutely DPS through everyone on the team of DET1.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if she gets excited, she has that runes. She has those rockets, absolutely massive damage coming from Jinx. She also attacks so fast, has such big range. You might think, oh, it's only one person dying, everyone else is also strong, but getting that Jinx to their passive is definitely really bad. Now, this Cho'Gath, he has to be able to talk to himself and be like, okay, I have lost my team the last 2 fights and probably the game. I have to really, focus up here and just peel for this Ashe. If Ashe doesn't die, I'm fairly certain they can win every team fight.
Yeah. I'll be looking for the Cho'Gath to go back and finish his Randuins now, really. He needs to back as soon as possible before the next fight. Probably maybe looking for a bit more HP. He has a lot of armor right now. But the Frozen Heart still looks very good into the enemy team. But I think a bit more HP wouldn't go waste.
Yeah, Team DET not playing front to back as they should. They're a little bit confused. Looks like a little bit of miscommunication in the actual team. They seem to be diving the backline, maybe the Cho'Gath and the Lily as well, going for the maybe 3 to 4 man ults there. But I think the best play really is just stay next to the Ashe, let her kite. If someone jumps in, you just peel for her the best you can. And I think that's the way of winning fights, and not really just diving into them and hoping for a good Lily ult.
Yeah, I think, like you said, the Lily are looking for these 3 and 4 man ults. That could be a bit greedy. I think, getting just 1 man sleep or 2 man slept could be, winning the fight, especially if they land someone like the Silas and the Kha'Zix, allowing them to just kill them instantly. I think, if DET1 play the fight right, they can still win the game easily. And it's not a really difficult composition to play out. They just have to play front to back. Cho'Gath to die instantly. They should be looking to win this game with the next fight as well. But we got Elder Dragon spawned in 10 seconds. Baron's spawning in a minute. There's gonna be a lot of commotion around the bot side of the map for the next little while we dance around the Elder Dragon.
Now, one thing I do not like, it looks like maybe the Thresh getting poked out here, but it doesn't look like it's going to transition anything. One thing that I have to point out is the Sylas has stolen so many ults, yet he only has 1 Cho'Gath stack, which is really sad because it's so strong on the Sylas. And it's such a low cooldown as well, the Sylas ult. Looks like Team DET maybe actually taking my advice, playing a little bit further back, a little bit safer, just letting the Ashe and the Karma poke. Oh, the Cho'Gath gets hit again. The Ashe ult comes in. Now there is the Kha'Zix is not on the flank. Aurelia is not on the flank. It will be a front-to-back fight. I think this actually is better for Team DET.
Yeah, Karma is using these empowered Qs to try and poke down. But I think if she just managed to eat the Cho'Gath and just let the Cho'Gath run at the enemy team, that could be just the setup they need for the fight. They're going to fight now.
The massive Lilia ult. Yeah, the massive Lily ult. I don't think it's going to turn into anything.
Oh, Cho'Gath doesn't even get the ult off. He
flashes in. What is he doing?
The Elder Dragon's on 2,000 HP. Kha'Zix in the backline. He's going to steal it.
Oh, the Zed finally pumping up. The Kha'Zix actually gets the Elder Dragon, but can Team Solar turn the fight now? Yeah, the AG flashing in for the Ashe, not actually being able to get her. The Kha'Zix dying to the Lilia. I mean, again, this is just a Cho'Gath. He flashes into 4 people, hoping that he can somehow get a pentakill and just gets bursted down, almost losing the team to fight. Solar here, they lose 2 people. However, they get the Elder Dragon, which is absolutely no worth for them.
Yeah, I think Solar might lose their middle inhib here. I think, yeah. But I think they are going to get the reset on the 3 that are around. Karma is just trying to distract the Jinx at the minute, but, you know, Aurelia's here. Silas is here as well, just running up the mid lane. You know, they could easily turn this sort of 2v3, and especially with the Elder Baron. Elder Dragon buff, they could win the fight as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a strong comp because this Ashe can just kite forever,
Mhm.
and they want to run into her, which is really complicated. Now, I have to say, this Cho'Gath, while the Cho'Gath is really lacking, this Aurelia is playing really well. This Aurelia has constantly been able to get on the Ashe and get a kill on the Ashe, or at least get her low enough for her to get picked off maybe by the Jinx or the Kha'Zix. I don't know. The Cho'Gath really just has to stay next to the Ashe and peel for her when the Aurelia goes in. Looks like he isn't quite understanding his role in the team. I really, if that happens again, I mean, this time they actually managed to win the fight because Zed got a pick on the Thresh, which is not the best pick, but a pick is a pick nonetheless. And this Ashe is just pumping out damage, managing to keep the team afloat. Kevin also hitting a really good ult. I think that was a 3 to 4 man ult. Wait, is Team Solar on Baron? It feels like they are.
Yeah, they're on the Baron. 6k, 5k, 4k on the Baron. It's going to go down now. Silas picked it up. I mean, no reaction from Team DET, even though they knew they were on the Baron as they were clearing the ward beforehand.
The Cho'Gath currently has... How many stacks does the Cho'Gath have? He has 8 stacks, which is really low. The thing is, he hasn't really been... They have all dragons, but he didn't really eat those. He didn't eat the Baron. Now, the thing is, DET couldn't walk into Baron because they had the Elder buff, which is quite sad. And it looks like
Absolutely
they might...
demolished that tower.
Yeah, but the Ashe damage is pretty high as well. I mean, both AD carries just doing a lot of damage.
Jinx rockets clearing that wave instantly. That super minion didn't stand a chance. Middle inhib drops.
Silas again going in for the Ashe ult. Really good engage. Hasn't really been able to land a good one. Kevin here looking maybe for an ult. Lands the E? No, it misses the E. Now, I think Team Solar is pretty low here. Team DET might be looking to stop yeah, they're going to stop the backs here. Maybe see if they can get a pick, but it doesn't look like it. Looks like Solar is just going to back off.
Both AD carries full build for quite a while now. Karma's also on full build. Finishing up that the Watchful Wardstone, that 45% CDR item. Thresh getting caught out, has the flash of the wall. Ash Arrow comes in, and the knock from the Cho'Gath with the silence. Holding on to, he's just dead. Cho'Gath didn't even get the eat. Unfortunately, Zed picked up that kill.
Yeah, and because they have the Cloud Dragon Soul, the Ashe ult is actually a really low cooldown. So we're gonna have to see what they do here. Now the mid lane is even right now, so they don't have to back quite yet. They can actually push this down and maybe get an hit.
We do still have Baron buff on Team Solar. The Thresh is down. I mean, they should be able to survive with the Baron minions in the Jinx rockets, but you know the Ashe is doing a tremendous amount of damage.
Yeah, this Thresh is getting caught out a little bit too many times for my liking. But it looks like the Ashe are on the
in.
and the Jinx ult looks like he's just dead. There might be game. Cho'Gath also getting caught. And, I mean, that was a really good Ashe ult, and then the Jinx follow up.
AJ with a great idea to throw that Ashe ult down the lane really, and the follow up from the Jinx. You know, saving their bot lane. You know,
we see he's been fishing for those Ashe ults the whole game. And
yeah, I mean, it's as they say, the 7th one is the one to hit. Looks like Team DET. Team DET maybe looking for the Aurelia. Aurelia catching them up. Zed can't really do much. The Lily ult goes out, but they can't really get the Aurelia as she stopwatches. And this, I believe, is game.
That is game, I think. Yeah, that is game. Just coming up for that stolen Ashe ult from Silas there. Wow. It's been topsy-turvy game, hasn't it?
Yeah, this is... I mean, there's definitely a draft gap in this game favored for Team DET. The thing is, they just played the game bad, and this Cho'Gath not on his best day, and looks like Solar will take the 2-0.
Wow. Unfortunate about Kevin there, having to step in as sort of a for Team T1, and unfortunately not able to carry his team to victory.
Yeah, but I definitely want to praise Kevin. I mean, he's in a team that he's never played with before.
Yeah. No, he definitely played very well.
Yeah, jumping into a game with players he never knew, and he's landed such really good Lily ults. Now the problem is, again, I was hoping this Zed was able to pop off a little bit harder than he did. He was kind of useless for most of the game, and this Cho'Gath just got hit with the hook a bit too many times. The Aurelia also just managing to get it on the backline most of the time. And yeah, overall, I think Solar maybe committed a bit of a robbery here.
Yeah, yeah, like you said, Cho'Gath getting caught out a few too many times in the fights. You know, trying to front line too much, too aggressively. You know, Ashe dealing a tremendous amount of damage, still out damaging the Jinx, just about by 1,000 damage. I just want to shout out the Karma for that vision score though at the end. 150 vision score in
Yeah.
43 minutes. Well played to her. 107 on the thresh. Support diff, maybe not. But yeah, honestly, you know, Team Solar ahead in the early game a little bit with the first blood on Aurelia. Lost it with the 2v3, losing the 2v3 in the bot lane when Kha'Zix tried gank, and then just slowly clawing the way back.
Also, 51
Honestly,
viewers. I'm pretty surprised we have a good viewership going on here. Who would you give the MVP of the series to?
I mean, that stolen Ashel at the end by AJ was quite spectacular. Of the series, I'm gonna have to just remind myself what the champs were on the last game. Obviously, Sniffle did a great job on the Olaf, just running people down. Obviously, much shorter game than this game. Obviously, the draft for Team DET1 improved tremendously to, like, allow them to stay in the game, and they played it better anyway. I'm not even really sure where I'd throw the MVP at, to be honest.
Yeah, I think, as you said, Snifflemonster played really well the first game, but just because of his pick this game, he couldn't really do much on the Kha'Zix here because it was so hard for him to jump in. However, a player that I think played really consistently both games is Chocolate. In the first game, he was bullying this Shen, absolutely top gapping him all the way, and on the Cerelia, managing to consistently get on the backline, consistently getting the Jinx and the Karma. I think if I had to give an MVP, I would go Mr. Chocolate.
Let's see if it's Chocolate then. I think you've convinced me.
However, we can probably do.
I do want to shout out to Kodo as well in that bot lane. Was pretty much left with no peel in the second game. Was left on an island in the first game, and really did his absolute best to keep it together for the team and held together really well.
We can probably do a vote on the stream, right? To see who was setting up. All right. so the casters' vote goes for Chocolate, and we'll see who the viewers vote, I guess.
Yeah, Gabblit, what do you think about your MVP as well?
Yeah, it would be between Chocolate or Takodo. You struggle to give it to
Sorry, you did just say, yeah. But... I mean, yeah, Todo, playing that bot lane, cinched both games, of course. Left on his own in game one just to soak up experience and farm, and this game sort of given a bit more sort of assistance and allowed to, carry through the end of the game. Definitely.
Yeah, but I definitely, if I have to go with what is it called? The MVP for the losing team for the losing
the ace.
Team. Yeah, exactly. The ace for the losing team.
Yeah.
I have to give a shout out to this bot lane. Actually, not just Ashe. I think they played really well both games. Especially this game. This Ashe was just super strong, playing it really well, cutting it really well. I think I'm gonna give the ace to him.
Definitely on the Ashe Resurrection. Do we have a poll?
We do have a
poll. The poll is on Twitch.
So far, Chocolate is sweeping the poll, 5 votes, all 100% 6 votes. Everything with Chocolate so far.
I'm not sure why you don't ask for a poll if you just agree with the casters. I mean,
they want a poll just to show everyone agrees.
SMH Twitch chat wants democracy.
Wants democracy. Do we want to have any interviews? Anyone that you guys particularly want to talk to? Should we ask?
We can bring in Mr. Chocolate.
We can yeah.
Chocolate is the MVP. Chocolate, do you want to get a quick interview? Someone who's in there with him. Want to ask him if he wants a quick interview? We're not going to force anyone, of course.
If he has no choice.
If he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to.
He's either coming for the interview or he's never playing again.
We're
going to hack into his computer and install League of Legends.
Maybe actually helping him out a bit. Uninstalling League is bad or good, to be honest.
We have had more votes come down. Chocolate so far still leading the vote with almost 75% of the vote. But we do have quite a few coming out for AJ Solo as well, and there's a vote for Golf Mormor.
A little bit weird that Sniffle's not getting any votes at all. I mean, he wasn't the president in the second game.
He just heard that. He's voted for himself. There we are.
There we go. Thank you. I mean, he there's not much he could have done the second game, but the first game, I mean, that was pretty 1v9. Oh
yeah, he did. Yeah, William.
He
did steal the Elder. Yeah. Yep. Chodath died, and he did just ult into the back of the Elder Dragon. It was on about 2k HP. I think he only had to do it twice in Smite, so pretty easy steal for the Kha'Zix there with the isolation damage.
Hey, can someone give a vote to Taco? Otherwise, his feelings might get a little bit hurt. He was playing 1v2 both games pretty much.
I did say I'd give him a big shout out, and I would put the vote there now if I hadn't already voted.
For Mr. Chocolate.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Chocolate's I feel like the easier vote to make, because he really showed up in both
Oops, I
games. It's
just
the
left
more
the stream.
obvious, obvious, obvious play.
Taco did last time was in the Lulu first game. Yeah, but no one knows that. Only nerds look at
Yeah,
stats.
you're
Chocolate
left on
actually
your own.
down. Chocolate looked is actually down for an interview, so maybe we can pull him in.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Let's pull him in. Where has he gone? Oh, we've got too many voice channels now. It's too hard to find them. Oh, it's so hard to pull people through. There we go.
And Chocolate wins the
Well,
MVP vote.
welcome, Chocolate, to the stream. You did win the MVP vote with, let me just see, 64% of the vote right there.
Oh,
How are you feeling?
feeling pretty good. Was a banger of a game, the last one. Giga end, but was very fun to play.
So I just want to ask you, obviously, do some questions. For the first game, at least, obviously you knew you had the Olaf and the Kalmar running around the map, just sort of demolishing everyone. What was your plan on the Gnar?
Kind of just to force Shen to not do anything the whole game. I could just kind of force him to stay on the turret, never use his ult. Was the plan.
And also, how did it feel playing Aurelia in those fights where your team is for better lack of words, kind of running it, but you always manage to get her with the ult and the
The Aurelia, it's yeah, I don't know.
But the
Was
early game was a bit rocky, but it did get better. Like
it's kind of in pick, to be honest. There's
I mean,
definitely
the
so
whole
many.
draft was a little bit it was definitely something.
Was it your idea to pick Aurelia, or were you sort of coerced onto it?
Yeah, so we kind of talked about if he would pick Gnar, I would play Aurelia, but then in the end, just kind of said, fuck it, I'll just gap top lane and then play Aurelia.
And a top cap it was.
Yeah.
Any
It was his idea. You're being dobbed in by your team. It was all you, apparently. I mean, the blind Aurelia pick, something special, I think.
Yeah.
your team kind of throwing you under the bus here.
Yeah. I mean, I did say I wanted to play it, so.
Now, what would you say is you think your solar has a good chance of taking it all home? What are your
easily.
thoughts?
Easily.
Easily.
We
I
haven't.
mean, just a reminder that they did get too old by this really super team, so it might be a little bit complicated, but we will see how you do.
We haven't scrimped yet, so when we start scrimming, it would be
True.
we're gonna run over people.
All right, I'd like to see that. If the
See
casters have any other
confidence.
questions.
Who do they have next week? Let's have a quick look. Your next match is up against SC Ocean.
Oh,
So, how are you feeling about that one?
Kind of don't know their roster, to be honest. So
now SC Ocean currently I think 4th place in the tournament in the in-house. Some you can say is not the weakest link, but the special kid in the group is SC Ocean. They have a special play style. Can be interesting game.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it.
Right,
All right,
interesting
thank you,
game to look
Chocolate.
forward to.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chocolate. Any last words you want to give us before we let you go?
Nah, not really.
Okay, great. Thanks for coming in
All
for
right,
the
GG's,
interview.
good game.
We'll see you later. Good luck in
See
your
ya.
future games.
Thank you.
There we go. We've let him go. We do have another set of games. Do you guys want to hang around for those, or either of you want to?
Yeah, happily.
Yeah, cool. They are VODs, which I completely forgot to send you guys the links, so I have a quick way to fix that. Here we go. Haha.
Ah, the classic.
The classic way. No one knows what's happening right now. It was all, of course, pre-planned. Everything is completely expected. I didn't have time to go make up a draft picture or anything, or find out what the bands were. So we are just
Are
unfortunately
we just
seeing.
gonna just quickly talk about what's been picked?
So first up, it's Archeon Academy Flash versus Paper Squad. They're playing in the Lagoon Middle League. So far, we've had ties all around the league. So it'll be interesting to see whether we get another tie or whether one of these two teams does take the complete win. is definitely Arcane Academy Flash should be the favourites here, but that doesn't mean we won't see an upset.
All right, talking about the draft here.
Oh, you have just gone very robotic, Blue.
Oh, have I?
Yeah.
One second.
Even swapped the game to show the draft. Why not? That
Is
makes
it better?
sense.
Yeah, it's a bit better.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So talking about the draft, looking onto the red side team, two things that stand out are the Galio support, which I actually am very fan of. My support does play that quite often, and well, he does perform pretty well. Now the Vi, a little bit of an int pick.
Always. Yeah.
I just think Vi is just not really a viable jungler, especially not in competitive. When it comes to the blue side draft, I think I like it way more. The Ornn, the Hecarim, the Sylas. Caitlyn against Kai'Sa is really good because you can just outrange her and poke her down. Nautilus also a good pick. Would have liked to maybe seen a Morgana. Morgana I think would have been really, really good this game, but maybe it was banned out. And yeah, overall I think blue team gets the draft gap this game.
Yeah, I think I agree. I think blue team has a much simpler and easy to sort of execute draft. Obviously, you got the Ornn ult and the Hecarim ult as well. I mean, the Vi, as you said, pretty much an int pick. Why pick Vi when you pick J4? Shen coming out, does it do into the Ornn pretty well? Has that sort of appeal for the Kai'Sa as well if the Kai'Sa wants to dive into the back line. The Galio, yeah, like I said, I like it, especially with the Kai'Sa. But no, I do think the blue side does have the advantage.
Yeah, one thing to point out though, while the Vi is normally not in itself a good pick, it might actually be a good pick with this comp. Although, again, as you said, the Jarvan would have been a better pick. Just the Jarvan Orianna combo, the standard combo. Now the Vi can ult in with Orianna Ball. You have a Shen, you have a Galio ult on top of you, and then the Kai'Sa can just DPS after that. But it's people when people pick wombo combos like this, it sounds really good on paper, but it's always way harder to actually execute than most people think. So I'm excited to see if they can pull it off.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Yep. And let's go straight into the game. There is a quick poll. It's only set for a minute to see who is going to win. Of course, if we have either of the teams in the chat, no spoilers over who wins each game. So let everyone enjoy watching the game, seeing some mid-tier gameplay, I guess we'll call it, because it is the middle league. And we'll get to see.
Yeah, we actually a 5 point from the blue team right now. What is? Sorry, I've just forgotten what the teams are.
Arcane Academy Flash.
Yeah, there we are.
Paper Squad.
And paper. Yeah, we are. No invade coming out. Probably neither team really wants to risk it. You are running into the Ornn or Galio. Both those can ruin your day. I mean, the Nautilus hook has to hit, or you've sort of wasted that. You don't want to accidentally hit a terrain and then go flying into the enemy team. Ward plays down on the red buff of Vi. Wondering if they're actually going to save the invade. No, they're not, going back to their blue side. So it looked like Hecarim might try to vertical jungle this and get an advantage on the Vi. But Vi's going to start on her own blue buff and probably full clear her bot side.
Now, what league is this, if I may ask?
This is Lagoon. The middle one is for
All right.
those in chat asking. It's around between gold, plat, and diamond.
Low
There's a
diamond,
whole
right?
mix in there.
All
So
right. Looks like a pretty normal start for both junglers. In the mid lane, the Sylas versus Orianna matchup. Kind of annoying for Sylas. Orianna with a really long range. Kind of really annoying to play against top lane. I'm not exactly sure who wins the Shen Ornn matchup. I think Shen does more damage than Ornn. Might be able to just poke him out and get him out of lane. However, the Ornn is pretty tanky. In the bot lane, I expect the Caitlyn to be able to just poke this Kai'Sa out. However, this Galio is a pretty big threat if you can get onto the Caitlyn.
Yeah, I do believe Shen wins the top lane matchup. It's just looking right now at the mid lane. I find it pretty interesting to see that the Sylas hasn't gone for the fleet footwork. You usually see Sylas take those the fleet footwork into sort of the ranged matchup, so he has more sustain in the lane. He can just hit a minion and heal up a little bit, usually along with the Q-Max. But yeah, it looks to be pretty standard on all sides. Vi skipping her wolves to go straight to a red buff. However, she's on a ward now. Hecarim just full cleared his top side, looking to the low bot side. So we're going to see probably both junglers do their respective crabs, just handshake those away to each other, and then look to down Vi go to the top lane and Hecarim to go to bot lane. Yeah, just odd bits of poke coming out in the bot lane really, and same in the mid lane.
Yeah, what I'm expecting for this game is when you have a Caitlyn on the bot lane, the normal play is pretty standard. You push the enemies in, and just hit tower. You know, you push the tower, push the wave, get tower. Looks like
Nice
there's a
red
fight bot lane though. That was a really good hit by Nautilus, but Nautilus is not expecting this much damage. The guys in the galley may poking him out. Top lane,
Meanwhile,
Ornn
top
also getting
lane.
dove, and the Vi almost dies. What is going on? A little bit of fiesta overall. But yeah, as I was saying, bot lane normally wants to push in with the Caitlyn, get these plates, get first tower, swap with mid, and just keep doing that until you have pretty much all the outer turrets.
One thing I do want to point out
Yeah,
is Kai'Sa has taken the cull to start, so maybe we can have a little talk. What do you guys think about cull to start, especially into Caitlyn Nautilus lane?
I know. Oh, the Nautilus gets a really good hook, but again, he might actually get chunked out. Looks like he has the shield. The cut has to flash out. The Hecarim blocks the W, and that's first blood going for the Hecarim. So,
Galio's been on point with these sort of taunts
Hello?
and counters the Nautilus hooks. However, the Hecarim there does manage and force off the Galio. I think maybe the call start. I think
Ooh.
she probably is aware that the Galio is going to keep her safe in the lane, so she probably doesn't need that much HP, allowing her to just the extra gold, allowing her to stay a bit easier into the late game.
Yeah, but I definitely wouldn't say that Cole is a good pick because Kaiser Caitlyn's going to zone you out not only from experience but also minions. So it's not like you can just get free farm.
Ooh,
Chen going in for the
flash
E-flash on the
engage.
horn. It looks like, oh my god, that auto type did a lot of damage going in for getting a solo kill on the horn.
The
Yeah,
embedded
I
Q.
Yeah, I think the Shen got the pass through with the Vorpal blade onto the Ornn, allowing him to get that extra percent HP damage, I believe it is. So that is a pretty easy kill for the Shen there. He's got 2-level advantage now, but there is a big wave for the Ornn to pick up, as he's just going to get chunked out a little bit and probably base in this water's bush.
Now, one thing to point out, definitely in the mid lane, the Orianna playing this match a little bit, not exactly the best play. When you're playing Orianna Silas, or really Orianna into any melee matchup, you don't want to push in the lane, because Orianna doesn't do that much damage, so you will never have lethal, you just run out of mana pushing the wave. And you can get run down pretty easily, and Orianna without flash is definitely something you don't want to have, because you're just going to get spam ganked. In my opinion, he should have probably looked for a freeze under her tower, and then zoned out the Silas. But it looks like the Silas actually has a CS lead, which is normally not what you want to have in these matchups.
Yeah, it's a bit strange to see that size with the CS lead into the Orianna. I mean, Orianna clearly not quite playing the lane exactly how you would expect it to be played. But yeah, I mean, Silas seems to be faring through the mid lane all right, as we see Kai'Sa standing on a trap there in the bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, it's not, of course, not a free lane for the Orianna. The Silas it does have, some fair damage. If he does get on you, he can chunk you out pretty hard and just W and run away. But it looks like the Vi, yeah, she's not really getting the Vi. I don't really know where she can go. She can look for a mid gank, but the Orianna simply doesn't have enough damage right now. With the Orianna ult, maybe they can look for a kill mid lane, but for now it looks like they're going for a drag, and it's not warded. But I wonder if they're going to check it.
Yeah, level 4 Vi can take the dragon pretty easily. Does step quite low, but the Hecarim is in the bot side of the jungle as well. So if the Hecarim comes by this way to check it, it could be a dead Vi. However, the bot lane for Paper Sword are coming up to the dragon to assist the Vi. This is probably going to just be free for the red team.
Yeah, that was pretty well played from the bot lane from what's her name again? Paper
Squad.
Paper Squad. That was pretty well played from the bottom of Paper Squad. They're pushing the lane in, making sure that if the other bot lane does move, that they will lose at least CS, helping the Vi do it, and then just recalling their pretty well played macro overall. The Orianna also pushed in the Silas to give jungle prio overall. Actually, pretty good macro there.
Yeah, Kai'Sa back in to pick up the pickaxe and the dagger, obviously building towards the noon quiver. Vi managed to pick up the bot side Rift Splitter, obviously, and now going to go to her respawn in blue buff. Hecarim is sort of hovering around the mid lane, looking for the gank on the Orianna. Orianna might try to steal the Raptors if he realizes that nothing is going to happen, which he's going to there now. Good sort of identification that the Raptors are respawning from the Hecarim. Obviously, his top side is spawning as well, so he'll be able to clear out the Raptors and then go clear his blue buff and his Gromp. Obviously, he can also give the blue buff to the Silas. It would allow the Silas to, survive the lane even more, and he probably even give the Silas some kill pressure. Hecarim's looking to actually go for the gank clear in the mid lane with the E. We're actually looking at the bot lane. Clearly, the gank didn't work out as he just walks away.
Yeah, they were on the flash though.
Oh, did he? I must have missed that. Sorry. Yeah. Obviously, Hecarim's owned his top wave. Top lane, top side now, as Ornn is actually trying to trade onto the Shen with the grass proc and the empowered brittle auto attack, chunking out the Shen quite a lot there. Shen actually hits the taunt there. Yeah.
Oh,
the Ornn from the Shen.
All in. What? That looked so weird.
The double.
Wait.
Yeah. So what was? So Ornn E'd forward into his pillar first, knocking at the Shen, and then did the headbutt to hit the ram second. So basically knocking up Shen twice and getting the full damage from both procs there.
That was actually really
Well
well
played.
played from the
Yeah.
Ornn. That looked really cool. The Vi showing why she is not
I think Vi's just dead here,
yeah,
though.
she's just. It
dear.
feels so bad to play Vi because you just have
Yeah.
such a great champion. Now, to be honest, a Silas with a Vi ult is pretty scary.
Yeah.
Honestly, a Silas with any ult in any team is pretty scary.
Yeah. I just think that if the Vi had a ult there, she probably would have been able to kill the Ornn, especially with the Halo Blades that she's got. A very
Oh, yeah.
aggressive, very bursty sort of build. But, you know, she didn't have the ult. She didn't really realise that Hecarim would be topside. You know, his red buffs just spawned. She probably expected him to be bot side clearing that. But Hecarim's there, get the kill on the Vi, and now look to do the Herald.
Now the spot lane, the Caitlyn lane not being played as it should. They don't really have any. Not really being able to zone out either the Kaiser from the farm or getting plates, which is not good because Kaiser late game is really strong. The Caitlyn eventually falls off quite not quite as strong as the Kaiser late game. What Rift Herald going for a little bit of a walk around the jungle.
Yeah, it's
that looks
reset
a
now. It's
little
going
bit
around all
weird.
the way around the blue buff.
All right.
It's just taking a little
mean,
trip.
Oh, sure, fine.
I think I know what's going on. You see, Scuttle Crab was actually sick, so Rift Herald had to jump in and help his little cousin out. So he went to do the Rift Scuttle round, but I think the Scuttle has respawned.
The thing is, with Hecarim spending all that time on the Herald and not actually picking it up, it's such a waste of time for the Hecarim where he had no gold, had no experience gained. It's now to clear his top side and now move towards his bot side. Vi's obviously sort of seen this chance and maybe taken a few camps of her own, but however, she is still quite behind by about 3 CS at the minute. But Hecarim does have the 2 kill lead as well.
Yeah, this Hecarim looking to go for the full tank cam tank Hecarim build, the normal. Honestly, I really like Bruiser Hecarim where you go for a little bit more damage style, but I can understand why you go with cam tank. That item is just so strong. I mean, this game overall pretty dull game as it should be. I mean, none of these champions want to fight too early. The Vi maybe the Hecarim can, but they don't really exactly lose their value if they don't. This Kaiser Galio bot lane, however, Kaiser Galio is actually a really strong combo, and I actually want to see them roam because why Kaiser Galio is so strong is if they actually walk onto the river around Dragon Pit, if the mid laner goes in, the Galio can ult on top of the mid laner, and then the Kaiser can be there with her ult, and then it's just really strong rotation power.
Yeah, as you said, a lot of these champions are probably do fare better in the late game, apart from the Vi. I mean, the Vi in the end, late game team fight, she just becomes an ult boss, unfortunately. But it is quite a slow game, as you said. I'm just trying to think if Vi's going to go for like a full AD sort of assassin build, which would probably be wasted into their job. The Galio ult comes down, Shockwave comes out. Oh, Galio misses the E.
There's a nice
Taunts
layer of
charging.
CG, but
Yeah.
The Salah's getting actually Orianna ult.
you just
I
have the
think
damage.
Gallion might have saved Orianna there, but Silas with the Orianna pressure on the Orianna herself, himself. Didn't talk to my words. As we go towards the top lane once again, Shen is about on 6% HP, and we're starting the Dragon for blue team as well. Kaiser should have an idea that they're on this because she saw the traps, but they're just going to leave it. I think that's fair enough. Going to steal with a W? No, they don't. Okay.
Well, I mean, it looks like Paper Squad is actually a little bit behind on gold already, which is not great. Their team doesn't have the most damage. Again, Orianna's an utility mage. When it comes to damage, Silas can out-damage her. It depends on how fed she gets, but right now, she won't be doing tremendous damage. It's more for the utility on her ult. She ults... Oh no, that's the Silas that stole her ult and ulted
That
her
was
in. She had
Silas,
to
yeah.
flash out. Yeah, I mean, game looking a little bit complicated. The Paper Squad needs to do something to kind of get the tempo back and scale, because especially this Vi, if no one is ahead to follow the Vi when she goes in, she's just going to get burst down and no one else will be able to follow.
Yeah, that's why it's important for this fight to get this Herald now. Allow it to just drop it down somewhere, give someone more gold. Probably the Kaiser, I just suggest, would probably be the best course of action. Dropping this Herald down in the bot lane. However, Orianna just TP's back into the mid lane, finishing her lost chapter. She has got the tear suck in as well. And, it's still quite a slow game. Vi's going to move down to her bot side, clear her wolves, probably give away the blue to the Orianna, I would hope, and then clear her drop. Then she can look to gank bot lane with her ult, and then drop the Herald if the junk is successful.
Looking for engage in bot lane though.
Yeah, I think Nautilus is just able to walk away with the aftershock and the shield. Unfortunately, I'm not able to see what Nautilus is maxing So I think you can sort of usually max the E, don't you, on the Nautilus to just get that extra damage.
Looks like, yep, Emax for the Nautilus.
They even spawned the Herald in the bot lane, trying to give this the Kaiser some gold to
Yeah.
carry. The Nautilus actually ulting, but
Kaiser
oh
gets
my
knocked
god.
up.
Yeah, this
Nautilus
Orianna
is
gets a
almost
really,
dead.
really good ult. The Kaiser actually diving a little bit deep. Can she
His
actually do
own.
this? Everything is a little bit confusing here. The guy has to flash away. Looks like the Orianna might die to the Salus, yeah. And the Caitlyn kills the Kaiser.
And
Uh,
Silas, yeah, I think, you know, the play
that's
was
a
all
bit
right. I
confusing.
mean, obviously it was the best choice of option to get the Herald in the bot lane, but you know, there was all this overestimated sort of dive here. I think everyone reacted. Silas TP down, Ornn TP down. I think the Shen was cancelled because whoever he ulted died. I think it might have been the. I think it might have been the Orianna. I don't think he ulted the Kaiser. So yeah, unfortunately the Shen ult didn't get there in time. And sort of the play that sort of was using the Herald to get, you know, Kaiser ahead and sort of the paper sword back in the game sort of went south for them.
Yeah, one thing to point out as well is that the play of getting the Kaiser the gold by spawning Herald bot, good. The Orianna got a really good ult on the Caitlyn and the Nautilus. However, the Kaiser ulting behind the enemy line might have been a little bit much. Oh, the Kaiser W is a little bit sad because
Yeah.
she could have actually stopped the Caitlyn recall. Yeah, but this Hecarim and this Ornn actually getting really ahead. And if anyone has played against Ornn before, they know that Ornn might be a tank, but Ornn that is ahead can definitely one-shot most people. Though Sal's
Yeah.
going in on this Orianna here, but he missed the
I
E,
think
and I think
Orianna
that
can
might
just
be it.
phase rush away, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Ornn's picked up the Sunfire Cape, obviously giving him more damage. I mean, I do prefer the Frostfire Dawn on the Ornn, just adding that slow, that extra utility and all that
Oh,
extra health.
the Nautilus
Dodges
maybe.
there's a sombrero as well from the
Oh.
Orianna. Galio comes down, will save Orianna's life. She just get knocked up by the Nautilus ults. Silas is just trying to walk away. They do kill the Nautilus. Vile
the
diving
Silas.
into the Silas. The Hail of Blades doesn't finish
Oh, the
proccing. However,
Silas
Orianna just
flanking
managed to pick up the
there.
kill.
I think they might be able to get the Hecarim. Oh, no one blocked that. That's
Yeah, they
really
kill the
sad.
Orianna with
Always
the
like try to get there
ace in
in
the hole.
time.
Yeah, I mean, the Galio there showing his utility, how good he really is by saving the
Mhm.
Orianna. Orianna had a really good sidestep here there on the Nautilus Q. That top lane, I mean, that looked a little bit weird, but ignoring that for the mid lane, yeah, the problem is that this Hecarim is really ahead. He's 4-0, he's so
Mhm.
strong. If he wasn't that ahead, he would have actually died there. But because he's this ahead, yeah, I think Blue Team actually came out a little bit on head.
Yeah, I think that was played very well by the Orianna and the Galio. Sort of Orianna staying alive and then getting the kill onto the Nautilus. Obviously, Vi diving in and securing that kill on the Silas, giving it to the Orianna was good as well. But you know, they stayed a bit too long. They took a bit too much damage. Hecarim was just able to clear up, and the Caitlyn as well with the ace in the hole.
Yeah, this top lane reminds me of just two friends who are just like drinking and then they get bored, so they just start hitting each other.
Yeah.
Nothing really happens. It's not like they can really kill each other, and they both have dashes, so they can just run away. So it's like, I mean, top lane is just an entire different game. Well, looks
Yeah.
like they're gonna dive this Orianna under tower though. The
There's no minions though.
Galio
Nautilus is tanking the
here.
tower.
The Nautilus
Does get
is
taunted
getting
up.
caught here. He's dead. The
No ult on the
Orianna ult
Hecarim
for the
yet either.
Silas.
Breathe or not?
Silas is dead and dead as well. Hecarim misses the blast tone, doesn't go anywhere. They're not going to be able to chase down the Caitlyn, so it's just going to be sort of a failed dive, giving 2 kills over to the Orianna and the Galio.
Now I understand that this is the middle bracket league, right? However, if I had to give a word of advice to both teams, is I would say towers really hurt. If you are under them, you will take a lot of damage.
Mhm.
So
Especially
maybe we
with
should,
no minions.
yeah, we
Yeah.
should maybe tone it down with the tower dives, just a little bit, just a tad bit.
I think Ornn needs to stop trying to proc these brittle procs into the Shen W as well. But no, Vi does pick up the 3rd dragon of the game, the 2nd dragon for them. The first Infernal dragon taken it in the game. Obviously, we don't get this Infernal Soul. Probably, you know, quite a good idea for, well, quite good on both teams. Obviously, all this extra damage that comes out from sort of anyone who uses it would be really strong for the Kaiser, allowing her to burst someone down as she dies into the back line. But, you know, taking a reset for both carries on Paper Squad. Kaiser picking up the Dale Force, Orianna with the Ludens and the Tier still stacking. Silas hasn't finished an item, but he has got components. I think that's going to be an Everfrost, I imagine.
Yeah, and
that is
one thing I
Everfrost
have to
items.
point out as a mid laner that kind of hurts my heart is that this Orianna is actually going for Ludens into Sword Boots. Now, The idea is good. They don't have that much damage. The Oriana's like, okay, I'm gonna take. I have 3 kills. I have the half of my team's kills. I have to carry. However, Oriana again is not one of those mages,
Mhm.
and she is not going to be able to kill the. Oh, it looks like
Oh,
they are
Galio
going in on
misses
this
his E.
Orin, and the Orin actually managed to evade the Galio W using his W, but it looks like that Vi is probably just gonna ult this. Yeah, and Orin might be falling here. Anytime now, yeah, Vi doesn't really do that much damage. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's
that was
unfortunate. It's unfortunate because Dallo did E into the
yeah.
sort of the little jutty outer bit of the wall there behind the brown. If he hit that on the Ornn, guaranteed the kill earlier. But Vi picks up the kill anyway. Nothing really lost by giving the kill to the Vi. I suppose that's going to help. She is going towards the Divine Sundra, which will help into dealing with these tanks, especially the tanky Hecarim, allowing her to 1v1 easily. But the Hecarim is still 4-0. He's really far ahead, and he's still a threat for everyone on the team, on Paper Sword's team.
Yeah, as I was pointing out before, this Oriana with the Ludens, the problem is you will not be able to get. Normally, you go Ludens to one-shot the back one or the squishes.
Mhm.
However, you have a Caitlyn and a Silas. You can't one-shot the Silas, and the Caitlyn has such long range, especially after going what is it called, RFC, that you just won't be able to get the ball on her. And because you have such a tanky front line with Ornn, the Hecarim, the Nautilus, Ludens is actually the bad pick here. You go Leandres into cooldown boots and just spam your abilities. Eventually, you'll do
Oh,
some
misses
nice
the
damage.
ult.
Oh, that Oriana
Hecarim
ult
might
going a
just
bit
1v1 the
wide.
Oriana though.
That Galio ult maybe a little bit unnecessary. I feel like he ulted after the Oriana was out. A little bit of a messy game overall. Looks like Ornn maybe getting caught, but the Vi
Yeah,
doesn't
I
really
think
do much
Ornn
damage.
is fine there. I don't think Vi can actually chase him
Yeah.
down. So just discussing, going back to talk about Oriana. You said obviously Leandre's.
Yeah. Leandres and
Uh,
cooldown boots.
would you still choose the Boots of Lucidity even though they were hit by the nerf in the last patch, or would you look for something like the Murtreads?
Yeah, personally, I mean, 50 gold is, it's not that much, but it is still a good amount. Normally, you
Vi's
used
actually stuck
to.
in the wall
Oh,
there.
wait, is she gonna get one shot
Uh,
or one solo ball by this Ornn?
yeah,
The
I think
Ornn
he might get
pulling
killed by
the
the Ornn
ult
here with
here.
these. Oh, it misses
Ah,
the
he
ult.
missed his ult. No,
Vi
not
did
like
flash, however,
this.
though, so he might have dodged anyway. The Oriana TP's in, just gonna hit him 3 times, proc the phase rush, and run away.
Yeah, I mean,
I
with
think
Ludens, he's
pretty
not gonna be able to
unfortunate
kill
that
him.
pretty unfortunate the Ornn missed the ult, but the Vi did burn the flash anyway, just out of sort of caution. So probably the Ornn comes out on top there.
Yeah, but as you were asking before about the Ludens, about the Lucidity boots, it's plus 50 gold, and they used to go back and actually, like, if you went back with about 1,500, 1,400 gold, you were able to actually get the Lucidity boots and a tier, which is a normal start for Doriana, or just Lucidity boots. It's just it was such a good item. Now I would actually say you can just buy Lucidity boots a little bit later, but I think they're still so strong that I don't really see a reason not to buy them over Sork boots.
Yeah, I just want to point out because Doobie in the chat just talking about Manamune on Silas. Do you still see that a lot in
Oh,
Silas? I think I haven't seen it in a little while.
So Silas got a buff, I think 1 or 2 patches ago, which upped his passive attack speed pretty high. So basically, he gets 2 stacks whenever he uses an ability, and then
Yeah.
how fast he attacks. And there's been this build mainly in Korea, which is where most weird builds come up, where you actually go Manamune and sometimes even Nashor's Tooth on Silas. It does a lot of damage, but it's not really something you would go for without experience. So if this person has never played it, most likely not a good pick.
I mean, especially into sort of the into this team where you've got to dive onto the back line. You're not really hitting a lot of front line really as the Silas here in this comp. You'd probably not be using those auto attacks effectively all the time. You just want to probably just full burst with all your damage down in one sort of big combo. I mean, yeah, your Petrocyte stacks do give the attack speed, do give the opponent's damage. Oh,
The
as we've seen a
Silas maybe
play
getting
being
caught
made.
out here. The Vi ult with the Shen and the Galio ult as well, I think. No, the Galio did not ult. The Nautilus also getting caught out here. The Kaiser ults in. The Ornn maybe getting a really good ult. Oh, that was a really nice
Three-man
Ornn ult
knock
on
up.
3 people. And then he misses his E, but his ult was fine. The Hecarim actually going down, and the Shen gets the shutdown, which is a little bit sad. I mean,
You know,
the fight was a
Fight back.
little bit
Oh,
messy.
taunt
Oh,
flash.
okay. Can they get the Caitlyn, the Galio ult on top? I think they can just kite this out. Don't walk back in, please run away. The Ornn is going to fall. Is the Caitlyn going to fall as well? Kaiser doing a lot of damage. Oh, but she managed to trade 1-for-1.
Yeah, I think the most important thing about that was the Hecarim losing his shutdown. That's a lot of gold that just went over back onto Paper Store's team. I mean, yes, it's
Also
going to be
Caitlyn.
able to take the also Caitlyn as well. Yes, sorry, I forgot about that. But yeah, they're going to pick up this drag well, which is going to help us with this team even more.
I mean, it looks like Paper Squad knows what they want to do with their comp, right? They want to just use the vial to catch someone off and then team fight. Team fight is a little bit messy. I will give them that, but they have the right mentality here.
You know, they are now back ahead in gold, just by 1,000 gold though. But yeah, Vi's finished Divine Sundra. Obviously, he's doing a lot more damage to these tanks. Shen finishes Titanic Hydra, allowing to split push more effectively. Which probably, yeah, like as you said, the Paper Squad do seem to know what they're doing with their composition, and I think their comp is now like sort of truly coming online as well.
Yeah, I mean, they've done it about 2 or 3 times now, and I think it's a really cool thing. Basically, the Shen ult.
Been
Oh,
caught
looks
out.
like the Kaiser is gonna get caught out, but I don't think
Or is
that
it Hecarim?
maybe has the ult away because he just doesn't have damage for this.
Yeah, Vi had her ult up, but she didn't want to use it on the Hecarim there, obviously, realizing that he's a big tanky boy and he had support by the Silas and the Nautilus there as well.
Yeah, speaking of the Vi, one thing to be pointed out is that late game the Vi is definitely not as useful as the Hecarim. So I think their comp is really good mid game, but when it comes to late game, especially with the Ornn items on top, I'm gonna give this to the blue side team. So we definitely want to see them maybe accelerate the game, maybe go for Baron play and try to end this before this gets maybe like 30 minutes in. I think they should try to look for an end.
Yeah, you're right. Vi only really useful down one, hardly, but then the Hecarim, he can land a 5-man fear quite easily. Well, at least a fear onto everyone in the back line, and that's a lot of CC coming down, allowing the Caitlyn to just sort of hit an auto attack for free from range.
Yeah, but overall, I think especially this Ornn has been playing pretty well. Now he can hit a little bit more abilities, but it is what it is. It happens for the best. This Vi, I think her purpose in life is literally just ult first person who you see, big monkey man, old people. This Ornn then follows up with ult, and you just pray that you can one shot them. This Shen playing actually really well. He keeps ulting the Vi as she's running in, like as she's going in with ult. So by the time that they come back on the floor, so Vi knocks them up, the Shen is actually there and can just taunt right after. It's actually a really good combo. But I don't know if it's actually worth it because the Shen ult is such a big tool to defend the Kai'Sa and the Orianna. I don't know if they want to use it that early.
Yeah, no, you're definitely right. I think. Do you think it's just a case of whoever pulls the trigger on the fight, like wins the fight, or obviously there's options for the Paper Squad with the Galio ult and the Galio taunt to just sort of slow down a fight that they tried to start that the other team tries to start. So what do you think would be the best route for the actual gameplay for the blue team?
The blue team, I mean, the thing is about Paper Squad's draft, they have a pretty good draft. They can engage and they can disengage really well. However, blue team have a Caitlyn who's actually really, really fed with an Ornn item and Gale Force. I think what they need to do is just play it slow, play it front to back, let the Caitlyn just do what Caitlyn does, and then slowly whittle them away, and then hit them with the Ornn ult, hit them with the Hecarim ult. And I mean, they have a pretty good wombo combo themselves, especially with the Silas maybe stealing an Orianna ult, maybe Galio ult, even the Shen ult. I think they just need to play the fights a little bit slower. They're rushing it a little bit too hard.
Yeah, definitely. I'm noticing that the Caitlyn's built Storm Razor second. Is that I don't really know. Is that
Storm
what
Razor
you
on
expect to see from
Caitlyn. I mean, it's a good pickup. I don't think it's a good pickup this game because they do have a lot of tanks over on Paper Squad.
Would you expect to see the Lord Dominic's Radar second then instead?
Yeah, maybe a Lord Dominic's, maybe an IE. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't seen Kit in a while, but I don't know about the Storm Razors. I think maybe Collector, but I'm
We do
honestly
have
not
to
100%
remember
sure.
right now, though, on Paper Squad's side, not a lot of armor has been picked up. The only real
This is
armor that
true.
you see
This is
is
true.
on the Shen, and that's a Mythic and a Bramble Vest. It's still not all that much.
Yeah, I mean Orianna does have the Hourglass as well, and Galio has the Winged Moon Plate, the movement speed health item. Probably might be going towards a Dead Man's Plate as well there. So there is the chance of more armor being picked up in the near future as well.
The Kai'Sa are actually rushing the full what is it called, anti-heal item, which is I don't know if that's
Mortal
stronger.
Reminder.
Yeah, I don't know if you rush the full Mortal Reminder or if you just go the Grievous Wounds like component. But
I mean, how much healing is on the blue team? I mean, you got the Silas W, which is obviously a lot of healing with the Conqueror as well, and the Heck and Conqueror coming out there. But I mean, you're probably right. It probably doesn't need to be rushed all the way through. You probably could have finished something else instead. We are starting the Baron from the blue side. Vi is here. Vi does have vision with the pink ward placing down. They are just walk away as the Orianna bonus TP.
I mean, I think that wasn't a horrible idea because the Caitlyn can zone people off pretty easily. The problem is the Vi can just like queue over the wall and then It looks like they're actually
Orn
going for a
going to
fight,
look for the
though.
Kai'Sa here.
Oh, the Kai'Sa actually
Nine-
gets caught. Wait, where did she go?
I think she flashed over the wall.
Oh,
Yeah,
she did,
Vi's
right.
getting caught. Shen comes down. Galio comes down. Everything comes
Oh,
down.
big
Four-man
knockup.
knockup from the Galio. Tries to
Yeah.
swim down on the backside. But gets feared by the
Feared into the rest.
onslaught, whatever it's called, from the Hecarim ult. There's a lot of damage coming down from the Caitlyn as well. Silas takes the Galio ult, uses that as well. The blue team has turned the fight around again. Looking, Hecarim is charging at Shen. He's the only one alive. He's going to walk away. He's going to die, though. Who they're going to do it to? They're going to do it to the Silas. That's an ace win from the blue team, only losing the Nautilus, and they're going to turn towards Baron.
Yeah, I mean, they played this fight really well. As I said before, they have to play this fight slow and just let the Caitlyn DPS, and that's exactly what they did. The Caitlyn was in the back line. They were playing front to back, letting her hit whoever was closest, and she actually played it really well because Orianna actually came in from a flank and tried to get her ult on her, and she guild forced it away, which was really, really good, and her positioning was really good that fight, just pumping out massive amounts of damage. Really well played, and also really well played on that Ornn ult, catching out the Kai'Sa, making her burn her flash and also getting a kill on her.
You know, it's really interesting to see the Vi sort of try and turn that engage by ulting into. Was it either the Hecarim or the Ornn she ulted onto, and then the two ults following up as well. However, Ornn and Nocturne are being caught out here, but you know, is it actually the Vi who's been caught out? I think so.
Yeah, it's
The ace in the hole comes down and kills the Vi. Silas TP'd in, now looking for the Galio. I think they're just going to turn it onto the Dragon, taking their second Dragon of the game, delaying the soul point for the red team.
I mean, yeah, this is the problem with Vi, right? Vi is really good with the Orianna ult, but if you have the Vi alone, she's kind of not really a champion.
Yeah.
As you said before, if it was a Jarvan, it would have been really good, right? I mean, Jarvan isn't the best champion right now, but I think he just has way more possibilities. They can, if they have a Jarvan and the Galio, if the Jarvan gets a really good ult, trapping like 4 people in his ult, the Galio jumps on top, the Orianna on top. Fight the combo is actually also easier to execute. So for further games, I think they might actually want to consider Jarvan instead of the Vi here.
Yeah, just coming back onto the point of the Vi, with the Halo Blaze, you're looking for this very burst-oriented like sort of combo where you're just trying to kill someone early. The late game, it doesn't really stay very well on the Vi. Obviously, you're building towards the Black Cleaver now, which isn't really the best item in the game. You really better be just sort of building tank on the Vi and just sort of delaying the fight as much as possible. Maybe building a stare at stage, Titanic Hydra as well, getting damage that way, just from like just sort of DPS instead of burst.
Yeah, someone in chat actually asked if Chem Tank Vi or Tanky Vi would be better. Chem Tank is OP, but I think in this game, Paper Squad actually needed a jungler that was a bruiser.
Yeah.
Because if they went a full tank, they would have had pretty low damage. I mean, Kai'Sa doesn't know.
Vi ulting onto
Kai'Sa's
the
actually going in
Caitlyn.
with the
Orianna ult comes down, Galio comes down. Caitlyn is still succeed, taunted from the Shen. Shen kills the Caitlyn.
Silas
Silas,
taken out
Oh,
on the
Silas,
back
yeah,
line.
yeah,
Silas
Silas on the back line, killing Kai'Sa and the Orianna. Galio falls to the Hecarim as well. Will Silas be able to pick up the Shen as well? I know Shen's going to taunt over the wall. Vi is also in her jungle, just backing. No, she's not backing. No, she's starting to back this now. I think this could be game, though. I don't think the Shen and the Vi can save the game, just the two of them into the 4.
Yeah, it's a little bit hard because the Kai'Sa is really good because you can reposition and move around the map really easily. But when it comes to raw DPS, she just doesn't do as much as for other AD carries. And the Orianna the same. And it looks like that was actually the cause behind them losing this game here.
Yeah, no, it was a great engage by the Vi, the Orianna, and the all coming down at the same time. Clearly, what they planned to do. But you, like you said,
damage.
yeah, like you said, the Silas was straight onto the back line, killing the Kai'Sa, making the Orianna Zhonya's, meaning that there was just no more DPS coming down, and that was it. That's all she wrote. Yeah, the fight was over before it really started, really, even though they had such a good engage from Fate Squad.
Yeah, but we have to give credit. I think it's definitely a good idea to give credit to Paper Squad. They played it pretty well. The problem is right now the draft is just so important because if you're playing against a team of equal skill, if they have a draft advantage, that's such a big advantage. It just means that they don't have to. They basically just have to wait it out until you make a mistake, and they just know they're stronger. It's not that the Paper Squad didn't play well this game. I think it's really purely on draft, but I definitely think they have the potential to turn this into a 1-1.
Yeah. So just following up on that, saying it's all about the draft. Do you think that was just solely because of the Vi pick, or basically just the Hecarim getting ahead early and just being able to follow through with that, or do you think it was something more sort of elementary that was missing from the draft?
I mean, I definitely think the Paper Squad played the early game pretty well from what I saw. They got the early dragons and everything. Yeah, but it's kind of like the Vi pick. She ults in with the Orianna ball, but what does she really do after? You know, she doesn't really do that much damage. She's not really that tanky, and I think that kind of made them fall apart. And also the Caitlyn playing extremely well on the side of blue team there. But yeah, I think actually well played for both teams there. It was a
Yeah.
pretty close game.
Right, are we going to go straight into the second game?
Yes, we
all right.
are. I hope you guys can both see that game. I will throw
Yeah,
it onto
it's not on the stream though.
the stream. Yep,
Oh.
just waiting
Yeah.
before let the talk about the last game finish.
Oh, there we are.
I'll just start up the game and we can talk about the comps as we go. We do
All
see
right.
Seraphine.
Actually, I think this is actually a good draft for both teams. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm just seeing the Diana recently buffed for the jungle in the last patch. Not quite sold on it really though. We're seeing the Silas and the Caitlyn coming out again on the side of ARC, and as well, but the Alistair instead of the Nautilus. Alistair is, stronger than Nautilus. I was wondering if maybe the Alistair was banned in the first game, and the Ornn as well. So very similar draft to that team. On the other side, Paper Squad coming out with the Darius into the Ornn. Good match again, winning lane for the Darius. The Stana for the in the jungle into the Diana, and then the Orianna again in the mid lane. So running it back with the matchup in the mid lane, and then the Ezreal and Seraphine in the bot lane, which is quite a safe lane as well. I'm unsure about their late game staying aside from the Darius really though.
People tend to forget. People always say like Seraphine comps don't have a lot of damage, but she's just so annoying, and you can't kill them. So damage is actually not that important. But it looks like they might actually be able. The 5-man invade the top lane. Maybe they can actually pick
I
someone
think they know.
off.
Yeah, no, Ornn's out there. I don't think they
they
can catch up with
this
the Ornn.
one.
Unless he walks through the dry bush here.
Oh,
Oh, no, Darius
maybe
is
not.
no, they're all
What
walking
is
away.
Oh, no.
They're looking to. I think they're looking to double down and get the red buff. However, Diana, Ornn, and Silas are all nearby, and we've lost the stream.
Oh no.
I've lost the stream. There we are. I'm back.
Oh.
Okay.
It looks like there's gonna be a fight for a level 1 red buff. Seraphine misses the E. No, if that he landed, that would have been a kill. Darius getting first blood, flashing in.
Oh
Diana
my
might also be
God,
dead.
The
Oh
passive.
no, this is so bad.
Is that a
Is this
Right.
a triple kill for Darius?
Yes, it is.
Oh.
Do we just call it there, or is that it?
I'm not gonna lie. If Darius doesn't carry this game, there is flame to be. There should be a little bit of flame.
Yeah, so Silas, sorry, Stana is going to take the red buff here, and probably then maybe take the Raptors as well. We'll see about that. If not, he'll just throw to his blue buff, I imagine.
Man, that's so sad. I was about to say I was so happy that someone picked Diana Jungle. That champion is really strong right now. But it looks like if the Darius has 3 kills, the game gets a little bit more complicated.
Well, they
Yeah,
all
Seraphine
put
staying to
bans.
help the Stana on the red buff, and Stana's actually back in here. This is really strange from the Stana. Not quite sure what he's thinking of, but obviously the Seraphine stayed to help the Stana, so Ezreal's here on his own, just trying to farm the way through his Q. Just as did get engaged upon by the Alistair, but able to phase, not what's it called, phase shift. The E, jump out of the way.
Yes,
But Diana's clearing her blue buff and now her Gromp. Stana, based, picked up a cloth armor.
Arcane shift.
Arcane shift, there we are, not phase shift, arcane shift. Stana picked up a cloth armor of all things and is now on his red buff finally. 4 behind on CS from the Diana, and Diana knows she's not going to have a red buff either.
Okay, so I mean, in this game plan pretty easily. Yeah, the Darius has 3 kills. All you have to do is not int in the rest of the map.
Yeah.
I mean, you have an Ezreal Seraphine bot lane. It's all nigh impossible for you to die. Orianna should have actually Tutor recalled. That's hurting my heart a little bit to see.
Or I might be getting ganked by the Diana, or Diana could actually look to invade the Raptors. Pinning the Raptors, Stana's still on his trugs. Not quite sure what his plan is for the game at the minute with his jungle pathing.
Yeah, I mean, this Gardner is going to be really annoying for this Diana. As soon as she goes in, she's getting ulted instantly.
Yeah. We see the Alistair try to engage Den, but he misses actually, trying to headbutt onto the minion and then pulverize the Seraphine, but going wide. Diana spotted by that ward and using the Strider's Bloom bot lane. They should know where the Diana is. Obviously going to go down to this crab here. I think she thought that Stana must have taken the whole topside jungle, but she hasn't looked up there at all. If she had looked up there earlier, she would know that her Raptors and her Cruds are still up, allowing her to get at least 8 more farm. However, Stana's going to come and get this top crab. There's a little bit of a trade on in the mid lane. Orianna is running out of mana though.
Yeah, one thing that I do have to point out, in both of these games that he has played Orianna, he has gotten out of mana really fast, which is one of the key things about playing middies in the mid lane. You have to be able to get prio, poke the enemy, and keep a very good mana bar. But it looks like she's getting ganked by the Diana. She has to flash out, and that's not what you want to see. As
She's
Orianna
trading
without
back into
flash.
popping the phase rush. Stana's on his blue still, not able to react. I don't think Orianna had to be there at all. Didn't really need to waste the flash there.
I mean,
As you said, out of mana again.
problem with Orianna in the early game, right? You don't have enough damage for lethal, so I don't know why she keeps going on to the Silas. Oh, maybe the Silas looking for a kill, but I don't think he has W. The Orianna should really just back off here and not just chase him.
Oriana's just used the last potion, but yeah, Stein doesn't have he's got the TP, he doesn't have the Ignite. If he had the Ignite, definitely would have kill pressure on the Orianna. But Oriana's just a base here, probably looked to TP back into the lane, and don't know how much dodge she's got. Maybe pick up a Dark Seal, or no, she went for the tier last time. I think she'll do the same. Is Alistair all right here? He's getting tunned out a bit on half HP. Ignited from the Seraphine. Q from the Seraphine as well. I think he's going to walk away. Might have to be forced to base here.
Now, one thing that the Ori is doing well this game compared to last game is that she does have the CS on the Silas, which is really good. Now, this Ornn, I'm not exactly sure how he is this even with the Darius, especially when the Darius is this ahead. But we're going to have to see. Now, the Skarner, he's level 4 right now. And if you're playing against Skarner and you know anything about League, you know that you have paid taxes. Taxes in this case would mean QSS. It's just a thing you have to get against Skarner, otherwise you're not going to have a very good time. I wonder how fast, or if they, at all, they're going to get the QSS on team or on red team.
Yeah, Ornn does have 900. Yeah, I was going to ask you to check the door as well, because Ornn hasn't crafted anything yet. You'd expect him to like craft probably the double cloth armor here, just so Darius doesn't have like the kill pressure on him. But he's just standing there. He's just not doing anything. I'm not sure what his game plan is in the minute if he's not going to use half his passive. But Starner's on the dragon. We expect Starner to do dragons early, especially using that pylon that he's got there to increase his attack speed. Obviously allowing him to clear the. Oh, we're seeing the ghost from the Darius. Ornn, he's probably seen the Ornn hasn't bought and knows he's weak still. But Starner's just going to carry on doing this. Dragon Diana's nearby. Could look to counter it. They don't have a ward in the pit, but I think she knows they're there. But I think she's going to give it. She's going to give it.
Yeah, I mean, we do have to say both teams have a really scary team fight. The Skarner, of course, can initiate the fight with his ult really well, but also Diana is really, really scary. She can one-shot people with her full combo. Plus, the Silas can steal a Seraphine ult, which is, Seraphine ult is just, that's probably one of the strongest ults in the game right now. He also has the Orianna ult and even the Skarner ult, so they do have, they both have really good team fight. I think it's about who executes it better. It looks like the Orianna is getting collapsed here. Silas steals the ult, gonna ult her. Orianna might get out with phase rush, but it looks like she's dead. The Skarner actually going in, but
Skarner should pick up the Diner here. No, he's just a divot away. Obviously, Silas being there, still a massive threat. Alistair, I don't know. Headbutt pulverizes onto the Seraphine. Seraphine forced to flash away. No real follow-up though, just a bit of poke trading back and forth between the carries.
Yeah, one thing that you don't want to do as an immobile mage like Orianna is if you don't have flash, you can't push the wave. It's way too easy to gank you, especially with the Diana Silas. They can just press you on really fast. So you definitely don't want to push. She was it's not like she was fully pushed out, but she was still too far up, got punished by the Diana and the Silas. Now, one thing I do want to say is the Caitlyn is the only AD threat on the side of red team. I want to see this Orianna go for an verdant barrier, maybe after the core item. I don't know what she's building, maybe another Ludens. I want to see after Ludens, maybe Banshee's Veil, I think would be a really good item.
Yeah, I just want to point out that Orianna didn't go and buy a control ward with the last patch. Obviously, been down 2 times, lean to her blow a flash, and then die the second time. She should have really bought a control ward, so because she is constantly pushing up and it needs to have that extra safety that a ward would give. However, she's going to roam up towards the top side, maybe look to help Starner on the Rift Herald. However, Diana is there, could look to turn it onto the Orianna. Orianna's just going to...
Oh, is she going to steal that?
No, Diana picked it up. That was pretty close. Ornn's moving down, though. They might look to contest his Herald as we're going back to the bot lane. Just more poke. Headbutt pulverized onto the Seraphine. Trap put down. Trap avoided. Seraphine stunned and just gonna walk away. Bit of a shield. Yeah. Nothing really of interest happening in there as we're top side.
Yeah.
Wave's been pushed in towards Ornn. 25 CS lead for the Darius here. Massive amount of gold. 300 gold shutdown still on him. What do you think is the next gameplay? Next plan for the gameplay?
I mean, red team, the Caitlyn. This time playing lane better. Again, she's pushing them in and just going for those plates. Now, she should have plates a little bit lower than that. Orianna's going in. Oh, the Sal's going in with Orianna. The Diana actually manages to get in, but the Orianna flashes away. Looks like the Skarner gets Skarner ulted, but I think everyone gets away
gets
here.
By the Silas. W coming through. The Kingmaker killing the Starner there right at the end.
I think that was both cleanly and messily played from both teams. Like,
yeah, I think
that's fair.
yeah, I mean, Stana taking away the Silas to stop him chasing down the Oriana, then being taken down himself. It's sort of like, yeah, you saved Oriana, but at what cost? The cost was your life. Stana's now in Stana's jungle, taking her Raptors. Maybe looking towards Red Buff as well. Stana is coming to react here, although Diana could come to the bot lane to gank, head pulverize onto both. The stun
Well,
gonna come on the Seraphine.
there
Diana's
is a
here,
Diana.
trying to beat the Q. Q misses, can't E towards the target. I think they're just gonna walk away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Caitlyn with these traps a little bit off. I feel like if she trapped there, she might have actually been able to get a kill. Now, I feel like both teams, they don't really have a game plan. They're kind of just going with the flow. I think red team here definitely needs to just pressure this bot lane. The Caitlyn is really ahead of the Ezreal when it comes to farm. I think they need to try to get this tower maybe rotated so that the Sylas doesn't have so much kill pressure on this Orianna, because the Orianna right now is kind of struggling against the Sylas. And when it comes to top lane, I mean, I'm just surprised that the Ornn hasn't died against the Darius, especially
like
when he
to
has
see
this
Darius
this
being
Tribreaker now.
a lot more aggressive, just using his E pretty much off cooldown. Just keep pulling the Ornn in. You'll get the chip damage that way.
I mean, 200 gold up for the red team, even though the Darius has all 3 kills on the side of the blue team. Obviously, Orianna dying, and then Stana also dying in the mid lane, sort of giving away that gold lead. But, you know, CS looks all right for mid, and obviously for top lane, but Ezreal is 20 CS behind now at 10 minutes, which is quite a considerable margin, to be honest.
Yeah, Gabblit actually pointed out a really good point. You have a Darius with 3 kills, and you have a Skarner. The Ornn is tanky, but it's actually not that tanky. Like you as Darius do a lot of damage. I think they should have actually looked maybe for a tower dive a little bit earlier on this Ornn. I mean, Skarner can just pull him away, especially because he has phase rush. You can get him out of tower, and Darius just does the rest of the work for him. You can really just keep pressuring this Ornn so that he can't really do much. And in this bot lane, while it's bad that the Ezreal is this far behind on CS, it's pretty normal. And since you have a Seraphine, your late game is actually better than the Caitlyn. So we're gonna have to see red team accelerate the tempo of the game a little bit.
Darius
Looks
goes into mid
Sylas
lane.
is going in. The Sylas
Strike
might...
Baker E.
That was
Goes
really
away
good from
to
the
Orianna.
Sylas. I don't know if that was intended.
They both die. The Diana ult coming in and probably saving the Sylas there, actually, as Darius sort of ults too early before he gets the execute on the Sylas.
Yeah, that was actually not the Darius pull who saved the Sylas. The Sylas E just before the Orianna ult went off. But it looks like Seraphine is actually getting picked up. Alistar going in, and Alistar is getting a couple too many kills. This feels kind of bad for red team.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a kill. I mean, they've got free access to this dragon now, but you know, like you said, that damage going onto the that gold going onto the Alistair, not really where you want it to be. However, he will be a tanky boy now. You see, he's got the 2 ruby crystals, probably going towards a Balmy Cinder for an actual tank mythic instead of something like the Shrelias or the Locket, the Iron Lari, as Ezreal's been poked down under his tower by the Caitlyn trap and headshot.
Yeah, but it looks like this Orianna just struggles against the Sylas. Maybe, you know, people just have some mental blocks against certain champions. In my case, I know I have against Zed. Doesn't matter if I'm playing good matchup with Zed. Maybe they should have considered banning the Sylas. I'm not exactly sure what they banned because we only saw the picks. But I think maybe a Sylas ban might have been good, especially because Crosser over here on the Sylas seems to be pretty good on it as well.
Yeah, just to add to that point, they're playing the same matchup mid, the Orianna into the Sylas. So I'm not sure if, you know, they first picked Orianna and then, you know, they tried to counter that with the Sylas and obviously counter it successfully, or if, you know, it's the other way around and they pick Sylas blind and then they're trying to counter it with the Orianna, which doesn't seem to be working. It didn't seem to work last time, and it's not really seeming to work this time.
Yeah, someone actually posted the bans in chat.
Oh,
The
did it?
first
I missed
game
that.
2 bans are actually Zillion, Rammus, Udyr, Shen, Bard, Morgana, Volley, Heck. Zillion, Rammus. Maybe there's like something we don't know, but Zillion and Rammus normally not really ban
Rammus did just
worthy.
have his ult updated
Yeah,
in the latest
I mean,
patch.
I think is it part of like the build where Rammus? I think they fixed that now, didn't they? Where like if Rammus get bonus movement speed during his Q, he just got like massive amounts of it was like self-stacking.
Yeah, you could like.
But I
run
think they
between the
finished. I think they
nexuses.
fixed that now. So unless they're like trying to get the Zillion Rammus combo going. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
Udyr obviously a meta jungler and Zillion Udyr is a good combo as well. Shen, was
Shen is
played
an alright
last
bank, I
game.
guess.
Was it played last time? It was played last time. No, it wasn't. I'm confused now.
Yes.
Shen was played, yeah. Shen was played.
And then Bard, we haven't seen the Bard yet this split, so maybe it was banned last game. Split this series, maybe it was banned last game as well. Maud Volley, Heck, Gnar, and Kled, sort of all mediocre, all normal, relatively normal bans apart from the Kled. So obviously maybe someone on their team is a Kled sort of one trait.
Well, I don't know what side blue team was on for these bans, but I definitely think Salas should have probably maybe even squeezed into there. But yeah, this bot line now, the Caitlyn's just 1v2ing, kind of doing her own thing. This Orianna, poor thing, it just keeps getting focused by everyone in the enemy team. This Diana now, the
Nice
sidestep from the Caitlyn for the Seraphine ult. She looks
And the E goes wide as well.
Wait, can she actually? Oh
I
no, she
don't
doesn't
think she
appear.
can turn. Oh, the ace in the hole's coming out onto.
But it's not going to
Block
get a
that
kill
point.
because we're looking somewhere else.
Yeah, people need to start hitting a little more abilities. I feel like the game would be a little bit easier that way. Yeah, this Diana, as I said before, has the Night Harvester. She's really strong. If Diana jumps on this Orianna, on this Ezreal, on this Seraphine, she can most likely one-shot him. Game is looking a little bit tough here for blue team.
Yeah, definitely. Orianna being the sort of the weakest link this game, dying 3 times in the mid lane to sort of fairly similar ganks. Obviously, Caitlyn's pulling ahead as well, about 30 CS now, well, 25 to 30 CS now, and also a level up on the Ezreal, as Ezreal just finished the Essence Reaver. Caitlyn has the full completed Gale Force.
So I want to hear your thoughts. Essence Reaver versus Triforce, or new Triforce on Ezreal, now that they've updated the passive.
I think Triforce is really good. I don't know if you take it on Ezreal. I think the build on Ez is actually Essence Reaver into Lethality. But I'm not 100% sure. Again, I don't really see Ez too much. But I think I don't think this build is horrible.
Yeah, usually
it gives him back what he wants on the Triforce. Mostly, it takes off a lot of the attack speed, which doesn't tend to use attack speed all that well.
Oh,
engaging mid
there's gonna be
Stana's here though. The
Oh,
sombrero
that is
flash.
beautiful.
Oh, we saw that on Doinby the other day in the pro scene, and now just seen here at Coral League from the Silas as well. Absolutely magical.
Pretty much, if you ult on Orianna, you can flash ult, which you start the animation, but by the end of the animation, it will ult where you flash to. And that was actually really well played by him getting the heal off as well. It was a 1-for-1, but any kill that comes from any 1-for-1 when the jungler ganks is worth for whoever got ganked and got the kill as well.
Yeah.
The Silas looking really strong.
As Seraphine might be dead here, has to eat,
yeah.
dies anyway. Did Stana get a shutdown there off Silas? I didn't quite see that.
Yeah, I think Skarner got the shutdown off the Silas, I'm fairly certain.
And having that bit of extra gold, it helps swing the gold back into the blue team's favour here. Obviously, because Orianna unfortunately isn't worth that much gold right now. Being
this Ezreal is about to get dove here, maybe for the Ezreal, the outside for the. I mean, the Caitlyn again playing this game really nicely. She is pretty much 1v2ing and actually winning lane, which is definitely a little bit odd, and you don't really normally see that. The Silas really strong in the mid lane, and then Diana is starting to do a lot of damage with a Night Harvester. This Darius got 3-0, got a 3-0 lead, level 1, but he just seemed not to be able to do much with it. I would have liked him maybe to go into the enemy jungle, maybe go steal a couple of camps, really push Diana out and make her regret giving you 3 kills early. But for now, it seems that red team's in the lead and they're getting dragged.
Yeah, Stana has flash, ult, and smite. Can suppress the Diana with a flash over the wall and then smite the dragon away. However, doesn't decide to go for that. Decides to keep his summoner spells and his ult, just giving the dragon up. Obviously, only the second dragon for that team, not quite on a soul point yet. It is an infernal soul, however. Obviously, that's going to help the Diana with her burst and the Silas as well. We're seeing a fight here in the top lane. Could it be a flash? It's going to be an ult here. I think that might be the bleed out.
Here.
I think that Darius could have just kept going, actually.
Yeah. Ornn does have the Bramble Vest and the Tabai. He's going to Ghost in, flash away from the Q, E into the wall, Strybreaker again, and he dies for the Brittle Proc. What a shame.
Okay, so a couple of things wrong with that. If you're going to flash to the Ornn, I thought that might have been the play there. And he walked into tower while the Ornn still had the bleed, so he actually took, I think, 1 or 2 tower shots.
I think it's 2, yeah.
Yeah, so I think this lead that Darius got isn't really gonna help blue team here as much as I thought.
He's up 30 CS on the Ornn still, however, he did just give a full amount of gold over to the Ornn as well. Ornn's only down, Darius is up 1,500 gold still, so he still has a lead over the Ornn, but Ornn being a tank, he doesn't need that much gold, whereas Darius is going to go for these big beefy sort of AD health items like the Stare Stage, I assume. So that's which are quite expensive. So losing his leaders to Darius is quite a detriment to the blue team.
Don't forget,
one thing I have to say is that
that's a lot more gold.
Oh, I think this is just a death again.
someone's getting caught. The Steris is about to go down, I believe. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Silas, I mean, Silas is actually in Korea. They play a lot of Surfer mid still. Over in EU West, it looks like it has lost a little bit of its steam. In China as well, it wasn't played at all. And I have to say, Silas is picking the Seraphine because you can just steal her ult. Her ult is super strong. So yeah, the Silas with the Seraphine ult is definitely really scary. And also, I personally really like playing Silas into Darius because it's just a fun ult with Darius. You can get your resets and they just keep going, running people over. Blue team here, definitely, they have the same issue that they had in the first game. They have no concrete damage dealer, no carry. Oriana's an utility mage, and Ezreal, while he does damage, it's mostly poke and chip damage. It's not like Ezreal can really 1v5 unless he's extremely fed. And this Darius, well, he did get a lead, is going to have a little bit of a hard time getting to the Caitlyn.
Yeah, the Darius does do well into tanks, especially in the late game. Especially, so he's going to do well in matching this Ornn and this Alistar. However, with the Diana and the Silas being so fed, we're probably going to have to wait to. Darius is probably going to want to wait to fight until he finishes probably the Sterex and then the Force of Nature as well, just given this magic resistance and survivability in the fight. We see the pulverized head, but miss. Starner under the tower for the Caitlyn. Darius ult comes down, knocks in guillotine, killing her instantly. They're not going to be able to chase back onto the Alistar, but Oriana's here in the top wave, clearing the wave so that the Ornn can't take the tower. Probably will still go down eventually, stopping the Ornn's back. Not to get the brittle proc. Might look to E back into the pillar, but no, he's just going to walk away. I don't think Oriana has the damage to follow that up either.
Yeah, I mean, it's as I said, and the Oriana again going for this Luden Sork Boots build. It's really not that good into these type of team comps, and she's just lacking damage. I'm not 100% sure how the blue team are going to play this out. Now they do have a really strong combo. Oh, but it looks like there's a fight top lane. The Oriana maybe getting soloed by the Ornn, but it looks like she's going to be able to run away with the phase rush. And I said before, the blue team does still have a really good one-more combo in the team fight, so I'm going to see. I'm curious to see how they're going to play these 5v5 fights.
Yeah, I mean, they do have a good wombo combo with the Starner, the Oriana, but they don't have that much damage, as you said before. And the damage they do have on the Darius, it takes a while to ramp up those passive stacks in order to get all that bonus AD and movement speed, and just allow for those easy executes with the ults. So the fights have to play on for quite a while for the blue team to try and find success. Whereas there's the Diana looking to burst instantly, but whereas the Caitlyn and the Silas, they're able to just sort of sustain through the fight and DPS throughout. So it creates a sort of weird sort of both teams don't mind the fight going on a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see who is going to step up for blue team. I think it either has to be this Oriana or this Ezreal. Someone, a damage dealer, needs to get some kills because it's really sad. Only the Darius has the 4 out of 5 kills, and the Skarner has the other one. This Ezreal needs to start getting some really clean team fights. This Oriana needs to look for some 4-3 manning ults, or maybe just using ult to catch someone off. They could have actually maybe gone on Diana. I don't know. They're really scared of this Alistar.
Turbo Temp coming in, looking to stun the Alistar.
Don't
ult the Alistar. Alistar uses ult now.
Oh, the Diana going in. Diana damage with the Night Harvester. Oh, that's so much damage. Yeah, and the Ezreal, I mean, he's just not really able to...
Yeah, he's not strong enough yet, is he?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's not a very popular build, but I think Ezreal into this team could have actually gone Liandry's Ezreal. It's not a very popular build, but it is played in Korea. It's really pretty good into tanks, especially because the lethality is going to be pretty hard to kill for the one.
Oh, the shockwave from the Silas.
Ooh, but I think this might be bad for the Silas. Yeah, the Alistar are dying here. Are they going to get more? The Ezreal getting poked down. The Darius actually manages to go down, and the Silas flashing in. I mean, the Silas is just styling all over people over here. But I think he's actually going to go down.
He does go down. There's a lot of Spellbinder stacked lost.
Not to this corner.
Not Spellbinder.
Magis. Yeah, so the red team did pick up the third third dragon, putting them on soul point, ready to get that soul in the next dragon fight. But there was a lot lost there. Ezreal didn't pick up any kills. Darius picked up a kill. Starner picked up a kill. Again, the 2 kills that they picked up went onto these sort of tanks that you don't really want them on. You want this gold on the Ezreal, who's just finished his mana mune. But it's probably not enough right now. You're looking to get that any sort of mythic, get more damage down. I was going to say before the fight broke out that the good thing about the Ezreal, at least he's not died yet, and he was actually starting to pull back on the CS, reducing that gap. But he's died now, and he's lost that CS as well, meaning that he's now 30 CS down instead of just 15.
Yeah, and the Silas with a Magi's pick,
pickup. I actually think Magic is really strong.
Mhm.
It's a pretty ballsy move to go the Magic, but he's playing really well, so maybe the Magic is actually really good. Now I have to point out that no one on red side or on blue side, rather, has anti-heal. Which I mean, I get it's just Silas, but just the Silas is very strong right now. He's level 15, has the same farm as Oriana, and if he gets on that backline, he's doing a hell of a lot of damage.
Yeah,
Well to
Seraphine does have
remember.
the Ignite up, however, which is it does provide the grievous wounds as well. But that's only up every couple of minutes, so it's not enough just yet. But it does buy the time for the next fight if manage to ignite the Silas. There we go. Um, I just don't really see what the plan
Oh,
is.
the
I mean,
Skarner actually going in. Oh, but he doesn't see that the Diana has Zonius. That's actually really bad. Oh, the Diana actually, he basically pulled her in. The Silas with really good Seraphine ult, and looks like they're just gonna get run over this fight.
yeah, the two people with all the kills die instantly. Seraphine's been run down by the Dana. Dana's going to pick her up any second now. As we're still looking at this. There we
Yeah.
go. And she dies. The minion wave is pushing Oriana and Ezreal are there to clear it. They're looking towards the Baron now. Obviously, they're going to be able to know, the blue team is going to know that the Baron's been taken, but absolutely nothing they can do about it. Ezreal doesn't even have ult up for a few seconds yet to steal.
Oh, the
He's
Silas
going to get
actually really
killed
getting
by
the
the
Ezreal.
Silas. Nice
Oh.
Club Ace in the Hole was cancelled because Taylor got knocked up by the Baron there. But yeah, this is just a free Baron for the red team.
Yeah, and one thing to point out there, the Silas, if you're playing Skarner, you have to make sure you don't go on someone with the Zonius.
Mhm.
Because not only did she Zonius, you actually brought her closer to your team and pretty much gave her a free ult there. That was kind of a little bit an odd play by the Skarner. Now this Ezreal, I mean, he's just not doing enough damage. It's not really on him. It's more Ezreal just doesn't do the damage that he needs to do. And yeah, everyone on the red side is just so strong that even if you kill one, the rest will just still run you over. Now the Seraphine just got Moonstone and we're 26 minutes in. Feels really bad. I think the Seraphine should go Purifier next. Makes it so that no one has to buy anti-heal, just her. And it's up every time she uses W, which is every 7 to 8 seconds. I think it's definitely a good pickup.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, I agree. It's Silas has now also finished the stopwatch as well, so you don't want to probably be ulting him as Stunner either. No one has picked up a QSS yet on this red team, which is good for the Stunner, but I don't think they're able to get a kill even if he does ult someone, unless it's the Caitlyn. We do see a Diana with a full stacks on the Dark Seal as well. Probably going to look to the Magi as well in her next back.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really need to pay taxes for the Skarner and get a QSS when everyone is so behind. As we just saw happen, the Skarner pulls someone in and they just don't have just one shot. For the blue team, how to turn this game around, they need to somehow get a really good one combo with the Seraphine and this Oriana. The Skarner needs to. I think the Skarner should actually save ult, and as soon as the Diana comes in, you ult her instantly and just drag her out of the team.
Yeah, I think the next step for the blue team is definitely
the Alice are going in
Just
though.
called.
Ult looks like the Skarner.
Oriana ult.
They
Oh,
just
the
don't have
Skarner
any
does have
damage.
the. Yeah, they don't have any damage.
Oh, that
Again,
Diana
the
ult
Skarner
back
keeps
line.
bringing the Diana closer to the team. Definitely not what you want to do. This
Darius is cleaning up the back line though. Almost kills
Oh.
the Caitlyn. Kills the Caitlyn. That's a double for the
But he
Darius.
steps on a trap.
Looking for the Diana who's there. Ornn also low. He just needs to auto once and then ult.
Oh,
Well,
the
the pull
Diana
in.
coming a little bit too close. I think that Darius might actually.
Oh, the
be able
ult.
to-
Yeah, the ult ran out actually. I was going to say before the fight broke out that the next step for the deny this soul for the red team. However, being ace just there, I think that they can't contest this at all. Diana's just go low and clear that by herself as Ornn and Silas push in. Obviously, Ornn's just upgraded the Silas's Everfrost into the upgraded Everfrost. I don't know what it's called. I'm not going to try and guess. So that's
Eternal Winter.
there we go. Internal Winter for the Silas. Obviously, even more stats, making it even more of like a stat trait snowbally champion. Obviously, being level 16, we're going to see a few more items come out from him in the near future. We've actually already had the Dale Force upgraded on the Caitlyn, and obviously the Sunfire Tape upgraded for Ornn himself. I don't know what either of those two are called either.
Forgefire Crest, and I don't know what the Caitlyn one's called. Typhoon.
Typhoon. Very cool.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is the Skarner ulted the Diana twice. He knows she has Zonius, and she just ulted while in his ult, and he actually pulled her closer to his team. So that was a little bit awkward. He should really probably not do that again. But yeah, the problem is they just really don't have enough damage. They dove them. It was actually a bad play from red team, but no one could really follow up on it because no one really has that amount of damage. If I'm blue team, I'm in comms. I have to say, okay, guys, we need to go to side lanes. We need to freeze the side lanes, keep the minion waves there, and just slowly farm up. It's going to be incredibly hard to win this game.
Definitely.
You would have to get the next dragons, or maybe give the soul. But if you give soul, it's also
Who
really
you giving Soul?
complicated.
Soul's done already. It's Elder Dragon next.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, you guess you can flip at Elder. That's kind of your the play, right? I think the only play for blue team here is flipping the game at Elder. But it's so hard for them to go into the jungle and flip it at Elder
Oh, yeah.
because they can just get one shot by the Diana. Looks like this Karna's actually trying to go in.
No, Stein's knocked up twice. Kenny's just a DPS. He ults the... No one. He ults
a
the
good Seraphine
Silas
ult.
there.
Oh yeah.
Silas
But
is just going to kill the Oriana, and
Yeah.
Ornn picks it up. Satana's next. Ezreal dies as well. Darius is going to die here in the backline as well as Diana ults him solo. That's an
Oh,
ace, and I think that's also the day.
that's game. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, again, the Silas, it's kind of been a mid gap. I'm not gonna lie. The Silas has been just gapping this Oriana pretty hard. In this case, he actually got, I think he got Skarner ulted, but he Seraphine
Yeah.
ulted just before, which meant that he actually got the Oriana, and she couldn't ult. As you can see, she actually died with ult. Overall, really clean game by a red team. I have to
Yeah,
say,
definitely.
a little bit of a stump.
Yeah, definitely. Would you say it's more of a stomp than the first game?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think the first game would have been, it was actually considerably close, and would have actually been maybe a different result with a little bit of a different draft. But in this game, I think Arkin just played a little better.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who'd
Yeah.
you say is MVP in your opinion?
I think it's just got to go to Silas. I think he had two great performances. As you said, there was a bit of a mid gap between him and the Oriana. He had some great ults with the Seraphine there at the end, obviously, sort of letting him live through the stun route. You know, just played it really well, I think, just throughout.
Yeah, I think the Silas played really, really well. An honorable mention would be the Caitlyn. The Caitlyn did play pretty well as well.
And played
But
played
she
Caitlyn
played
in the
Caitlyn in
first
the
game as
first
well, yeah.
game, yeah.
Yeah, it's
She
Kieran
played,
both
she
games.
did play pretty well, but I think it has to be given to the Silas.
Do you want to put a poll in the chat as well, just see what
Ah,
everyone else thinks?
yes, good
Yes.
point. Let's see what people think.
What did the... Sorry, I've just seen 4 games back to back. What did the Ornn play in the first game?
On.
Ornn. It was exactly the same comp.
Oh, it was.
except
Yeah, that's why
was
I'm getting confused. It
Jungle
was
swap and support swap.
Support swap.
Yes.
There we are. Yeah. I'm not an idiot, I swear. But yeah, no. That was no.
I
Like you
have
said,
to
it
remember
was
the names I've just seen.
very
now on there.
stompy throughout.
Alright, I do have to point out the fact that Paper Squad losing 2-0, but it's a pretty long split. Sometimes the team synergy just isn't quite there yet.
Mhm.
I think the first game they played really, really well. They just needed to get a better draft. If I had
Yeah.
any tips for them, it would just be get a little bit of a cleaner draft. Look at that first game, review the first game and the second game as a team, sit down, figure out what went wrong, what went right, and then I think in a couple of weeks we might actually see Paper Squad maybe popping off a little bit
Yeah.
harder.
Yeah. I mean, like you said about the draft. I mean, first game we saw the Vine, the jungle, and the second game we saw the Starner. I mean, neither of them are very meta or quite good, really. I mean, Starner's all right if you get a good catch, but I mean, the enemy team just got too far ahead for him to sort of really make a decent ult. But
Yeah.
maybe it's just one of those things where it's just all about the drafting, and you'll be able to come back in a few weeks' time with a better game plan, and actually form a game plan in the draft and follow that through.
Yeah, in the first game, I definitely think it was a draft gap. But the second game, I actually think I like Skarner a lot because it's just a free pick on whoever you get, and it's 800 or 1,300 gold that they have to pay on taxes. But in that game, yeah, if you're Skarner in that game, it feels really bad. There's nothing you can do because even if you hook someone or you pull someone, your team has no follow up because they're just lacking a lot of damage. That's why I'm saying it's kind of weird that they played better in the first game with the draft gap than in the second game where the draft was actually even, if not ahead for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the future, if you're playing this matchup again, or if you're playing against this team again, they play Silas. You want to play Oriana. Either maybe get some more games on Oriana and get more comfortable on her, or just spend the Silas. I think would have been a good
Yeah.
pick.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's like I wonder why the Silas wasn't banned for that same game. I mean, did they just not think it was a problem, or did they just thought that actually, yeah, we'd probably play around it better this time with the Stunner pick.
Yeah, I think this kind of looked a little bit better, but it still wasn't quite enough.
Yeah.
Yep. If we're looking at the MVP votes in chat, only 5 people voted so far, but we so far have a tie between Floopy in the top lane and Krauser in that mid lane. To On versus the Silas. Nursa apparently did, or someone voted for Nursa on support, giving him some extra votes there. Extra vote coming in for Krauser right now. About a minute left on that. But yeah, that does round out the first set of results for Lagoon. So we do get an
What?
idea
Oh.
of who the
Oh.
top team.
There was a Lagoon game on Saturday as well.
Yep, and
Oh, is that what
on
you talked about? Yeah.
Friday. Yeah, I
Oh,
think
was there as
that's
well?
right. Yeah, so we've had first set of games for the Lagoon League. 2 draws, so most of the teams
Oh
in
yeah,
the
of
middle
course.
of the
Yeah. Sorry, I
table.
got a bit confused. I
Yep.
thought you'd already updated the table. So I was
No,
just
no,
being-
not on stream. That it'd take a little while. I haven't got a good way to do that. I suppose I could set that up at some point. But yep, in the River team, we've still got 1 set of games to be played, and in Ocean, we've got quite a few games still to be played, but we'll get those out as soon as possible.
So Krauser actually winning MVP from the chat was pretty expected. I think 2 out of those votes was actually him because he was talking a lot in chat. Another one was me, but I definitely think he played really well. That was really well played. In a matchup where it's normally not that good for Salas early games because Oriana is just really annoying. He played definitely really well in team fights as well. A lot of pressure. Question is, do we look for an interview or yeah, there was a VOD. All right, never mind.
It's a VOD. I mean, if there's someone in the chat that really wants to come say some things, we can invite them in. Give them a minute or so to make a decision. So I mean, we could very quickly go through what games were left that haven't been played. Kraz is in the chat if you'd like to get interviewed, or Fortnox also in the chat. I'll keep an eye out to see if either any of them jump into waiting to be moved. But we can have a quick chat about what the games are for next week, or the games that haven't been played yet. Even let's have a chat about the games that haven't been played. That makes more sense.
Let's have a look at the. Oh, where's the?
We have Team
There we are.
Brov versus QNI. Still has not been played in the top league. 2 of the, I guess, lower rated teams. On paper, the 2 weakest teams in the league still have to face off against each other, so very important for them both to pick up a win there. We haven't seen QNI yet, but we have seen Team Brov before. They came second last league. Definitely improved towards the end, so it'll be good to see how much more improvement there is. We also have Team HyperInt versus SC Sages. That will be played on the 2nd of May, so quite a while to go until we see that one.
Yeah, that's quite a while in the future, isn't it? It's 2 weeks almost.
Yeah, I think Sages had trouble getting their top laner to be able to play, so that's
Yeah,
still
the top laner is busy with university right now, I believe.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
Yep, so they're trying to get as many games as possible moved to when their top laner will be able to play. That's actually also why Mia's not here casting yet, because she's got uni stuff. We also have League of Pogmore versus Tub Girl. That should be a really fun one. I really hope I get to play, to cast that one. Tub Girl have something special planned for every game, so that'll be quite an interesting one to see. And pretty much finally, we also have Prisma versus Ocean needs to be played at some point.
Do you
We're
have
playing tomorrow.
some insight about that, Blue?
Yeah. I mean, what can I say? Quick 2-0. Mid gap both games. It is what it is. I mean, we have not lost a game against them in a while, and we did finish first in the in-house tournament. I think we have a really strong team. Maybe not individually on paper, we're not as strong as, let's say, Sages, but our synergy is really good. And our bot lane, even though they have a massive egos, they do work pretty well together. And I think we'll be able to pull the 2-0 tomorrow.
Yep.
Is there any spicy picks that we should be on the lookout for? Any
Well, yeah, but I can't say it though.
Are you sure you don't? I mean, you could say something, and
Is
you know,
there a
for a free
lane to
ban.
watch out for?
Yeah, the jungle Cillian. The jungle Cillian's out of the world.
Top lane is pretty boring for both teams because we're gonna hope that Pengu picks Singed so we get a free win, but I don't think that's happening. So it's probably just going to be a boring tank versus tank top lane. The jungle, it's just going to be the same tank junglers that rush camp tank every game. But mid and bot lane, there might be some spicy picks that you don't see every day. So maybe be
You
on the
immediately see.
lookout for that. Maybe not you maybe carry, but there's actually something similar that we can pull out. We might just do it for you.
I think you
Ooh.
mentioned it before. I'm not going to mention it again in case there's any spies in the chat listening, but I do believe you said it at the start of the stream. So if
Yeah, we've
Oh,
played it
anyone,
before.
there we
We've
go.
actually
if anyone wants to
played.
look through the VOD, that you got 4 hours to look through it, but it's in there somewhere.
Nah, Ocean. The thing is, the advantage of playing a team, also disadvantage of playing a team of our org is we kind of know each other and we know our strats. For example, as soon as they picked Karma Olaf Solar today, I knew what was gonna happen. And when playing against us, we're kind of the e-girl team. We play e-girls in like every role but jungle, and even jungle we play some e-girls sometimes. So yeah, be on the lookout for the best e-girls.
Looks jungle. Heard it here first.
There we go.
Not
I've
Lux.
played Lux Jungle before. I have a 100% win rate because I've only ever played one game.
Yeah, 100 is 100. Doesn't matter how many
Quit while
games.
you're ahead. That's what I felt saying.
Exactly. I'm very annoyed with myself for playing a second Fiora jungle game.
Mhm.
That's.
You
But
can jungle the new
anyway,
Fiora. You can jungle the old Fiora, but you can't. I don't think you can do the new one. Do you know
the the new one,
the
if
help
you can
the
somehow get an early kill so that you can get your get an Iron Spike whip early, then it's not too bad. If you don't, then you're kind of screwed.
oh dear.
But yeah, there we go. Anyway, games to look forward to next week. It doesn't look like we're going to get an interview, so that's okay. Of course, we don't force anyone to take an interview. And thank you guys for coming and casting these two games. Hopefully, we'll see you back soon.
Definitely next week sometime, I imagine.
I'm down to cast pretty much every time I'm not playing.
Perfect, perfect. All right, and thanks to everyone for coming and watching. If you're not in the Discord, come join the Discord. If you've not followed, follow. But I mean, we post whenever the stream's live in the Discord, so up to you. And we'll catch you all later.